As long as he quietly stopped attacking Yaochen Network, he would remove the article and both of them would pretend that the incident had never happened. Unfortunately, Jiang Cheng didn't buy it. He had always been a magnanimous person, but he couldn't be magnanimous when it came to bullying his wife. "Oh, I'm black." Chen Shaolun didn't expect Jiang Cheng to be so reckless and take the initiative to introduce himself. "Don't pretend. You know what's going on, and I know it too." Chen Shaolun took a deep breath and said, "Mr. Jiang, I deeply apologize for the article." Jiang Cheng snorted coldly. "Is it over?" What a frivolous tone. Chen Shaolun was obviously very angry. He narrowed his eyes with a fierce look and tried hard to suppress his anger. "What do you want?" "This is a question." Jiang Cheng laughed. "I have already done everything I wanted to do. This is outrageous. This is outrageous." Chen Shaolun almost vomited blood. "Young man, don't be so extreme in doing things," Chen Shaolun said almost while chewing. Jiang Cheng raised his eyebrows. "Mr. Chen, how about I teach you a method?" "What can we do?" Chen Shaolun said in a cold tone. "Change the server." "You." Beep, beep, beep. Before Chen Shaolun could finish his words, Jiang Cheng had already hung up the phone. His wife is easy to bully, but he is not. If anyone bullies her, he must fight back. Even if Chen Shaolun hadn't given him the drug, he and Yi Qingjiu might have always been strangers. But when he thought of how helpless she had been, his heart ached. This time, it's just a small lesson. If there is a next time, he will make him know what regret is. Chen Shaolun was driven crazy by the busy tone on the phone, and his hands started fighting involuntarily. He took the initiative to call and ask for reconciliation. "What else do you want? Do I have to kneel down myself? It's ridiculous." He picked up the phone of the purchasing department and said, "Go buy me a server right now. Replace all the servers of Yaochen." "Okay, Mr. Chen." The next morning, Jiang Cheng and Yi Qingjiu sent their 2 babies to kindergarten as usual. Then they went to Tengsing, and Jiang Cheng went to his own group as usual. As soon as Jiang Cheng entered the room, Suji glanced at the seat of the science and engineering man. "See, I'm asking for leave." Jiang Cheng glanced at the empty seat under the window and asked, "Didn't you say where you went?" Suji shook his head. "No, it's a long vacation. I guess he wants to run away." In a large company like Tencent, unless the company fires the employee, if the employee resigns, there is a 1-week handover period. Old employees must complete the handover with new employees and explain all important data and documents clearly before they can leave. The science and engineering guy is taking a long vacation now, probably because he can't wait for the handover and is anxious to leave. Jiang Cheng smiled and said, "If you want to slip away, that's good. If you want to slip away, it means there will be movement." At Linmu Group, Wang Yu sat in Lin Song's office with a smile on his face. "Boss Lin, I've got you the game code for Honor of Kings. We agreed on 10 million yuan. You can't break your promise." Mr. Lin nodded and said, "Don't worry, Mr. Wang. I always keep my word. However, when we have the finished product, the 20 million will naturally be yours." When the auction for King of Glory was held, both Lin Mu and Yu Chen participated. Unfortunately, the auction was stopped by Jiang Cheng midway. With such a great game mode, who wouldn't want to have a piece of the pie? Since there is no authentic version, we will develop one according to this model. In short, with the former, the effect of the latter will definitely not be bad. By the way, Mr. Wang, once the money is transferred to you, if the truth comes out, you must insist that the data was not given to us. We at Linmu are not a large enterprise like Tengsing and cannot afford to suffer any setbacks. President Wang tilted his mouth and said, "Don't worry, I have arranged for the person who brought out the data to ask for leave. In 2 days, he can say that he is seriously ill and resign directly. This time, we can do it secretly." Mr. Lin listened to Mr. Wang's words, nodded, and picked up the Kung Fu teacup at hand. "Then let's use tea instead of wine. I wish us a happy cooperation." Mr. Wang also picked up the cup, and the 2 purple clay teacups clinked together. So, P.S. That's all for today. Welcome everyone to help catch bugs, Tilda. Bo and thank you, Tilda. Chapter 130, Ungrateful Wang Yu. After leaving Lin Mu's house, Mr. Wang kept thinking that as long as Lin Mu's game came out, he would earn 20 million yuan. No matter how he thought about it, he felt that this was a good deal. It would be great if there were more deals like this. It's a pity that Tencent has so many games but can only sell one, Honor of Kings. Mr. Wang shook his head, opened the door of his car, and got in. He was in a good mood until he entered the house. His wife Zhou Ling was watching TV on the sofa. When she saw him walk in with a smile on his face, she couldn't help but ask curiously, Hey, what's wrong? Why are you in such a good mood today? Zhou Ling is in her 50s, but she is well maintained. She is wearing orange silk pajamas and still looks charming. Wang Yu smiled and sat beside her. You don't know, I did something big today. Hearing about the big news, Zhou Ling became curious. How big is it? My daughter has always wanted to immigrate to the country. Now I can buy her a house and a car abroad, and I can also buy you a villa. From the sound of his voice, it sounds like he has made a fortune. Zhou Ling looked at him excitedly. You got rich. Wang Yu looked very proud. Not much, 20 million. 20 million? Where did you get so much money? Wang Yu is a vice president and a shareholder, and he can only get money when dividends are distributed at the end of each year. And it's only 20 million a year, and I can get 20 million back in one go. Zhou Ling still couldn't believe it. I sold the data of King of Glory. Wang Yu spoke with great confidence and looked extremely proud. When Zhou Ling heard that he had bought the data of Honor of Kings, his face suddenly turned bad. You sold Jiujiu's game data to someone else. Wang Yu got a little angry when he heard his wife calling Yi Qingjiu by her nickname. Don't call her Wine, 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 Wine. Her name is Yi Qingjiu. Zhou Ling glanced at him. She still remembered that Yi Qingjiu had excellent academic performance when he was a child and was in the key class of a key school in the city. Zhou Lin wanted his daughter Wang Wenjing to go to Nisuo school, but unfortunately Wang Wenjing was not a good student. Although she managed to get into the key class later, neither the teachers nor her classmates liked her. Yi Qingjiu would always ask her to go to and from school with her when she had nothing to do, and sometimes she would even help her with homework. The day after Yi En passed away, Zhou Ling fell seriously ill. She had a hemangioma in her body, which had not been detected in previous physical examinations. She was watching TV when it suddenly exploded. The whole person was in excruciating pain. Wang Yu was on a business trip at the time, and his daughter was abroad and couldn't come back. After Yi Qingjiu found out, she went to Wang Yu's house in her pajamas and slippers without even having time to change her clothes. After what happened in the car, she remembered that Yi Qingjiu kept calling and insisting on getting a good doctor, no matter how much it cost. Later, she entered the operating room, and Yi Qingjiu had been waiting for her outside. It was winter, and the little girl sat in the hospital corridor in her pajamas and waited for 3 hours. That was probably the saddest time for her. Her father passed away, and her grandfather was also hospitalized due to the huge shock. At this time, she was still able to take care of others and did things so well. To be honest, Zhou Ling was particularly grateful to her. No one knew how much pain she was in. Zhou Ling remembered that when she was pushed out of the operating room, Yi Qingjiu looked at her with extremely haggard eyes. Before she could even say thank you, Yi Qingjiu fell backwards and fainted. Every time she thinks of this incident, she still feels a little uncomfortable. Afterwards, they had no more interactions. But she was still very grateful to her. Wang Yu, you have to be conscientious. Have you forgotten how good Jiujiu was to us? Let alone Jiujiu, when oldie was here, your shares were given to you for free. Have you forgotten all this? Can favor be eaten? Can favor be spent as money? Besides, Yi Qingjiu did you a favor. What does it have to do with me? What are you saying? Am I not your wife? Zhou Ling didn't expect Wang Yu to be so ruthless and was a little angry. Wang Yu sneered. Your daughter doesn't need money when she's abroad, or do you not need to spend money? Without money, how can you deal with those poor relatives at home? Isn't it because you are my wife can my money be taken away for nothing? When Zhou Ling heard the word poor relatives, her eyes widened, and she felt an inexplicable sense of shame. Her family was not well off, and her relatives knew that she had married well, so they came to borrow money every now and then. Although they were all small amounts, only 30 or 50,000, it was still a considerable sum if saved up. Over the years, a lot of money has indeed been borrowed by my relatives. But you have no conscience. Do you feel at ease with this money? Zhou Lin lowered his head, and his voice became much softer. What's the point of being worthy? I just know that to survive, you need money. If you don't have money, you can't afford to eat. If you don't have money, your daughter can't afford to study. After saying that, Wang Yu slammed the door and walked out. It's so unlucky. I made so much money, but not only am I not excited, I'm still saying something like I'm sorry. The old woman is getting more confused as she gets older, so she went to the foot massage parlor. Zhou Ling sat on the sofa and felt more and more aggrieved the more she thought about it. She couldn't help but cry. She followed him all her life. Although her family was not well off, her relatives came to borrow money when they saw that she had married into a good family. But come to it, it's really not her fault. She wanted to not borrow it many times, but it was Wang Yu who lent it out for the sake of face. When you lend money to others, you are so generous. But when they come back, they talk about you and use this matter to humiliate yourself. The more Zhou Lin thought about it, the more sad he became and tears started to fall. She picked up the phone and called Wang Yu. I think you should get the data back. You are breaking the law by doing this, you know. She originally wanted to scare Wang Yu, but Wang Yu was delighted when she heard it. Is it against the law? Go and sue me, are you going? Zhou Lin hung up the phone angrily. This guy was simply stubborn. Time passed quickly, and a week later, Lin Mu had indeed produced a peer-to-peer mode game called the Invincible Hero. Although there were no marketing methods, the number of players on the day of launch was abnormally high. In addition, many small websites have started to write posts praising the popularity of the product. Mr. Lin was sitting in front of his computer, looking at a post titled, "Who will win between the brave and the king?" with little interest. As we all know, Honor of Kings produced by Tencent Star is far ahead of others, and has created unprecedented gaming popularity. Right now, Lin Mu has also been honing his skills for 3 years, and has created a Brave warrior with the same model as the King. Right now, the sales of Brave is approaching that of King without any marketing. I wonder if it will surpass it. After reading it, Mr. Lin closed the computer with a smile. He didn't think about exceeding the limit, as long as he could make money. That's what he thought. Just as I was thinking about it, Wang Yu called me and said, Boss Lin, you must keep your word on the remuneration you agreed on. Don't worry, Mr. Wang. I'll ask the finance department to transfer the money to you right away. Wang Yu laughed so hard that his eyes disappeared. Ha ha ha, I wish your game will sell well then. In Tengxing's office, Yi Qingju sat at his desk without saying a word. Manager Luo and Si Qingqing stood by, not knowing what to do. Only Jiang Cheng was still sitting on the sofa, happily playing the new game launched by Lin Mu. Yi Qingju looked at him. What do you think? Jiang Cheng looked at her with a smile. What's there to think about? Yi Qingju waited for him. Can you be a little more serious? This is obviously plagiarism. Jiang Cheng nodded. I know it's plagiarism, that's right. Seeing that he knew, Yi Qingju couldn't understand it anymore. You're still so happy knowing this. Jiang Cheng nodded. Everything was within his expectations. Why shouldn't he be happy? Wife, you are so silly. Think about it, this Brave game is so popular. If it is revealed to be plagiarized when it is the most popular, what will be the consequences? Yi Qingju frowned. A game is most well known when it is at its peak. If it is revealed to be a plagiarism after it has reached its peak, the consequences would be disastrous. Not only will the game be banned, it will also become infamous, and the entire company will face a difficult situation for a long time. She narrowed her eyes. So what are you going to do? Jiang Cheng nodded. That's right. Let's post a few posts first to create public opinion. Once public opinion is aroused, King of Glory will be pushed to the forefront again, and it should attract a new group of players. What's next? Next, let's call the police. I already have evidence that the science and engineering guy stole the data, and his data happened to be given to Wang Yu. He always asks you to go home and take care of the kids, right? Now, let's let him go back and take care of the kids first. Hearing this, Yi Qingju frowned, as if remembering something sad. She always thought that she could win hearts in return, but unexpectedly, what she got in return was betrayal. The truth is often not as beautiful as described in novels. I'll leave this matter to you, she rubbed her eyebrows. Okay, Si Qingqing, you go ask the marketing department to write a few articles right away, saying that the hero plagiarized and wrote about the king's advantages. Do you understand? Si Qingqing nodded. I understand. Manager Luo, please lead your department to act as a free water army. This will save you hundreds of thousands of dollars, which you can then receive as bonuses. When he heard about the bonus, Manager Luo perked up. Mr. Jiang is really thoughtful. After saying that, he looked at Yi Qingju and said, I have to go back and prepare some materials to sue directly. If a lawsuit is filed, it will take at least 3 days. After 3 days, it will be enough to create a huge wave of public opinion. By attracting the attention of the entire nation, this will be another wave of free marketing for the king. After the case results come out and the invincible Brave is ordered offline, the king's players will reach a new height, which will be the peak. Yi Qingju looked at him, as if he wanted to see through him. He was really too smart. Jiang Cheng was involved in so many things in the company, and each one of them showed his unique talent. Jiang Cheng felt embarrassed by her gaze. Why are you looking at me like that? Yi Qingju shook his head. It's okay. I was just thinking that you must be a rescuer sent by God. Jiang Cheng walked over and touched her head. Take a break, leave this matter to me. After saying that, he turned and left the president's office and went to his own team. Sure enough, the science and engineering guy still didn't come. He knocked on Suji's desk and asked, "Want to have a cigarette?" Suji glanced at him, understood what he meant, and stood up. The two of them went to the old place, the balcony. The weather in October was pleasant with a slight breeze. The two people stood on the balcony and lit their cigarettes. "Brother Cheng, are you ready to act?" Suji has known Jiang Cheng for such a long time that he has some understanding of him. "Well, your and Xiao Liu's computers are both evidence. I'll have the legal department write a lawyer's letter and prepare to sue Lin Mu. What if the science and engineering guy refuses to admit it? Just like you said, Wang Yu must have paid him a lot of money. So I need your help. Go check the information of this science and engineering guy. The key to the whole thing lies with him. If you want to win, you have to pry his mouth open first." After saying that, Jiang Cheng took a puff of his cigarette. The smoke flew into the sky and then dispersed. After smoking, Su Ji went to the administrative department to get the basic information of the science and engineering man. Zhou Shengqiang, male, 34 years old, home address is Huban Street, XQ District, Sichuan City. He quickly found Zhou Shengqiang's home according to the address. I didn't expect that someone with such a high level of education would actually live in an old neighborhood. Normally, when I saw how he was dressed, I really thought he was some rich second-generation guy. Su Zheqiao looked in the direction of the window of Zhou Shengqiang's house. I turned around and walked out of the community gate and bought a bag of melon seeds downstairs. If you want to find out something, you can't do without melon seeds. He took some melon seeds and sat down in front of the old man and woman basking in the sun. "Hello, Auntie. I'm here to look for a house. Do you know which house in Building 8 is for rent?" He was born with a smiling face, a sweet mouth, and a quick mind, and he won the hearts of the uncles and aunts in no time. "Building number 8, let me think. Is building number 8 the inner building where Lao Zhou and his team live?" "Yeah, oh, by the way, it seems that Lao Zhou went out traveling with his son recently. Mr. Zhou's son is really promising. He works at Tengsing and has enough money to travel after just a few months. I'm really envious." Suji took the opportunity to interrupt. "Auntie, the old Zhou you are talking about, isn't his son called Zhou Shengqiang? He and I went to the same high school, and he was a very good student." Wow, an acquaintance meets an acquaintance. When the aunt heard that it was a classmate, she became even more enthusiastic. "Yes, Xiao Zhou has been a good student since he was young, but that child is also pitiful. His mother was diagnosed with breast cancer last year and has to undergo radiotherapy and chemotherapy every day as well as dialysis. It's also very expensive. No wonder he could do this. It turns out he was short of money." Auntie, we haven't had much contact since I went to college. I didn't expect something like this to happen in his family." "Yes, but he's fine now. His mother had surgery. As long as the cancer doesn't spread, she can live for a few decades and have a grandchild." Suji nodded. "Then do you know which hospital he went to? My mother is a doctor, so she can help a little." Suji's words don't stand up to scrutiny at all, and one can find loopholes in them if one listens carefully. But the aunt didn't pay much attention to it. She just chatted with him. "It's the city hospital. His mother has been receiving treatment there. Now, the municipal hospital wants the lawyer to go to the hospital to get his mother's medical bill. They are not afraid that Zhou Shengqiang will not confess." Chapter 130, One Poor Mr. Lin. Suji got the answer and didn't plan to continue the conversation, so he pretended to answer a phone call. Then he slipped out of the community and called Jiang Cheng at the gate of the community. "Hey, brother Cheng, I heard that Zhou Shengqiang's mother is sick with breast cancer." Jiang Cheng walked to the water dispenser and took a glass of water. The sound of the water flowing was a bit loud. "Does the hospital know?" "Municipal hospital. Do you know where Zhou Shengqiang is now?" "I went on a trip with my parents." "Very good. Okay, got it." After hanging up the phone, Jiang Cheng went to the legal department. Lawyer Zhang was studying the contract and was startled to see Jiang Cheng rushing in. "Why are you here?" His intuition told him that Jiang Cheng's coming must be for some big thing. "I'm here to entrust you to sue Zhou Shengqiang in the name of the company. I have evidence that proves he stole the data of King of Glory, and I have witnesses who can prove that he sold the data to Wang Yu." Hearing this, Lawyer Zhang pushed his glasses and asked, "Are you talking about witnesses?" Jiang Cheng nodded. "That's right. What about the physical evidence?" "There is physical evidence. It's Xiao Liu's computer. The guy installed software in Xiao Liu's computer and stole the data directly. The software must still be there. We can submit it directly." Lawyer Zhang nodded. Then is there any other evidence? Of course there is, but you have to go there in person to the city hospital and get the bill for his mother's expenses. Lawyer Zhang nodded. No problem, leave it to me. Lawyer Zhang is a very capable lawyer with a strong sense of justice. I will go to the hospital now, prepare the materials tonight, and go to the court to appeal tomorrow morning. Jiang Cheng nodded. Thank you for your hard work. Lawyer Zhang went straight to the municipal hospital after leaving Tengsing. When I got to the front desk, I showed my lawyer's ID and said, "Hello, my name is Zhang Yun, I'm a lawyer, and I want to retrieve a patient's expense list." When the nurse at the front desk heard that he was a lawyer, she hurriedly took him to the administrative building at the back of the hospital. He opened the computer and pulled out all the expense lists of Zhou Shengqiang's mother. The cost was really high. Lawyer Zhang calculated that it was a total of 900,000 yuan. In fact, for normal breast cancer, only 300,000 or 400,000 is enough, but Zhou Shengqiang's mother used all imported drugs, so the price was naturally half as much. Lawyer Zhang took the fee bill, returned to Tengsing, prepared all the materials, and went to the court early the next morning to apply for an appeal. In General Manager Lin Mu's office, General Manager Lin sat at the desk and looked at the article titled Plagiarism on the computer in front of him. The more he read, the angrier he became. I almost fainted when I clicked on the comments below. Meng Gongcha, you plagiarists, this is how you corrupt the social atmosphere, shameless. Zheliangdi, hello, plagiarist. Although I don't like King of Glory for you, I decided to support the original work. Brave heart, Lin Mu must be crazy about making money this time. He is blatantly plagiarizing. Does he have no shame at all? Late Eastern Han Dynasty, calling on everyone to boycott plagiarists. President Lin slammed the computer shut, furious. Xiao Liu, come in. Xiao Liu was his secretary. Seeing that Mr. Lin was so angry, he hurriedly asked, "Mr. Lin, what happened?" Mr. Lin patted his computer. "Where did all this come from? Who wrote it? Who wants to harm me? How could this game, which I spent tens of millions of dollars to develop, be criticized like this only 3 days after it was released? In order to prevent such things from happening, I didn't even use any marketing methods. I am afraid this situation will happen, but why does it still happen?" Xiao Liu looked helpless. "Boss Lin, after all, this data was bought from Boss Wang, so it's inevitable that this kind of problem will occur. You should be more open-minded." "Bullshit, I invested tens of millions of dollars, and this is the effect I want." It is true that he plagiarized, but he also added some other elements to a certain extent. Is it so obvious that he plagiarized? Go, hire some trolls. If you keep cursing, it might attract the attention of the higher-ups. If they really investigate, you'll be doomed. Okay, Mr. Lin. Xiao Liu said this and walked out of the office. He bought a group of internet trolls according to General Manager Lin's instructions. In short, it's all about praising how invincible is so much fun, and how different it is from Honor of Kings. Mr. Lin was so angry that he closed his eyes and rested for a while. Half an hour later, I thought the water army had some effect, so I opened the computer again. Good man, he was cursing enthusiastically. Flying ship. Wow, I saw it right. There are actually people who support plagiarizing dogs. It's really scary. Zetas, the person above, should be careful with his words. This is at most a reference. Besides, the scenes in Brave Glory are all monsters, while those in Honor of Kings are heroes. How can this be considered plagiarism? Ding Fei, oh, you also know that the brave are monsters, and the kings are only 10 heroes. Rubbish. Fly higher, just speak, don't curse. Ding Fei, what good things can fans of plagiarists get? There were thousands of them, and they were arguing fiercely. Mr. Lin was so overwhelmed that he shouted at the door. Xiao Liu. Hey, Xiao Liu agreed and ran in. Boss Lin, you're looking for me. Come on, take a look at the water army you bought. Is this a water army? They are being held down and scolded. Xiao Liu swallowed his saliva. He didn't expect that today's netizens are so strong and energetic. They really replied to every message. Mr. Lin, how about I buy some more? President Lin was so angry that he almost had a heart attack. Go and call Xiao Wang from the data department. I want the data of today's heroes. Okay, Mr. Lin. Xiao Liu said and quickly went to the data department. Manager Wang, Mr. Lin wants to see the data. Okay, got it. Xiao Wang has been paying attention to the data of Brave and Invincible in the past few days. He printed out the data from the computer and took it into Mr. Lin's office. Mr. Lin, here are the data you requested. Mr. Lin looked at the table. The number of people per hour had been around 2 million in the past 2 days, and it had continued to increase. But since this morning, the number of people has been decreasing sharply. It actually dropped from millions of players to hundreds of thousands. It's really killing me. This is all money. Seeing that Mr. Lin's face turned pale, Xiao Wang didn't know what to say. After all, everyone knew that plagiarism would not have any good consequences. Boss Lin, I have something else to do. I'll leave first. Mr. Lin waved his hand and said, Go ahead. Let Xiao Liu come in again. Okay, Mr. Lin. Xiao Wang walked out the door and looked at Xiao Liu with a smile. I'm calling you. When Xiao Liu heard that they were looking for him again, he looked helpless and said, What's the point of calling me? After saying that, he entered Mr. Lin's office very reluctantly. Mr. Lin looked at him and said, Go find the author who posted this and tell him to take it down by offering him 500,000 yuan. In the office of Tengsing's president, Jiang Cheng was dozing off on the sofa when he heard a crisp knock on the door. Come in. He sat up and took a sip of water. Manager Luo walked in. Mr. Jiang, I have something to report. What's the matter? Jiang Cheng asked in a light tone. Just now, someone contacted one of his subordinates and asked if the post could be deleted for 500,000 yuan. Manager Luo almost died of laughter when he heard this. He still can't help laughing when he thinks about it now. Someone asked if they could delete the post for $500,000. Jiang Cheng was happy to hear that there was money to be made. Do you have any data? Let me see the data of the king today. In order to earn a bonus by controlling the comments today, Manager Luo asked for the data sheet once an hour, and now he has all the data in his pocket. When he heard Jiang Cheng's request, he took out a few folded pieces of paper from his pocket. Jiang Cheng took it and opened it. Sure enough, the number of online players of King of Glory increased by an unprecedented 5 million in the afternoon. It can be said that the effect is surprisingly good. Public opinion can be turned into free marketing if used well. Jiang Cheng turned this public opinion into a free marketing, and the effect was extraordinary. Now that the purpose of the promotion has been achieved, he deeply understands that this number can no longer be exceeded. He looked at Manager Luo with a smile. Tell him that 500,000 is too little, 700,000. A total of 6 posts were published, each with 700,000 views, so 6 would total 4.2 million views. Manager Luo's eyes lit up. Mr. Jiang, I have only one word to say, I surrender. Jiang Cheng smiled modestly. We have to earn back the money we earned from controlling the comments. I can't interfere with Mr. Yi's company. God knows how proud he is. The original intention was to create a wave of public opinion and take advantage of the opportunity to suppress Lin Mu and attract a wave of people. But unexpectedly, I could make money unexpectedly. I'll go tell them right now and let them negotiate for 700,000. Go ahead. Manager Luo thought about it and hesitated. Well, what if they don't agree? After all, 4,200,000 is not a small amount. No, since they've already made an offer, they really have nowhere else to turn. Jiang Cheng thought for a moment. Just stick to 700,000 and don't let it go any lower. If it works, I'll delete the post immediately. If not, I'll just leave it up for a few more days. Anyway, it has no impact on Tengsing, and the original plan was to give it a few more days and then sue directly. Manager Luo nodded. Okay, I'll arrange it right away. Yi Qingju sat at the desk and couldn't help laughing when he saw Jiang Cheng's cocky expression. My husband is indeed a talented person, a rare talent. He is so awesome that I really want to throw Tang Xing to him and go home to take care of the children. She leaned back and looked at him admiringly. I think you are very suitable for managing the company. Jiang Cheng rubbed his head and said, What a stupid command. When it comes to management, my wife is the best. Don't give me that. I want to hand Tang Xing over to you now. I can pick up and drop off the kids every day and cook for them at night. This kind of life is actually pretty good. Looking at the hope in her eyes, Jiang Cheng suddenly felt distressed. With so many things happening recently, it was really difficult for her. Hearing this, Jiang Cheng stood up and said, Wife, do you really want to go home and take care of the children? Yi Qingjiu nodded. For her, having her husband and children around was enough. Then let's go home and I'll support you. Jiang Cheng spoke very seriously. To be honest, he has a system, and with his ability, he can definitely support a family. As for Tang Xing, he didn't care about him at all. He just chose to love him because it was the hard work of his wife. Yi Qingjiu looked at his burning gaze, and her heart suddenly skipped a beat. This was the first time in her life that she had heard someone tell her to support herself. Thank you, she spoke suddenly, with light flowing in her eyes, looking bright and charming. Wife, remember, I am your husband and you are my wife. We are a family. You don't have to say thank you to me ever. Ding, ding, ding. There was a knock on the door. Jiang Cheng turned around and said, "Come in." Manager Luo was smiling like a rotten persimmon, looking like he had encountered some great joy. "What's wrong?" Jiang Cheng was curious. "It's about the post deletion. The other party agreed to pay 4.2 million. They actually agreed." To be honest, Jiang Cheng just tried his best to catch something, but he didn't expect to actually catch it. His eyes lit up. "What are you waiting for? Sell it to him, pay him, and remove the comment immediately." Yi Qingjiu hesitated for a moment. "Should I give it to Tang Xing's account? Generally, each company has its own bank account." Jiang Cheng looked at his wife and laughed. "Then give it to the company account." Mr. Lin was sitting in his office at this time. His mentality had completely collapsed. Now he just wanted to spend money to avoid disaster, so he deleted these posts early. This will give heroes of invincibility a chance to catch their breath. As long as the public opinion storm is over, he believes that this game can still become popular. Xiao Liu was standing nearby. He was the one who was responsible for contacting the person to delete the post. Ding ding. Xiao Liu's cell phone rang. He looked at the text message and suddenly felt terrible. The account number sent by the other party clearly stated, JY Bank Tanxing Group. This, he couldn't help but exclaim. Mr. Lin looked at him with a sullen face. "What's wrong?" "Yes, the other party actually gave me Tanxing's account." Mr. Lin's face instantly darkened 10 shades. "So, none of you noticed the post that Tang Xing posted?" I just say contact the author." Xiao Liu was also helpless. Lin Mu was in the wrong in this matter. Besides, where can we check this? Although Linmu is an internet company, it cannot be compared with Tencent, Star, and Yaochen. Where can we check this? Are there such professional talents? Xiao Liu looked at Mr. Lin and said, "Mr. Lin, are you going to give me the money now or not?" Mr. Lin gritted his teeth. His face turned black and then red, and then red and then black. His expression was simply wonderful. He really doesn't want to give it. But this, is it okay not to give this? Tang Xing is going to confront me head-on, so it would be better to give him some money and keep things quiet. Mr. Lin gritted his teeth and said, Here. Okay, Mr. Lin." Xiao Liu said this and walked out. In Tang Xing's office, Yi Qingjiu was playing with his mobile phone when he suddenly saw a company text message, indicating that the 4.2 million had indeed arrived. She shook her phone and said, "Look, honey, 4,200,000. Jiang Cheng couldn't help laughing when he saw her excited expression. "What a money grubber." Yi Qingjiu pouted and pretended to be angry. "Humph, I won't pay attention to you anymore." Jiang Cheng looked at her cute appearance and couldn't help but give her a big smile. "Tusk, my wife is so cute. I wonder if Mr. Yi will take me out for a good meal now that he has made such a big profit." Chapter 132. See you at the kindergarten gate at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, Tilda. Why is this guy so serious? The key is that he is not serious. Why do I still like him so much? Yi Qingjiu shook his head resignedly. "Tell me, what do you want to eat?" Jiang Cheng chuckled. "As long as I'm with you, I can eat anything, Tilda." Smooth talking. Yi Qingjiu glanced at him and said, "Then let's go to CE Mall, have a meal, and go shopping." Jiang Cheng raised his eyebrows. "Okay, then let's go pick up the baby first." When talking about the two babies, Jiang Cheng's face was full of doting. "I wonder if they were well behaved in school today." Yi Qingjiu glanced at his phone, and it was almost time. "Let's go pick up the kids." The two entered the parking lot, got in the car, and headed towards the kindergarten. It was strange today. There were a lot of cars outside the kindergarten. Jiang Cheng looked for a long time but couldn't find a parking space. He finally saw one and was about to stop when a BMW suddenly squeezed in from the side. The road was already narrow, and the two BMWs suddenly came and hit the front of Jiang Cheng's car unexpectedly. Then a man in his 30s came down. He had thick eyebrows and big eyes. He stood straight and looked a bit like a retired soldier. Wearing a purple shirt, he gives people a righteous feeling. Seeing the BMW owner getting out of the car, Jiang Cheng also got out. "I'm sorry." The BMW owner was the first to speak. "Do you think we should go with insurance?" Jiang Cheng took a look and it wasn't serious, just a slight scratch. "How about?" Before he finished speaking, Yi Qingjiu got out of the car and said, "Husband, you deal with it first. I'll go to the door and wait for the child." Yi Qingjiu was afraid that the two babies would be anxious if they didn't see her, and Jiang Cheng when they came out. So I decided to pick up the child myself and let Jiang Cheng stay here to take care of it. When the man in the purple shirt saw Yi Qingjiu, his expression changed instantly. "Are you Mr. Yi?" Hearing the man calling him, Yi Qingjiu recalled carefully and confirmed that he did not know this person, then nodded. Who are you? He smiled and said, Yaochen's son Ming, but not now. Jiang Cheng subconsciously glanced at him and found that this person was Sun Ming. This is embarrassing, as if I was the one who caused the breakup between him and Chen Shaolun. But we can't blame him for this. We can only blame Chen Shaolun for being too indecisive. As the saying goes, if you doubt someone, don't employ him. If you employ someone, don't doubt him. You have to employ him, but you have to doubt him. Even if you don't instigate sowing discord yourself, there will be others who will. Yes, that's it. Jiang Cheng was comforting himself when he saw Sun Ming's eyes falling on him. You must be Mr. Jiang Chengjiang. Jiang Cheng smiled slightly. Hello, Mr. Sun. This grandson must hate me to death, and he must be holding back a lot of anger. Jiang Cheng thought secretly. Sun Ming gave a polite smile in return. I've heard of your name for a long time. I thought such a powerful person must be at least 30 years old, but I didn't expect him to be so young. His eyes were calm as he spoke, even with a hint of appreciation, and he didn't look like he had any ill will towards her. No, isn't Mr. Sun still in his prime? Sun Ming smiled and said, Are you here to pick up the child? Jiang Cheng nodded. Yes, your child is also in this kindergarten. This is the best kindergarten in Sichuan City. Who wouldn't want to send their children here? Yeah, that's right. While the two were talking, Yi Qingjiu had already arrived at the entrance of the kindergarten and was looking inside, waiting for the gate to open. I wonder where Mr. Sun is working now. When Jiang Cheng was reading Chen Shaolun's information, he thought of Sun Ming leaving Yaochen. It seemed that he was negotiating with Lin Mu. I wonder if the cooperation was successful. Thinking of Lin Mu, Jiang Cheng couldn't help but shook his head. Tusk, no brains. I haven't thought about it yet, Sun Ming said bluntly. He had almost reached an agreement with General Manager Lin to go to Linmu and help General Manager Lin with an annual salary of 4 million. Who knew that such a big thing would happen today, with the news everywhere that brave and invincible plagiarized honor of kings? Right now, he is hesitating whether to go to Linmu or not. Mr. Sun, you'd better not go to Linmu for now. The situation in Linmu may not be very good recently. Jiang Cheng dared to swear to heaven that he had absolutely no intention of mocking him. He was just giving him a friendly reminder. It seems that Mr. Jiang is well informed. He even knows that I am going to Linmu. Sun Ming laughed. What? How do I respond to this? It's as if I were investigating him myself. You are indeed amazing. The big commotion on the internet today is probably due to Mr. Jiang. It was obvious that Sun Ming was sincere, which made Jiang Cheng even more embarrassed. To be honest, I'm not the kind of person who likes intrigue, but the business world is like a battlefield, and I can't bear to see my wife being bullied, so I have to do it myself. There has to be someone in the family who stands out right. It's just a small fight. Since Mr. Sun hasn't found a suitable next employer, why don't you come to Tengsing? The treatment will remain the same. What Yaochen can give, Tengsing can also give. What do you think? In fact, he didn't just say it casually when he asked Sun Ming to come to his company. After all, he is the vice president of Chenyu, and his business ability will definitely not be checked. Moreover, with the appointment of Li Zhang, Tengsing will need another Wang Yu, so it is indeed short of a deputy general manager. I don't have any ideas in this regard for now, Sun Ming smiled. Chen Shaolun had already hurt himself. He had worked hard for him like a slave, but he didn't expect to be deceived by a word from a villain. Okay, feel free to contact me when you have made up your mind. By the way, which class is your child in? Zaioi. What a coincidence my child is also in the 1st grade. If you have thought of a parent group, feel free to add me. I am Nano and Yanyan's parent. Sun Ming nodded, thinking to himself. It turns out that the parent of the twins in the group is actually Jiang Cheng. Nidui babies are really outstanding. Not only are they good-looking, but they also play the piano well. The parents' group often posts videos of the children's daily lives, so Sun Ming has seen Nuanyu and Yanyan quite often. The two of them had almost finished chatting, and Yi Qingjiu also came over with the 2 babies. Nuanyu and Yanyan saw Sun Ming talking to Jiang Cheng and greeted them sensibly. Hello, uncle. Hello, uncle. The child is quite sensible. Okay, I'm going to pick him up. We'll talk later. After Sun Ming finished speaking, he headed towards the school gate. Jiang Cheng touched the 2 babies' heads and asked with a smile, Do you miss your daddy? Of course, Nuanyu misses daddy every day. Yanyan is the same. Yanyan misses daddy so much. Jiang Cheng was delighted when he heard this. Does that mean we should have a kiss tilde? I want daddy, Bubo tilde. After saying this, the 2 babies crawled into Jiang Cheng's arms. Jiang Cheng kissed her on the left and then on the right. It was so beautiful. Let's go. Mom said she's going to treat us to a big dinner today. The family of four got in the car and headed towards Sea Shopping Mall. When we got to the mall, we went to a popular restaurant and had dinner. While eating, Jiang Cheng thought of Sun Ming again and couldn't help looking at Yi Qingjiu. Wife, do you know this Sun Ming? Yi Qingjiu only paid attention to the bigwigs in the industry and didn't know much about this kind of vice president. He seems to be quite capable, but I don't know much else. Jiang Cheng took out his phone and opened the family group to check. There was a parent of Sun Tangtang. His WeChat profile picture was Sun Ming. Looking at the two babies whose mouths were full of oil, he asked, "How is Sun Tangtang in your class?" When it comes to Sun Tangtang, Niu becomes more talkative. That's her little sister. Dad, Tangtang is very pitiful. She has no mother and lives with the nanny and grandma every day. Oh, speaking of Sun Tangtang, Yanyan was obviously excited because she was the most beautiful girl to him besides Niu. Tangtang's mother died in a car accident, so Tangtang has no mother. Jiang Cheng frowned. It was quite pitiful for a child to lose his mother at such a young age. He patted the heads of the two babies and said, "Then you have to be nice to her in school, okay?" "I know, Daddy." After dinner, the two babies wanted to go to the children's playground to play. Yi Qingjiu went to buy 2 tickets and sent the two treasures in. She went with Jiang Cheng to buy 2 bottles of water. When they came back, she heard Niu's voice from a distance. "My dad said that we can't say bad things about others. You are wrong to do this. I don't like you." Yanyan also shouted loudly, "I don't like you either." Yi Qingjiu's heart almost jumped out of his chest when he heard the children's voices. Jiang Cheng was also startled and turned around and ran back. When I ran over, I saw Yanyan standing with his hands on his hips, looking up at 2 children who were 2 or 3 years older than him. Niu was holding the hand of a little girl. The little girl looked aggrieved and her tears were falling. "Don't cry, Tangtang, we will protect you. My dad told us to treat you well." "Sugar, Sun Tangtang, how come she is here? This is such a coincidence." Jiang Cheng hurried over and asked, "What's going on?" Seeing an adult coming, the older child sitting opposite Yanyan obviously felt guilty and turned around and walked away. Yanyan looked at Jiang Cheng. "Dad, those 2 brothers bullied Tangtang, snatched her toys and called her a wild child." Hearing about the wild child, Tangtang cried even harder. Although Yi Qingjiu was always aloof, she was a mother after all. My heart felt completely soft at that moment. He squatted down and hugged Tangtang. Don't cry, dear child. It's okay, it's all over, it's all over." Tangtang was held in Yi Qingjiu's arms, and her crying gradually subsided. Yi Qingjiu wiped the tears from her face. "Why are you here? Where is your father?" "Dad is on the phone. He's very busy. He's always on the phone." As he was speaking, Sun Ming came over from the corner and was startled to see Yi Qingjiu and Jiang Cheng holding their daughter. "Jiang Cheng, Mr. Yi, this is." Niu saw Sun Ming and pouted. "Uncle, Tangtang was bullied. My mother is comforting her. They say Tangtang is a wild child." As a father, it is always heartbreaking to hear others talk about his daughter, especially when they say she is a wild child. Sun Ming's heart feels like it is being cut by a knife. He picked up Tangtang with a look of self-blame on his face. "I'm sorry, Daddy made you suffer." "Dad, is Tangtang really a wild child?" The little girl looked at Sun Ming with tears in her eyes, and Sun Ming felt extremely guilty. Jiang Cheng and Yi Qingjiu felt uncomfortable watching this. Yi Qingjiu said without hesitation, "Of course you are not. Only wild children would call others wild children. Tangtang is very well behaved." "Really, Auntie?" Yi Qingjiu nodded. "Really? Tangtang is not a wild child. By the way, Auntie has some delicious food here. Do you want to eat it, Tilda?" As she spoke, Yi Qingjiu opened the small bag she was carrying and took out a small bag of dried fruits. Niu and Yanyan liked to eat candy, and Yi Qingjiu wanted to give them candy, so after much thought, he bought this substitute. The children hadn't asked for candy in the past 2 days, so she kept it in her bag without touching it. Tangtang was instantly happy when she saw the snacks. She came out of Sun Ming's arms and took the snacks from Yi Qingjiu's hand. "Thank you, Auntie. Auntie will take you to play with them both, okay?" "Okay." Tangtang held the dried fruit and nodded seriously. Yi Qingjiu took the children's hands and returned to the children's area. Jiang Cheng looked at Sun Ming and said, "Excuse me for being so presumptuous, but in fact, children's childhood is very short. They probably only need our company for a few years. When they grow up, we will eventually withdraw from their lives." He hopes Sun Ming can spend more time with the children. Sun Ming sighed, "Do you think I don't know? But I have no choice. If I want to work and make money, I can't take care of my family and my children." "Aren't you still unemployed now?" Jiang Cheng asked back. I'm looking for a job, right? That's why I brought her here and let her play for a while. I can take this opportunity to make a phone call. Jiang Cheng looked at him and said, Boss, son, why bother? Didn't I tell you to come to Tangsing? Sun Ming glanced at him and said nothing. To be honest, he didn't want to go to Tangsing. Even if he left Yaochen, he didn't want to join Yaochen's enemy. How about this? As long as you come, you will work from 9 to 5, and you will definitely not be as busy at night as you were in Yaochen. Tangsing does not need you to work overtime. To be honest, which big company doesn't work overtime? Not to mention the vice president, even Yi Qingju often comes back at 9:00, sometimes even later. Really, Sun Ming was a little tempted. After all, he doesn't have much time to spend with his children. He is not heartless. Tang Tang has lost her mother, so she needs company more than other children. Really, we're all parents, I understand you. We get off work at 5 o'clock, just in time for our kids to get out of school. The words, it's just right that the kids are getting home from school, completely shook Sun Ming. He only comes to pick up the child when he is free these 2 days. Previously, it was the nanny or the child's grandmother who came. Sun Ming hesitated for a moment, then nodded. Okay, I promise you. Jiang Cheng smiled and patted his arm. That's right, don't worry, come to Tangsing, you won't suffer any loss. Sun Ming also laughed. To be honest, he particularly admired Jiang Cheng. Although he had never met him, he knew that he was so young, and yet he could manipulate Chen Shaolun like a pro. He was definitely not an ordinary person. Especially today, he saw Jiang Cheng being so patient with the child. He didn't believe that someone who was so kind to children could be a bad person. Jiang Cheng originally wanted to say that he would meet Tang Xing at 9 o'clock tomorrow, but when he thought that they both had to send their children to school and might run into each other again, he simply changed his words and said, See you at the kindergarten gate at 9 o'clock tomorrow. Ha ha ha, it's a deal, Sun Ming smiled. Chapter 133, So That's How It Is. The next morning, Jiang Cheng prepared breakfast as usual. After Yi Qingju had her meal, she left first because there were still things waiting for her to deal with in the company. Jiang Cheng watched the 2 babies finish their meal before sending them to school. At the school gate, Sun Ming was indeed there. Niu and Yanyan got out of the car and saw Tang Tang at the door. They ran over happily. Yanyan took Tang Tang's hand and said, Let's go to school together. Niu was afraid that she would be left behind, so she hurriedly said, There's me, there's me. You are all my best friends, let's go to school together. Tang Tang was very happy. The 3 babies jumped into the kindergarten. Jiang Cheng glanced at Sun Ming and said, Let's go to Tangsing. After saying that, he went towards his black phantom, and Sun Ming followed behind him. Jiang Cheng pressed the car key, and as soon as the car door opened, Sun Ming got in without hesitation. Jiang Cheng looked at him curiously. You didn't drive. Sun Ming looked at him and said, Take it and fix it. What? Oh my God, I forgot to fix the car. What kind of brain is this? The car was driving on the wide 8-lane road. Sun Ming looked at Jiang Cheng and said lightly, Thank you. Jiang Cheng was shocked. Why should he thank him? If it weren't for him, he wouldn't have lost his job. No, don't thank me. Sun Ming has worked at Yaochen for so long, devoting himself to the company every day and working hard for Chenyu. But Cheng Shaolun has never considered his children. Sun Ming is always the first one to attend every social event or work overtime. Yesterday, Jiang Cheng's words that the kids would just get out of school at 5 o'clock immediately broke Sun Ming's defense. He is more capable and more understanding than Chen Shaolun, and most importantly, he can think that his children need a father. So he was willing to follow Jiang Cheng and work at Tangsing. In fact, sometimes it is really simple. All you need is someone who understands and knows him. Jiang Cheng understood him, and he was extremely grateful. Mr. Jiang, what should I do at Tangsing? Sun Ming asked. Just do your old job, the fire brigade. Fire brigade. Sun Ming was a little confused. What does firefighting team mean? Jiang Cheng laughed and asked Si Qingqing to find out about Sun Ming's situation last night. Sun Ming is really a powerful general in Yaochen. He is in charge of sales, quality, marketing, and planning. He is very efficient and is always there wherever there is a problem. So Jiang Cheng gave him a friendly nickname, Fire Team. With him around, I can go home and take care of the children again. I feel happy just thinking about it. The fire brigade is you are the fire brigade. After a while, Sun Ming suddenly understood. Mr. Jiang, thank you so much. Unexpectedly, Jiang Cheng compared himself to a fire brigade. This is a great affirmation of myself, and I do the same thing here as I did in Yaochen, which means I don't treat the drivers as outsiders at all. Gave myself great trust. Sun Ming made up his mind on the spot that he would do a good job. After arriving at Tengsing, Yi Qingjiu organized a meeting to accept the appointment, and Sun Ming officially took office. Although he has no shares now, Jiang Cheng promised him that as long as he works hard, he will be able to give him shares by the end of the year, and they will be dry shares. Now Sun Ming really regretted not coming to Tengsing earlier and meeting Jiang Cheng earlier. Lawyer Zhang had already filed a lawsuit with the court. Zhou Shengqiang was traveling out of town when he received a lawyer's letter and a court summons. When he saw the subpoena, he was devastated and called Mr. Wang immediately. "Mr. Wang, has my data leak been discovered? My parents and I are in Sanya and we suddenly received a subpoena. What should I do now?" Wang Yu frowned. "Did someone catch you in some way? How can he be prosecuted without any evidence? This matter should be done secretly." "Probably not." Zhou Shengqiang tried hard to recall this. "It can't be. It can't be Su Ji. I called you once and he suddenly came in. I don't know if he heard it." "This is a fucking pig." Wang Yu gritted his teeth and said, "Why are you saying this now? If this matter had been reported earlier and discovered, the data could have been stolen later. How could people not suspect him if he caught the storm at the height of the storm?" Zhou Shengqiang explained, I thought he might not have heard it. Maybe. There are so many possibilities." "Then, Mr. Wang, what should we do now? The other party is the court. Who in the world dares to go against the law? That would be courting death." Zhou Shengqiang was extremely nervous. "What should I do, you ask me? How should I know?" After saying that, Wang Yu hung up the phone. He is in a mess now. It is really not worth it to put himself in trouble just for these 20 million. What damn bad luck. Zhou Ling looked at Wang Yu sitting on the sofa with a sullen face and throwing a tantrum early in the morning. "What's wrong with you? Why are you so angry so early in the morning?" Looking at Zhou Ling, Wang Yu suddenly had an idea. His wife and Yi Qingjiu were old acquaintances, so he might as well let his wife speak a few good words to see if Tang Exing could withdraw the lawsuit. Wang Yu looked at her with a heavy face. "Linger, there is something I need. Can you help me?" "What's the matter?" Zhou Ling couldn't help but feel nervous when she saw him like this. "It's about that data. Now it's been discovered. Tang Exing has already appealed. Can you talk to Yi Qingjiu and ask her to withdraw the lawsuit?" When Zhou Ling heard that her husband was being sued, she was shocked and sat down on the sofa. "I told him to return the money to him. Why didn't you listen?" "Alas, what's the point of saying this now? Hurry up and call Yi Qingjiu and ask her to withdraw the lawsuit." Zhou Ling looked at him and felt that the person in front of him was becoming more and more unfamiliar. "Wang Yu, you overestimate my reputation. Do you think Qingjiu will listen to me? He has been so good to our family and you are ungrateful. Now you want me to beg him." Wang Yu listened to his wife's reprimand, his face becoming more and more unsightly. "Then tell me what to do, you tell me. What should we do? Go to Tengsing yourself and beg her to see if she is willing to let you go," Zhou Ling said and got up and went into the bedroom. The door closed with a snap. It's not that she didn't want to help Wang Yu. He was her lover, the one who had been with her for half her life, but he made a big mistake this time. How can she help him? I hope he can wake up in time. Wang Yu sat on the sofa and sighed for a long time. Now he was afraid that he could only go to Tengsing by himself. Just as I was about to go out, there was a knock on the door. Wang Yu opened the door and took a look. They were two law enforcers in work clothes, holding work credentials. "Hello, are you Wang Yu himself? I didn't expect the FY people to be so quick and not give me any chance at all. It seems I can't escape this time." Wang Yu nodded. "I am. Come with us." Wang Yu looked back at Zhou Ling's room and sighed. "Okay." Zhou Ling heard the noise outside and ran out in a hurry. But unfortunately, all she saw were a few backs and the sound of a door closing. Some things are wrong and there is no second chance to correct them, just like Wang Yu. 3 days later, Tengsing. Lawyer Zhang arrived at the door of the president's office and knocked gently. "Come in." Yi Qingjiu's voice came from inside. Lawyer Zhang walked in. "Mr. Yi, Wang Yu's case has been closed." Yi Qingjiu curled the corners of his mouth and said, "Thank you for your hard work." To be honest, every time she thought of Wang Yu, she felt very uncomfortable, even more uncomfortable than Li Zhang. Lawyer Zhang took out a shareholding agreement from his bag and handed it to Yi Qingjiu. "Mr. Yi, her family asked me to bring this to you. They said they hope you can write a letter of understanding and let Wang Yu fight for a 3-year suspended 2-year sentence." Family? I don't know if it was Zhou Ling or Wang Wenjing. Yi Qingjiu felt a little uncomfortable when he thought of this. She didn't say anything. Her eyes drooped, her long eyelashes sweeping away a shadow in the bottom of her eyes. She said that she was embarrassed to see you and didn't want any shares. She just hoped that Mr. Wang would be safe and that her family could live a good life. It turns out that not everyone will become bad. Some people, no matter how many years pass, remain the same as before. Yi Qingjiu's eyes were a little moist. Send a letter of apology and give him another 5 million, and Tengsing will take back the shares. 5 million, based on normal expenses, is enough for their family to live on. She was unwilling to kill them all in the end. The equity. Sign up the contract and let my Yi family buy it. I will transfer all the money to the group's account. She has her own plan. If Sun Ming is really capable and can bring huge profits to Tengsing, she can consider giving 10% of her shares to Sun Ming. Okay, Mr. Yi. Lawyer Zhang nodded and walked out. Jiang Cheng had nothing to do in the afternoon, so he went home early. To be honest, he was quite tired these days. The two babies were not at home. Aunt Zhang was tidying up the garden, and Jiang Cheng had nothing to do, so he took a nap and went into the study when he got up. I planned to read Sheng Xinyan's novel, and then adapt it into a good script, striving to make Duluo Dalu a blockbuster for the new year. While looking for the notebook, Jiang Cheng pulled the door of the bookcase and found a thick brown paper document inside with 2 words written on it. Jiang Cheng. Oh my God, what is this? Jiang Cheng instantly lost his composure. He took the pile of information to the desk and started to look through it carefully. Page 1, November 20, 2017. Jiang Cheng worked odd jobs in a supermarket. He had an argument with a customer and was fired by his boss. Jiang Cheng thought about it and realized that the Chinese New Year was coming soon, and his mother had just been discharged from the hospital after an appendectomy. He wanted to give her a gift, so he found a part-time job in a supermarket with his classmates. November 21, 2017. Jiang Cheng went to the internet cafe, helped others to play games, earned 400 yuan, and had a meal at KFC for 50 yuan. Well, this girl must have asked someone to investigate herself. It's so detailed, just like reading a diary. I played for a few hours that day and earned 400 yuan. I was quite happy about it. I went out to eat KFC as a small celebration. December 1, 2017. Jiang Cheng browsed around the clothing for middle-aged and elderly people in CE Mall for a long time, but finally returned empty-handed. Come to think of it, that was his first time to look at women's clothing. He wanted to buy new clothes for his mother, but he didn't expect them to be so expensive, costing more than 4,000. Jiang Cheng had only 1,000 yuan on him, so he had to leave quietly. Unexpectedly, he picked up a briefcase downstairs with a computer in it. He waited for a while holding the bag. Unexpectedly, someone came to him 10 minutes later and insisted on thanking him and offering him 6,000 yuan. Jiang Cheng was surprised at the time. After all, that computer was not a good one. If it was sold second-hand, it might not even cost 1,000 yuan. But he wanted to give himself 6,000 yuan as a thank you. Jiang Cheng refused for a long time, but couldn't refuse, so he just put the money in his pocket. It was just the right time to buy clothes for his mother. I also brought a pair of shoes for my dad. When I got home, my parents were deeply moved. My mother treasures this piece of clothing very much. She still wears it all the time, even after several years. She said it was the first piece of clothing Jiang Cheng bought for her. You have to cherish it. Now that I think about it, it doesn't seem like someone really lost their computer. It's just to find a slicked-back guy and buy myself some clothes. Jiang Cheng shook his head, a hint of warmth flashing in his eyes. February 8, 2018. On New Year's Day, Jiang Cheng had dinner at home and went to set off fireworks with his classmates, namely Su Ji, Wu Jing, Ma Nan, and Sun Heoran. There was also a photo of them setting off fireworks together. There was also a note behind the photo that after verification, Wu Jing and Jiang Cheng were just ordinary friends. Jiang Cheng looked at the words written in gel pen and suddenly laughed. It seemed that the detective knew a lot. Fortunately, he explained it clearly to him, otherwise it would be hard to explain. June 28, 2018. Jiang Cheng was playing basketball on the court when he accidentally fell and broke his calf. Oh yes, that's right. Then something very strange happened to him too. Since he had a broken bone, Jiang Cheng was sent to the hospital by Su Ji. He didn't dare to call his parents because he was afraid that they would worry. As a result, Su Ji was caught by his girlfriend at night. This boy has always been scared to death of his girlfriend. She ran away without even buying him dinner. Jiang Cheng looked at the uncle in the bed next to him eating a pork chop rice, and his mouth was watering with greed. He still remembers the smell vividly. It was so fragrant. I had been planning to hold out all night, but unexpectedly, takeout was delivered at around 7 o'clock with a wide variety of food. There was chicken, a small portion of pork ribs, a bowl of fish soup, and a portion of stir-fried vegetables. At that time, he thought that Suji had a change of heart, but when he asked him the next day, Suji knew nothing about it. After thinking about it, it must have been given by my wife. She has been paying attention to herself silently. The more Jiang Cheng read on, the more moved he was. It was all about various small things in life, as if he was recalling all of his life in the past year. There are also various photos in it, including pictures of himself playing ball, eating takeout in an internet cafe, walking on the street, and even a few selfies of himself. Jiang Cheng couldn't help but take out his cell phone and took some nice photos. Then I posted a circle of friends, lost some words. Time is unforgiving. Then he packed up his things, put them back in the cabinet, took out a brand new notebook and placed it on the table. Yi Qingju had nothing to do at the moment, so he sat at his desk playing with his cell phone. I was browsing my moments when I saw a line from Jiang Cheng's post. Time is unforgiving. Chapter 134, He is not angry. Yi Qingju felt terrible. Oh my God, what is he doing? This photo could not be. At that time, Yi Qingju's father had just passed away, and she had a child. Being alone and helpless, and having to deal with a lot of company matters is really exhausting. During that time, she kept dreaming about that night over and over again. After all, he is the father of the child, and the baby in her belly is his, so she can't help but wonder what he is doing. Later, he found a private detective and asked him to follow Jiang Cheng's daily life and report it back to him. Every week, he would receive a report on Jiang Cheng's trivial matters of the week. In order to bring some comfort to her life, she also thought about getting along with him. But after all, he was just a college student who had not yet graduated. The next year, she gave birth to a child and became even busier than the first year. She dealt with company matters during the day and rushed back home to take care of the child after get off work. At that time, it was the lowest point in my career. A large number of people resigned from the company, and many employees jumped to Yaochen, Huyang, and several other companies. With so much to do, she no longer had time to care about her daily life with Jiang Cheng. She would only take out his fan information and look at his photos when she occasionally remembered him. Unexpectedly, Jiang Cheng discovered it. Would he think he was a stalker? Do you feel like you had planned this or something? The more Yi Qingju thought about it, the more nervous he became. He picked up the phone and called Jiang Chengbo. In order to coax his children to sleep at night, Jiang Chengying had suffered a few setbacks from phone calls. So he basically set his phone to vibrate or silent mode all the time, and answering the phone often depended on luck. He was concentrating on studying the script and didn't notice that the phone on the desk was still on. Yi Qingju became more and more nervous as he listened to the busy tone on the phone. This is the first time he didn't answer the phone. Why don't you answer it? Are you angry? Are you no longer willing to listen to explanations? Thinking of this, she couldn't help but bite her red lips. If it were her, she would be angry no matter what the reason was if she found out that she had been followed for a year. This is stealing other people's privacy. I invaded his privacy, so he must be angry. The more Yi Qingju thought about it, the more scared he became. She sat in the chair, and everything in her mind gradually disappeared, except for one thought that was infinitely extended and amplified, which was that Jiang Cheng was really angry. No, I have to explain it to him myself. She grabbed the small LV bag on the table and ran out. Si Qingqing had just come out of the bathroom and saw Yi Qingju running towards the elevator in a panic, thinking something big had happened. "Mr. Yi," she said worriedly, "I'm leaving first. Call me if you have anything." Yi Qingju didn't even turn his head. I entered the elevator, got out of the parking lot, got into the driver's seat of a Lamborghini, stepped on the accelerator and drove towards this house. She was wondering all the way what Jiang Cheng was doing now. There is always severe traffic jam on Friday afternoons, and Yi Qingju was anxious sitting in the car. I was almost home, but there was a long queue in front of me. I couldn't move for at least half an hour. She hesitated for a moment, picked up the phone and called Si Qingqing. "Qingqing, I'm on Fun Street, come and move the car." "Ah, has there been a car accident, Mr. Yi?" Si Qingqing's first reaction was that Yi Qingju had encountered an emergency. Maybe someone had crashed the car. Without waiting for Yi Qingju to speak, she hurriedly said, "I'll be there right away." After saying that, he hurried downstairs. Yi Qingju hung up the phone, took another look at the long line of cars in front of him, got out of the car directly, and started walking towards home. There were a lot of people on the roadside. A young couple was leisurely walking and eating ice cream. Next to them was a mother who was leaning over to look at her baby in the stroller. Yi Qingju walked so fast that beads of sweat appeared on his forehead. Damn it. Why is it so slow? She was really anxious to death. Card. The heel of her high-heeled shoes was unexpectedly stuck in the manhole cover on the roadside. Her eyes were fixed on the direction of home, and she didn't even notice the manhole cover under her feet. What should she do now? This was the first time she had encountered such a situation. She lifted her foot twice, trying to pull the heel out, but it didn't work after several attempts. That heel seems to be deliberately making trouble. What should I do about this? She was inexperienced and stood on the manhole cover, hesitating. Because of this, people on the street stole curious glances at her, and Yikingju felt embarrassed and anxious being stared at by everyone. Oh my God, what should I do? What are you all looking at me doing? Have you never been stuck before? It really is. After hesitating for a few seconds, she simply took off the other shoe. What to wear? Anyway, Jiang Cheng has walked barefoot, so I can do it too. Aunt Zhang was cleaning the door of the villa. Seeing Yikingju barefoot, she was startled and asked, "Miss, what happened to you?" Yikingju looked at her anxiously. Where's Jiang Cheng? She stood barefoot on the asphalt, and her originally fair insteps were slightly reddened by the sun. Aunt Zhang looked at him with great concern. "Miss, what happened to you? Where are your shoes? Does it hurt to walk like this? I'll go get you some shoes." Yikingju had no time to put on his shoes. Where should Jiang Cheng be? The information is in the study on the second floor. Jiang Cheng should be there too. Thinking of this, she opened the door and walked in, went straight to the second floor and reached the study. Jiang Cheng was sitting in front of the computer when the door was suddenly pushed open. He was startled to see Yi Qingjiu standing at the door with a pale face. "What's going on? Shouldn't you be at Tengsing? Why are you back? Why didn't you answer my call?" After hearing what she said, Jiang Cheng took a look at the phone and sure enough, there were 4 missed calls. He smiled and said, "Wife, where are these things? My phone is on silent so I didn't hear it." After Jiang Cheng finished speaking, he realized that Yi Qingjiu was not wearing shoes and her feet were red. He was startled. "Wife, why aren't you wearing shoes?" After saying that, he walked towards Yi Qingjiu. He bent down to check what happened to her feet, and his heart broke. The soles of his feet were pitch black, and his ankle had a long, red cut from something that seemed to have occurred. "What's wrong with you?" Jiang Cheng was a little anxious. "Why are you not wearing shoes?" Yi Qingjiu looked at him, feeling inexplicably aggrieved. "It's because you're angry, sir." Angry? Jiang Cheng was stunned for a moment. When did he get angry? He thought about it and wondered if he hadn't answered the phone. "Wife, I just didn't hear it. Why am I still angry? Didn't you find out that I hired someone to follow you?" Yi Qingjiu lowered her head, and her voice became lower and lower. After all, she was wrong, and she had no confidence at all. Jiang Cheng looked at her and suddenly laughed. "Why should I be angry? My wife pays so much attention to me and keeps an eye on my every move. Why should I be angry?" Yi Qingjiu looked up at her. She had big eyes and crescent-shaped double eyelids, which made her eyes appear deep and particularly charming. He said he wasn't angry. He wasn't angry with himself. She was a little uncertain. "Are you really not angry?" Jiang Cheng shook his head and gently touched her nose with a distressed look in his eyes. "So, you came back barefoot because you were afraid that I would be angry, right?" I didn't mean to come barefoot. My shoe got stuck." Yi Qingjiu lowered his head, like a person who had done something wrong. "Stand here and wait for me. I'll go get some water to wash my feet." After saying that, Jiang Cheng left the room. The door closed with a snap. Jiang Cheng's eyes were filled with tears and he felt extremely upset. This girl was actually afraid that he would be angry, so she ran back barefoot. The ground was so dirty and there might be broken glass on it. How could she be so stupid? Why didn't I notice that the phone was lighting up? Why was I so careless? Jiang Cheng touched his face, turned and went into the bathroom, took out a basin, filled it with warm water and brought it into the study. Yi Qingjiu was full of anxiety just now and felt nothing while walking on the road. Now that his heart was relaxed, the pain in his feet came back in waves. Jiang Cheng placed the water in front of the sofa, then walked over and picked up Yi Qingjiu. She was very light and felt so thin in his arms. When Yi Qingjiu was hugged by him, a strong smell of soapberry instantly rushed into her nose, which was the unique smell of Jiang Cheng. "Smells good and feels safe." Jiang Cheng put her on the sofa, rubbed his eyes, and lowered his head to wash her feet. Yi Qingjiu trembled nervously. I can do it myself. She has always washed herself since she was a child." Jiang Cheng grabbed her calf. "Don't move." Yi Qingjiu's calves felt numb and he almost lost consciousness. Oh my God, he actually wanted to wash his feet. Her feet were a little tense because of nervousness. "Relax a little." After saying that, Jiang Cheng put his beautiful long legs into the basin. "Then wash it carefully. Don't be so anxious next time, understand?" There are a lot of broken glass shards on the ground. If you step on them, how painful would it be? Just thinking about it, Jiang Cheng couldn't help but feel distressed. Yi Qingjiu looked at him. The sunlight outside slanted in and shone on Jiang Cheng's face. His hair was slightly shiny, and his nose was as straight as a mountain. She was watching intently. Jiang Cheng looked up at her. "Hey, I'm talking to you. Why are you looking at me again? Why does this girl always look at me with distraction?" Yi Qingjiu smiled and said, "Because you are pretty, Tilda." "Damn it. She said she was pretty. Why is she so unstable now?" Jiang Cheng swallowed, and his Adam's apple moved. Seeing that he was a little shy, Yi Qingjiu curled the corners of her red lips. "What? Are you shy? How can you still be so shy after being an old married couple?" "She's here again." She started again. Jiang Cheng washed her feet and put them on the ground. "Look at how dirty the water is." Yi Qingjiu stared at him with eyes wide open. She had never expected that Jiang Cheng would actually say this. "You." Jiang Chengcheng smiled at her and teased. "Wife, you have turned from a lazy pig into a dirty pig." Yi Qingjiu's eyelids twitched as if they were on fire. "Damn it." He actually called himself a dirty little pig. No, who is lazy? He was actually laughing at himself. Yi Qingjiu stared and snorted. "Jiang Cheng." Jiang Cheng smiled slightly. "I'm here, Tilda." "Wow, she's so beautiful. He likes his wife like this. She's so cute." HMPH, Yi Qing was drunk. Jiang Cheng patted her head and said, "Okay, I'm just teasing you. Wait for me. I'll go get a towel." After saying that, he got the towel and helped Yi Qingjiu dry her feet. Her feet were so soft, and her skin was so delicate that they would turn red if you touched them lightly. Jiang Cheng checked carefully and confirmed that everything was fine. Then he breathed a sigh of relief and leaned over to pick her up. "What are you doing?" Yi Qingjiu looked at him nervously. Jiang Cheng looked at her. Now it was his turn. He raised his eyebrows and said, "Hey, you are an old married couple. What are you afraid of?" Yi Qingjiu struggled a bit. Although it was not the first time, she was really shy, especially when he held her like this. "Put me down." "Don't want." "Put me down." Jiang Cheng looked at Yi Qingjiu, who looked shy in his arms, and said with a look of confusion, "Why? Are you going to follow Niu and Yanyan and run around barefoot?" "Call." Yi Qingjiu breathed a sigh of relief. It turned out that they were not doing anything shameful. But why am I a little disappointed? When they arrived at the living room on the first floor, Jiang Cheng put the person on the sofa and handed him a pair of slippers from the door. Looked at the watch. It's 5 o'clock, time to pick up the kid. Wait for me at home. I'll pick up the kids from school. It'll be quick." When talking about Niu and Yanyan, Yi Qingjiu's mind came up with the image of the two babies pouting and calling, "Mommy." She also missed her children. "I'll go with you. Just rest at home, I'll pick you up." He was reluctant to let his wife walk even one more step, even though sitting in the car was not tiring. "But I just can't bear to do it." Seeing his determined expression, Yi Qingjiu smiled and said, "Okay, then come back early." "Don't worry." After leaving the house, Jiang Cheng drove to the kindergarten. The two babies were waiting outside the door early, and when they saw Jiang Cheng, they ran over happily. "Daddy, hug me, Tilda." "Daddy, Bobo, Tilda." Jiang Cheng picked up the two babies and smiled happily. "Okay, Daddy, Bobo, Tilda." After saying that, he kissed the two babies on the face one by one. Teacher Zhou saw Jiang Cheng and greeted him, "Mr. Jiang." "Hello, Teacher Zhou," Jiang Cheng smiled. At this moment, he is still immersed in the happiness brought to him by his two babies. "Mr. Jiang, this is what happened. The school has arranged a performance, and Yanyan and Niu have also signed up. They will be performing the piano." Jiang Cheng opened his eyes wide and looked at the two babies. "Why do you want to perform the piano? Not to mention how hard practicing the piano is. It's also extremely boring." Jiang Cheng still feels a little distressed for such a young child to sit in front of the piano and practice for several hours. Niu blinked and said seriously, "Because we want to be as good as Daddy." Yanyan also said, "Yes, Daddy is the first one." Jiang Cheng looked at the two little angels and felt inexplicably moved. "Okay, go home and practice piano with Dad." Teacher Zhou smiled and said, "The TV station will also come to record the event and broadcast it on the children's channel, so the school also attaches great importance to this event. What I mean is that I still hope that the children can perform better and bring honor to the school." Jiang Cheng nodded. "Okay, Teacher Zhou, I understand. It's nothing, I'll take them back first." "Okay, Mr. Jiang." Chapter 135. Nano's Superior Memory, Please Recommend. After saying goodbye to Teacher Zhou, Jiang Cheng took his two babies into the car. Along the way, they were very excited and chattered non-stop. Jiang Cheng looked at the two babies in the rearview mirror and asked, "Have you decided what to play?" Yan Yan shook her head, "Not yet." Niu Niu also curled his lips. "Nan Yu hasn't yet either." Jiang Cheng looked at the two honest babies and laughed. "You know you want to play the piano without any idea." Niu Niu blinked and said, "But Mom and Dad both know how to do it, Tilda. If Mom and Dad can do it, then we can do it too." At this moment, Jiang Cheng seemed to suddenly understand what it meant to teach by example. Although the children are young, they also have a positive attitude. Since both my parents know how to do it, I cannot fall behind. He turned on Bluetooth and searched for piano music for children's competitions. There weren't very detailed ones on the internet, only ones for children aged 3 to 10. Jiang Cheng clicked play and prepared to let them listen and make a choice. The first song is Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, which is very simple and has a cheerful sound. Jiang Cheng thought it was okay, so he tried to ask, "Do you want to play Twinkle Twinkle Little Star?" Niu Niu shook his head, "No." Yan Yan also shook her head, "No." Since you don't want any of them, let's play the next one." Jiang Cheng pressed a button to change the song. The beautiful music sounded again. The tune was very cheerful, called "I Have a Little Lamb." It sounds like it might be a bit difficult for 2-3-year-old babies, and it's more suitable for 4 to 6-year-olds. Jiang Cheng raised an eyebrow. "How about this?" Niu Niu pouted, looking very dissatisfied. "Not at all. Don't like this either." He turned around and glanced at Yan Yan. "Yan Yan, don't you want it either? This one sounds good." To be honest, this piece of music is a bit difficult for them. If they choose this one, they will have to practice it well. Yan Yan shook her head and said, "Daddy, change another." "Okay." Jiang Cheng pressed the song change button again. The third piece, Chopin's Waltz, was cheerful and fluid. Jiang Cheng knew after just listening to the beginning that it was impossible to play it without being 10 years old. I didn't even bother asking and just pressed the song change button. Niu Niu was listening intently. When he saw his father change the song, he looked unhappy and asked, "Dad, why did you change it?" "Yes, Daddy, Yan Yan likes that very much, Tilda." Jiang Cheng was stunned for a moment. This must be at least 10 years old, such a cheerful rhythm changing the tune every 3 seconds. The two babies are only 3 years old. How is it possible? "You're not going to choose this, are you?" Jiang Cheng looked at the rearview mirror in surprise. Niu Niu looked at Yan Yan seriously. "Yan Yan, you are no longer a 1 or 2-year-old child. Are you sure you can do it?" Yan Yan nodded firmly. "Sister can do it, Yan Yan can do it too." Good boy, 3 years old, playing Chopin Waltz second hand. Anyway, Jiang Cheng didn't dare to think about it. He whispered, "Why don't we go home and try it first?" "Okay," the two babies said in unison. When they got home, Yi Qingjiu was busy in the kitchen with Zhang Ma. Jiang Cheng was shocked when he saw Yi Qingjiu busying around in the kitchen. "Didn't I tell you to take a break?" Yi Qingjiu looked at him and curled the corners of her lips. "Don't worry, I'm not that squeamish. Besides, I also want to learn how to cook." "Why learn that? I'll cook it for you." To be honest, Jiang Cheng was reluctant to let his wife cook because her hands were so thin and soft, not the hands that could cook. Yi Qingjiu said proudly, "No, I still want the children to have a meal cooked by their mother." Jiang Cheng smiled and shook his head. "Really, there's nothing you can do." Seeing that their parents were not having fun chatting, the two kids grabbed Jiang Cheng's hand and tried to drag him away. "Daddy, please hand it over to us quickly, Tilda." "Dad, let's chat." The two kids looked impatient. Jiang Cheng followed them and smiled. Okay, Dad will teach you right away." He walked to the piano and sat down, his fingertips dancing on the black and white keyboard, perfectly displaying the lightness and agility of the waltz. Both babies were listening intently. Niu Niu blinked and said in surprise, "Daddy, it sounds better than the one in the car." "Dad, Yan Yan must learn, Yan Yan must learn," Yan Yan said as he climbed onto Jiang Cheng. Jiang Cheng was afraid that he would fall, so he quickly picked him up and looked at Yan Yan helplessly. "Slow down, my baby. Dad plays the piano so well, I must be like him." Yan Yan looked at Jiang Cheng impatiently. "Dad, please teach us quickly." Jiang Cheng heard this and said, "I'm teaching you right now, don't worry." He placed his two babies in front of the piano and started teaching them step by step. Unfortunately, it happened so suddenly, and there was no Chopin Waltz score at home. "How about this? Daddy plays one line and you play one line, okay?" "Okay." The two darlings, one sitting in the high-pitched area and the other in the low-pitched area, followed Jiang Cheng and really started to play the piano seriously. After being taught several times, Niu Niu became restless. "Daddy, get up, I want to try it." "Good guy, he's killing the donkey after it has done its job." "You really don't want Daddy anymore." Jiang Cheng was a little uncomfortable with being suddenly abandoned by his daughter, and wanted to regain his sense of existence. I want to try it myself, and Yanyan has to go away too. No, Yanyan looked unwilling. Yes, Nyu raised her little hand, looking like a Q version of Yi Qingjiu. Okay, Yanyan climbed down from the stool feeling aggrieved. The meal was ready, and Yi Qingjiu came over with a smile. It was really nice to see Nyu playing the piano instead of Yanyan. Just as she was about to stop him, Jiang Cheng pulled her over and said, "Don't be impatient. You can't educate a child like this. You have to wait until she fails, and then you can give her some guidance." When Jiang Cheng spoke, he looked like a senior educator. Yi Qingjiu looked puzzled. Jiang Cheng gave her a confident look and said, "Just wait and see." He had already thought about how he should educate a 3-year-old girl like a loving father. The three of them stood aside and looked at Nano sitting on the bench. I saw her chubby little hands pressing the piano keys quickly, and a whole piece of beautiful music flowed. Jiang Cheng looked at her with a smile and helped her count the sentences. "Well, I've played 5 sentences, not bad. 10 sentences now, you have a bright future. 15 sentences. Wife, did you see that? 15 sentences, my daughter is awesome. Oh my God, 20 sentences already." And he actually remembered so many. Until Nano played a complete chop-in waltz. Jiang Cheng was stunned. "Depend on." As expected, she is my daughter. Her memory is amazing. He held Yi Qingjiu's hand with excitement. "Did you hear that? Nyu actually played it perfectly." Yi Qingjiu nodded. "I heard it." "Is it powerful?" Seeing his daughter so successful, Jiang Cheng was even more excited than unlocking a new skill. Yi Qingjiu looked at his excitement and laughed. "No more education." "Education, of course we need education. It's so great we need to encourage it." Jiang Cheng walked over with a smile and touched Nyu's head. "Nunuo is awesome. You memorized such a rare song after just a few repetitions." Nyu looked at him proudly. "Dad, I will be the one teaching Yanyan from now on, okay?" "Of course you can. You're so great you can definitely teach Yanyan." Nyu was extremely happy to get her father's affirmation. She ran over and held Yanyan's hand. "Sister will teach you, okay?" "No," Yanyan pouted, looking angry. Nyu held Yanyan's hand like a little adult and said, "Next time, sister won't be mean to you, okay?" Yanyan hesitated for a moment and nodded. "Okay. Can I teach you to play the piano?" "Good." As the two were talking, Aunt Zhang brought out all the food and said, "It's time to eat." Hearing about the meal, Nyu, who had just vowed to teach his brother to play the piano, quickly ran to Aunt Zhang and said, "Grandma Zhang, Nyu wants to eat. My daughter looks like a smart person." Both of them laughed. Jiang Cheng held Yi Qingjiu's hand and said, "Have you ever thought about what you would do when they grow up one day?" After hearing this, the expression on Yi Qingjiu's face suddenly became heavy. When he grew up, he would have to leave his parents. Every child is the same, from kindergarten to elementary school to middle school to university. It is a gradual peeling process. Yi Qingjiu didn't dare to imagine what the scene would be like if the children no longer needed her. "Whenever I think of this, my eyes can't help but become sore. Can you please not talk about this?" Jiang Cheng smiled and said, "Silly boy, have you forgotten that even if they really don't need you one day, I still need you?" "This person..." Yi Qingjiu glanced at him, then couldn't help but smile. "Let's eat, let's eat." After the family of 4 had their meal, Jiang Cheng watched the 2 babies practice the piano for a while before taking them to wash up and rest. The next day was the weekend, and everyone got up very late. By the time we finished breakfast, it was already past 10 o'clock. Since Jiang Cheng came into being, Nyu and Yanyan go out to play every weekend. Yanyan rubbed her round belly and said, "Daddy, can we go to the Children's Kingdom today?" He hadn't been there for several days, and really wanted to go there and play with the sand castle. When Nyu heard about the Children's King, he was also moved. "Daddy, Nyu wants to go too." Hearing that both babies wanted to go, Jiang Cheng looked at Yi Qingjiu beside him and said, "Wife, do you want to go together?" When he heard that they were going out, Yi Qingjiu remembered the shoes he had thrown away yesterday. "I was so anxious at the time that my mind was full of Jiang Cheng. In desperation, I had to scrap a pair of shoes I liked." Thinking about it now, the more she thought about it, the more distressed she felt. She pouted and said, "I don't want to go. I have no shoes to wear." "No shoes to wear?" Mr. Yi has no shoes to wear. Jiang Cheng suddenly remembered that Yi Qingjiu had lost her shoes yesterday. "Let's go. I'll buy you a pair of shoes." Yi Qingjiu raised the corner of her eyes and looked at him suspiciously. "Really? How could it be false? When has your husband ever lied to you?" "Let's go, Mom Tilda." "Mom Tilda." Seeing that their mother was unwilling, the 2 meatballs pounced on her and started to attack her from both sides. Yi Qingju had no resistance to the two meatballs. She smiled and said, "Okay, let's go together." Chapter 136, Yanyan's Talent. The family packed up and went out. Jiang Cheng got in the car and drove straight to see Shopping Mall. The two darlings couldn't walk when they arrived at Kids Kingdom. Nunu ran inside as fast as he could. Yanyan got excited when she saw Nunu running and rushed inside too, shouting, "Sister, wait for me." Jiang Cheng hurriedly ran after him. "Slow down, be careful not to fall." The two little guys were very agile and slipped in quickly. Seeing that both babies had already gone in, Jiang Cheng walked back helplessly. Now they are running faster and faster, and the tickets haven't been bought yet. After saying that, he took Yi Qingjiu's hand and went to the front desk to buy 2 tickets. I just bought the tickets and turned around to see the 2 babies sitting in the space sand and having a lot of fun. Jiang Cheng took Yi Qingjiu's hand and said, "Come on, wife, your husband will buy you some shoes." Yi Qingjiu glanced at him worriedly and said, "Not good, let's wait for the children here." Jiang Cheng smiled and said, "See if they still need someone to accompany them. Besides, there are so many waiters, don't worry. Aren't they doing well in the kindergarten every day? They are already in kindergarten and can no longer follow their parents around like they did when they were little. Children no longer need their parents so much and are gradually starting to have their own fun." Yi Qingju turned his head and glanced at the 2 babies. Seeing that they were having fun playing with the children, he nodded hesitantly. "Okay." The children's king was on the 2nd floor and the women's shoes were on the 4th floor. The 2 got on the elevator and went to the 4th floor. Yi Qingjiu was wearing a white dress today, with her slightly yellow hair draped softly over her shoulders. Because it was the weekend, her delicate face was only slightly made up, making her look very charming. Just like an 18-year-old girl, she looked small and pure. Jiang Cheng held her hand, attracting many envious glances from men along the way. To be honest, Jiang Cheng is quite proud. After all, his wife is beautiful. They are looking at it, but it still belongs to them. They can only envy it. Arriving at the door of a nice-looking store, Jiang Cheng pulled Yi Qingjiu in and looked carefully at the exquisite wooden shelves. To be honest, he is not very good at picking women's shoes. It seems that these shoes are no different except for the color. Yi Qingjiu felt touched when she saw him trying so hard to choose shoes despite his embarrassment. The clerk was a young lady with long hair, who looked to be about 18 or 19 years old. She glanced at Jiang Cheng and felt that this handsome guy was very familiar, especially his double eyes. I couldn't help but discuss with the short-haired girl next to me, "Does that handsome guy look familiar to you? Is he a celebrity?" The short-haired girl took a closer look at the man. He had peach blossom eyes, a crew cut, and an oval face. He seemed to be the charity ambassador of Sichuan City some time ago. Wow, he's even more handsome in person than on TV. The short-haired girl immediately lost her composure. "Isn't this the charity ambassador, Jiang Cheng?" Hearing this, the girl with long hair was also excited. "She is the pink cat in the comment." That day was all dark because of Jiang Cheng. "No, I need to take a group photo. I can't let my argument with the guys go to waste." As she was about to go up, the short-haired girl grabbed her and said, "Look at the person next to him. Is that his girlfriend?" The long-haired girl thought Yi Qingjiu looked like a high school student and immediately felt relieved. "The girl is really beautiful, but it's a pity that she is too young. She looks like a minor. She is probably just a little girl." After all, Jiang Cheng is a charity ambassador and a public figure. How could he possibly find a minor and blatantly take her out shopping? The short-haired girl listened to her analysis and nodded. "I think what you said makes sense. I want to take a photo with you too. You are so handsome. If I take a photo with such a handsome guy and post it on my moments, my girlfriends will be so envious of me." Just thinking about it, the short-haired girl couldn't help but get excited. "Okay, let's go together." The long-haired girl is also very loyal. She wants to share the happiness and go with the handsome guy. But who can win the handsome guy depends on their own ability. Thinking of this, she took the short-haired girl's hand, and the two of them walked straight towards Jiang Cheng. That look was like a hook, and once it fell on Jiang Cheng, it remained motionless. "Hello, are you Jiang Cheng?" The long-haired girl was a little excited, with a slight tremor in her voice. Jiang Cheng's throat rolled. "Yes, I am." The short-haired girl became more excited when she saw Jiang Cheng's distinct Adam's apple. It was simply a fatal temptation. It was so lustful. "The Adam's apple photo is very popular recently. Can I take one with you?" The long-haired girl was startled by her sister's sister. She glared at her and said, "What are you thinking? I didn't even dare to ask for a picture of my Adam's apple. This is her idol. It would be enough to just take a photo together, but why take a photo of his Adam's apple? Why does she want him to be so beautiful? If you want to take a photo, you should take it with yourself. How shameless. After that, she looked at Jiang Cheng with a smile. Hey, I'm your fan. The pink cat is me. In your last ambassador video, I fought against your haters for a whole day and night. Black fan. Jiang Cheng swallowed his saliva, thinking that she must be scolding his wife. Seeing Jiang Cheng's bad face, the beautiful lady hurriedly explained. Those black fans are really annoying. They said you have a child and a wife and so on. They just want to dissuade us, but we are not fools. We believe that you are not married. The short-haired girl also said, Yes, you are so handsome and so young. How could you get married so early? We just want to take a photo with you. Is that okay? Yi Qingjiu looked at the two people with no expression on his face. But I couldn't help but wonder. It must be them who said they were old aunts and housewives. Jiang Cheng didn't know what a pink cat was. Who reads the comments without looking at the name, not to mention that they are all talking about her wife. Anyone would like to read it. He smiled apologetically. Sorry, I can't take a picture with you. When they heard that they couldn't take a photo together, the two girls looked unwilling and said, Just take one photo with us, just one. Yes, I don't want a photo of my Adam's apple. Just an ordinary photo will do. The short-haired girl also begged. Jiang Cheng took Yi Qingjiu's hand and raised it. Excuse me, I have a wife. This is her. Her name is Yi Qingjiu. When Yi Qingjiu was pulled by him like this, her eyelids suddenly twitched. Is this how they show their affection? So this is what it feels like. The beautiful lady looked incredulous. She widened her eyes and looked at Yi Qingjiu. How is it possible? She is so young and looks underage. How could she be your wife or Yi Qingjiu? Everyone knows that Yi Qingjiu is a famous female entrepreneur. How could she be such a little girl? Yeah, handsome. You're not making up an excuse because you don't want to take pictures with us. Seeing that they didn't believe him, Jiang Cheng couldn't help but glance at Yi Qingjiu. Tusk, this girl looks pure and sexy today. This look really does resemble a minor, with beautiful double eyes, raised eye corners, and a sparkling glint in the bottom of the eyes, making her look very charming. He curled the corners of his lips. My wife looks younger. Yi Qingjiu looked at the disappointed expressions on the two young ladies' faces, and couldn't help feeling secretly happy. Now they finally won't call me an old lady anymore, and they finally believe that Jiang Cheng has a wife. How is that possible? The long-haired girl widened her eyes. This is her idol. For him, she argued with the trolls for a whole day. How come she was wrong? Am I the clown? This is really hard to understand. After Jiang Cheng finished speaking, he glanced around the store and looked at Yi Qingjiu with a smile. Wife, why don't we go to another store? Yi Qingjiu's eyelashes trembled. Okay. After saying that, the two of them walked out of the store hand in hand. The long-haired girl looked at Jiang Cheng's back with despair. It's over. He actually has a wife. The short-haired girl sighed. Sure enough, all the handsome guys have been booked in advance. They are all from other families. After saying that, he glanced at the long-haired girl and said, By the way, is President Tang Exing really that young? You haven't seen her face. I have never seen anyone so beautiful in my life. The long-haired girl covered her chest and said, Stop talking, okay? How do I know that Yi Qingjiu is so beautiful? If I knew, would I be able to humiliate myself? This time, she really embarrassed herself. Jiang Cheng took Yi Qingjiu to other stores and finally picked out a pair of white flat shoes. To be honest, my wife is not short, so there is no need for her to wear high heels. It is too tiring. Jiang Cheng felt heartbroken just thinking about it. This doesn't look good. Yi Qingjiu hesitated. She still wanted to buy high heels. What do you mean you're not pretty? Who said you're not pretty? My wife is the prettiest person. After buying the shoes, the two of them went downstairs to the kids' kingdom. The two babies had almost finished playing, and when they saw their parents leaving, they ran out and held Yi Qingjiu's hand. Mom, I want to go home. Mom, I want to go home too. Yi Qingjiu held one of them with each hand. Let's go, Mommy will take you home. Okay, let's go home, Tilda. The two babies were walking happily, and the three of them holding hands looked like an older sister holding a younger child. Jiang Cheng looked at Yi Qingjiu's pure back and secretly sighed that he must have saved the Milky Way in his previous life. The two babies would fall asleep as soon as they got in the car, so when getting off the car, Jiang Cheng and Yi Qingjiu still carried them back to the house. Yi Qingjiu walked around the street and felt a little tired, so he went asleep with the children. Jiang Cheng had nothing to do, so he went upstairs to continue working on his script. To revise a good script is not something that can be done overnight, and it is impossible without putting in a lot of effort. Jiang Cheng sat down, reading the novel and revising the script. Time passed quickly and several hours went by in the blink of an eye. In the afternoon, the two babies woke up and did not disturb Jiang Cheng. Nuo, as the older sister, took her younger brother to practice the piano. I taught seriously for an entire afternoon, and Jiang Cheng also revised seriously for an entire afternoon upstairs. It was not until the evening, when Aunt Zhang had prepared dinner, that Yi Qingjiu came up to call him. Jiang Cheng sat at the table and stretched. Well, time flies so fast, it's already this hour without me noticing. After saying that, he stood up and walked towards the living room. The two darlings practiced piano for the entire afternoon and looked a bit depressed. Jiang Cheng picked up a piece of pork ribs for each of them and put it in a bowl. After dinner, do you want to go for a walk and breathe some fresh air? Hearing that both babies were happy, okay, Tilda. Then have a good meal and then we'll go out. After the meal, the two babies couldn't wait any longer, so Jiang Cheng went out. After going out, I held the hands of my two babies and walked around the lake for a long time before preparing to go home. There are many rows of chairs by the lake, which are for the owners of the community to rest in the cool air. Sitting on the chairs are two young men, about 17 or 18 years old, playing with Mo Fang Zheng in their hands and having a lot of fun. They look like a boyfriend and girlfriend. The girl couldn't help but urge him, "Give it to me to play with, you've been playing for 10 minutes, it's my turn." The boy was reluctant to give it to her. "Wait a minute, I'll untie it soon, don't worry." The puzzle was almost complete, but the last red block and a white block just wouldn't turn around, which made the boy a little confused. "I told you to let me try, maybe it will work," the girl said, snatched the model and started to spin it. When Yanyan saw the model in the girl's hand, he suddenly stopped, his eyes full of concentration, and he looked at it very seriously. Jiang Cheng pulled twice, and seeing that he didn't move, he squatted down and looked in his direction. "Yanyan, do you want a Rubik's Cube?" Yanyan didn't say anything, just stared blankly. It was the first time that Jiang Cheng saw a child like this, and it was not easy to take him away by force, so he could only stay with him and watch. The girl turned the Rubik's Cube again and again with her hands, and the cube became more and more tangled. Originally, only 2 pieces were missing, but now there are 7 or 8 pieces missing. The more the girl turned, the more annoyed she became. "Why can't I fix it?" Yanyan stared at the Rubik's Cube in her hand and suddenly walked over. "Sister, can you let me try it?" The other party looked at Yanyan, who was only about 3 years old and was a little surprised. "Little friend, you are too young. You can only learn it when you grow up." Yanyan looked at her seriously. "Sister, I want to try." Seeing Yanyan was so determined, the elder sister had no choice but to hand him the template and said, "Okay, then you try it." Originally, I just thought it was a toy for the child, and I was afraid if I didn't give it to him, he would cry, and others would accuse me of bullying a child. The two young men sat aside and watched silently. Jiang Cheng held Nu's hand and watched as well. I saw Yanyan's little hands turning around on the Rubik's Cube, and more colors gathered, until the last white piece returned to its original position. The whole process took only 3 minutes. Yanyan finished solving the puzzle, and then returned the Rubik's Cube to the two young men. The two looked at Yanyan in amazement. God knew that a 3-year-old child could actually complete a whole Rubik's Cube so quickly. I can only complete 4 sides, but this child can complete all 6. It's really incredible. He is simply a child prodigy. Chapter 137, the script is finally. Please vote for recommendation. The boy looked surprised. "How old is your child? How come he is so smart?" This child looks so young, but he can actually solve a complete Rubik's Cube at such a fast speed. This is simply a child prodigy, an absolute child prodigy. Although Jiang Cheng was also surprised, he was more delighted. "My daughter has an excellent memory and plays the piano so well, and my son's IQ is also amazing. It's such a pleasant surprise." As an old father, he was really excited and wanted to tell the world right away. "Come and see, I have a pair of little geniuses at home." 3 years old, Jiang Cheng's face was full of pride. "Oh my God, he's only 3 years old and he can already piece together 6 sides at such a young age. He's simply a genius." The girl couldn't help but exclaim in amazement. It was so amazing. Jiang Cheng took Yanyan's hand, squatted down and asked him, "Yanyan, tell Dad, how did you do it?" Yanyan shook his head. He had a lot of thoughts in his mind, but he couldn't express them. He frowned, looking like he didn't know what to do. Jiang Cheng looked at his embarrassment and patted his head. "It's okay, if you can't say it, then don't say it. Let's go home." Yanyan nodded. Nu took Yanyan's hand, raised her little face, full of affirmation. "Brother, you are awesome." The 3 of them walked towards home, holding hands. After returning home, Jiang Cheng found a Rubik's Cube which he bought when he was in school. It was a second-order Rubik's Cube, which was more difficult than the ordinary Rubik's Cube just now. Ordinary Rubik's Cubes have 3 rows, but this one has 4 rows. He uses it to kill time when he is in school. Jiang Cheng handed the Rubik's Cube to Yanyan. This one is a little harder than the previous one. Try it and see if you can do it. Thinking this was difficult, he patted Yanyan's head again as a consolation. It's okay, just give it a try. If you don't succeed, you won't gain anything. Yanyan fiddled with the Rubik's Cube for a long time, then started turning it around with her little hands. Sometimes she would stop and think about it. Jiang Cheng waited patiently by the side, and every time Yanyan stopped, he would give encouragement. Wow, Yanyan has worked so hard to get to this point, that's great. After hearing her father's encouragement, Yanyan became more determined to succeed. Finally, after half an hour, I solved a complete second-order Rubik's Cube. Jiang Cheng didn't expect Yanyan to have such great potential. He excitedly entered Yi Qingjiu's room with the Rubik's Cube. Wife, take a look. Yi Qingjiu was processing documents on the computer. When she heard Jiang Cheng talking, she turned around. Her eyelashes fluttered. Isn't this a Rubik's Cube? Yes, but this is the Rubik's Cube that Yanyan put together. Yi Qingjiu's eyes lit up. You said Yanyan spelled this out. Such a young child can solve a second-order Rubik's Cube. Yi Qingjiu couldn't believe it. How is this possible? Really, it's really Yanyan. Jiang Cheng looked at Yi Qingjiu excitedly. Could it really be Yanyan? She hadn't discovered that Yanyan had any talent in this area, but she knew that Yanyan had liked building blocks since she was a child. He is also calmer than Nano. Although his language skills are not as rich as Nano's, this child has always had strong hands-on skills. Especially after Jiang Cheng came, Yanyan's hands-on ability became even stronger. Yi Qingjiu thought for a moment and asked, should I sign up for some classes to further my studies? Since you have talent, you need to cultivate it. Jiang Cheng asked curiously, what class are you signing up for? A Rubik's Cube hobby class. To be honest, he had never heard of this class. Yi Qingjiu turned around and checked on the computer, then nodded. Yes, it's the Rubik's Cube hobby class. After saying that, he stood up and walked out of the bedroom. Yanyan, are you interested in this? Yanyan nodded. Yanyan likes it very much. Yi Qingjiu smiled gently. How about mommy enroll you in an interest class? There are many people like you in it. Everyone likes to play with Rubik's Cube and you can communicate with each other. How about it? Hearing that she could be with many people who like Rubik's Cube, Yanyan was a little excited. Really? Then Yanyan will go. Yi Qingjiu excitedly held the child in her arms. You are such a good child of your mother. Seeing Yi Qingjiu holding Yanyan, Niu pouted and said, Mom, Niu is also a good child. What? The Chen family of Sichuan City. Chen Shaolun sat on the sofa in the villa with a sullen face. Sitting next to him were the company's other 3 vice presidents, Wu Jai, Su Cheng, and Lu Yuan. Wu Jai is specifically responsible for operations. Su Cheng is responsible for finance and financing. Lu Yuan is responsible for some sales channels in other places and specializes in establishing connections with foreign companies. Su Cheng looked helpless. Boss Chen, I think you should call Sun Ming back. You two have been angry enough and quarreled enough. The company really can't do without Sun Ming. When Sun Ming is in the company, he is like a firefighter. He goes wherever he is needed and is responsible for all the miscellaneous matters in the company, discussing projects and raising financing. As long as Sun Ming takes action, anything that the other 3 vice presidents cannot handle can basically be handled properly. Yes, Mr. Chen, there have been some problems with Yudu recently. We were originally negotiating well, but the other party suddenly wanted to withdraw the contract and refused to sign with us. Sun Ming has to step in to resolve this matter. In fact, Chen Shaolun also regretted Sun Ming's resignation. After all, Sun Ming was very capable, and with him around, he could save himself a lot of trouble. But for the sake of face, he still didn't want to call Sun Ming back. After all, he was the boss. He is his immediate superior. How can a boss ask for help from his employees? If this gets out, he will be laughed at. Besides, the company has 3 vice presidents. Are these 3 just for show? They all shamelessly want to call Sun Ming back. Chen Shaolun got angry when he heard this. His face was long. There are 4 vice presidents in Chenyu. If Sun Ming leaves, you 3 won't be able to work. Su Cheng looked embarrassed. Mr. Chen, you know that raising funds requires certain connections. Mr. Sun has a wide network of connections. Cheng Shaolun stared at him. What about you? What do you eat? Hey, Mr. Chen, our company is originally engaged in the internet industry, and everything is virtual. Financing is more difficult than in other industries, so we need connections even more. Other companies can use project mortgage loans. After all, they are dealing with physical objects. However, Yaochen, videos, and games are all virtual and banks cannot verify them, so financing is really difficult. When Sun Ming was around, he could say a few nice things to YH and get more money. But now that Sun Ming is gone, Su Cheng is alone. In short, he is facing a lot of difficulties. Boss Chen, I'm in charge of projects here. You know I'm often out of town. Now that Sun Ming is gone, I have to field over 30 calls a day from the company asking me what to do. I'm too busy to handle it. Lu Yuan was also quite dissatisfied with this matter. After all, his current workload was really heavy. Cheng Xiaolun frowned and looked at the three people in front of him. He didn't expect that Sun Ming's role would be so important. He rubbed his brows and said, "You all go back, I'm thinking about it." "Okay, Mr. Chen, we'll leave first then." "Mr. Chen, please go to bed early." As they talked, a few people walked out of the gate of Chen Xiaolun's villa. Chen Xiaolun picked up the teacup and took a sip. It seemed that he really couldn't do without Sun Ming. However, he was the boss after all, so it was impossible to ask him to come back. I have to know where he is going in advance, and inform him in advance, so as to completely cut off Sun Ming's retreat, so that Sun Ming can't survive and come back on his own. You also have to be grateful to yourself, and swear to never have any second thoughts in the future. Chen Xiaolun thought about it, picked up the phone, and called his secretary. "Hey, go check what Sun Ming is doing recently." "Okay, Mr. Chen." 10 minutes later, the phone rang. It was the secretary. "Have you found out?" Chen Xiaolun's voice was still as cold as ever. "Check, we found it." The secretary was a little scared, and his voice was trembling. "How is it? What are his recent plans?" He. The secretary didn't dare to say any more. "What do you mean by he? Hurry up and say it." Chen Xiaolun was a little impatient. He went to Tanxing." "What?" Chen Xiaolun never thought that Sun Ming actually went to Tanxing. He took a deep breath and tried to calm himself down. "Good boy, you betrayed me. It seems that I have indulged you too much." Chen Xiaolun gritted his teeth and hung up the phone. He must make Sun Ming taste the price of betrayal. The next morning, in the office of the president of Tanxing, Si Qingqing held the reports of several projects in her hand. "Boss Yi, please take a look." Yi Qingjiu frowned as he looked at the report. The sales of King were astonishing, but at the same time, the sales of the video website dropped sharply. The number of people logging in is pitifully small, and the number of people buying VIP is even smaller. She thought about it and decided to leave this difficult problem to Sun Ming. After all, Jiang Cheng praised him to the sky. "Let him try, maybe it will work." Yi Qingjiu raised the corners of her beautiful eyes and said, "Go and call Mr. Sun over." "Okay, Mr. Yi," Si Qingqing said and walked out of the general staff office. 10 minutes later, Sun Ming entered Yi Qingjiu's office. He nodded slightly. "Mr. Yi, you are looking for me." Yi Qingjiu pushed the data sheet over and said, "Take a look. This is the sales volume of our website. This quarter, it has hit a record low." Sun Ming picked up the sales chart and took a look. All the data was marked in red, which seemed to be quite low. "Mr. Yi, what do you mean?" Yi Qingjiu's eyelashes trembled and she half-jokingly said, "Jiang Cheng said you are a firefighter. If you have any difficulties, you can come to me." "There, Mr. Yi is joking." "I'm not joking." She raised her chin. "Some people outside privately call me a female devil." She was serious when she spoke, and was completely different from the girl he met in the mall. Sun Ming couldn't help but become serious. "Boss Yi, so you want me to increase sales, right? I'll do my best." "Okay, thank you for your hard work." Yi Qingjiu nodded. Sun Ming went to the sales department after leaving the office. He was very familiar with the website. After all, it was the same when he was in Yaochen. Just change the talk, but not the medicine. In the afternoon, he called everyone from the sales department and the marketing department together for a meeting and put performance improvement on the agenda. Chen Xiaolun had already made up his mind to deal with Sun Ming and had asked his secretary to find an employee at Tanxing and give him some money to find out what Sun Ming's work content was at Tanxing. "No matter what he does, I will stop him and let him know that without Yaochen, he will accomplish nothing." Jiang Cheng sent the children away during the day and then stayed at home to revise the script. In the evening, when the children came back, he taught them to play the piano. Yi Qingjiu still went to get off work and came home normally, and his life was very regular. More than 10 days passed quickly, and Jiang Cheng's script was almost finished. He brought the script to the company in the afternoon. Yi Qingjiu immediately asked someone to make several copies. Then he called Bai Meng, the head of the entertainment company, and asked her to come over. Bai Meng received a call from Yi Qingjiu and was so excited that he immediately drove to Tengsing. Half an hour later, Bai Meng arrived at Yi Qingjiu's office. Yi Qingjiu pushed the script over. Duoluo's script is adapted from a novel. There may be some differences, but it should be well received. Let's see if it works. Duoluo's script. She was following this book some time ago. Although the book was very popular, it was also extremely polarized, which was why she did not ask to buy the copyright. Unexpectedly, Mr. Yi was so bold as to buy the copyright directly. Bai Meng picked up the script and started reading it without saying a word. The script was really well written, and all the toxic points that were complained about online were changed. It can be said that it is much better than the novel, and she was extremely excited after reading it. Boss Yi, this script is so good, it will definitely be a big hit. I've given you the script, so just contact the director and get ready to start filming. Okay, Mr. Yi, Bai Meng nodded. Mr. Yi, can I ask who edited this script? It's really too perfect. Yi Qingjiu pointed at Jiang Cheng and said, he made the changes. You can take him to meet the director and then you can choose the actors together. In short, if you have any questions, just contact him. Jiang Cheng looked at Yi Qingjiu with a helpless look on his face. He thought that everything would be fine since he had written the script, but now he had a lot of work arranged for him. Bai Meng looked at Jiang Cheng in surprise. He looked like a fresh graduate and a completely green boy, yet he could adapt such a good script. You graduated from the Film and Television Academy, right? Bai Meng asked. Jiang Cheng shook his head and smiled modestly. Z University, a second-tier university, majoring in computer science. It's unbelievable that people who study computer science can write such a good script. What should these professionals do? Bai Meng smiled awkwardly. Nice to meet you. If there is anything in the future, I will have to communicate with you in time. Please don't think it's troublesome. Jiang Cheng nodded. No problem, I'd be happy to do that. Bai Meng took the script and returned to the company. He was extremely excited along the way. She just took a rough look at this book. Although Duoluo is very popular, the polarization is too serious. However, this book avoids many poisonous points, and the plot is unexpected. It is definitely a rare and conscientious masterpiece. Untitled chapter. I'd like to open a single page. I've been updating a lot recently, and they're all long chapters with chapters of 4,000 words. Some readers might find it a bit tiring. I am going to resume writing small chapters with 2,000 words per chapter, and the word count will still be around 10,000. Thank you all for your support. By the way, I have set up a book club, and interested readers can come in and discuss the plot and so on. Group number 1,051,548,670. Everyone is welcome. Chapter 138. Get ready to shoot. She picked up the phone and called the famous director Chen Xin. Hello, Director Chen, are you busy now? I have a script that I want to show you. Director Chen is a famous director who has directed many blockbusters. In the Chinese film industry, Director Chen was once a benchmark. This Hong Kong director who moved to Hollywood in his early years has such a thorough understanding and grasp of the modern entertainment industry that, when he entered the mainland film market in his early years, he completely integrated into this field and devoted himself to it, directing many award-winning works. Excellent results. There are also many mediocre little actors who became top stars overnight thanks to his dramas. Directors like this are more or less aloof. Zairabe, I don't have much time today. Sure enough, Director Chen rejected her as soon as he opened his mouth. Director Chen, this is a rare good script. I almost cried just now. You will definitely regret it if you don't read it. Bai Meng spoke with great sincerity. Hearing the regret, Director Chen laughed. Don't I know those screenwriters you know? They can't write anything good. It's just a waste of time. Director Chen, this script was written by a newcomer, and it's adapted from a novel, so it has its own traffic. Have you read Niban Duoluo? It's already a huge hit. After hearing about Duoluo Dalu, Director Chen was a little shaken. After all, he was a director, and he read a lot of books every day in order to make movies. This book is like a dark horse in the reading world, but its reputation is extremely polarized. If it could be integrated, it would definitely be a big hit IP. He thought for a moment and said, I'm in the studio, but it's only for 2 hours, come over. Okay, Director Chen, 2 hours will be enough. I won't waste your time. Bai Meng hung up the phone and headed towards Director Chen's studio. She is confident that this Duoluo will become a hit, and a huge hit. Bai Meng carried the script all the way to Director Chen's studio and said in an extremely respectful tone, Director Chen, would you like to take a look at this Duoluo? Director Chen adjusted his glasses and read the script carefully. Bai Meng sat carefully beside him and observed Director Chen's expression. Time passed by minute, and Director Chen's face was sometimes excited and sometimes sad, especially when he saw the part where Xiao Wu sacrificed herself. A director who has read countless scripts actually had tears in his eyes. Okay, that's great. Of course, Bai Meng knew it was good. She just thought it was good, so she showed it to Director Chen. Director Chen, can you take the photo? We can shoot, of course not. Tell us when we are going to start. Have you found the actors? Bai Meng was stunned when she saw Director Chen was so excited. She smiled and said, "How can it be so fast? Don't we need your approval before we can go find someone? We'll start casting tomorrow and try to start filming next week. I can't wait even a day for such a good script." When Director Chen spoke, his eyes were shining, and it was obvious that he hadn't been so excited for a long time. "No problem, Director Chen. As long as you give us the nod, we'll immediately go find the actors and start filming as soon as the audition is over." Okay, it's a deal. When Bai Meng walked out of Director Chen's studio, he was extremely excited. As long as this drama was filmed, it would definitely be a big hit, and it could also create a top star in the film and television industry. Thinking about it, he called Jiang Cheng. "Hey, Brother Cheng, Director Chen was very excited after reading the script just now. He said that we can start looking for actors now, and we can start filming next week." Jiang Cheng smiled and said, "Then you can find an actor, Tilda. This actor can't let himself come. No, Chengji, you have to help. This drama is going to be a big hit, and I can't make the decision alone. Don't we have artists in our film and television company? How about this? I'll go there early tomorrow morning and you can notify everyone. The audition will be done tomorrow morning." Of course, he knows whether Duoluo is popular or not, so he naturally wants to promote his own artists. Once the star becomes a top star, the revenue will be considerable. Okay, Cheng. After hanging up the phone, Bai Meng hurried back and notified all the artists under Xingyi to come for audition tomorrow. Sun Ming has not been idle these days. He has been in contact with the latest popular TV series. After all, it is a video website. If it wants traffic and users to pay, it has to control the hardware. He first contacted a currently popular drama called If There Is Destiny. The male and female protagonists are both popular young actors with high traffic, and the other party also intends to cooperate with him. The two people agreed to meet at a coffee shop, but Sun Ming waited for the whole afternoon and no one showed up. At around 4 o'clock, the other party called him and told him that he had signed a contract with Chenyu. This made Sun Ming a little depressed, and the next day he had to contact another drama. It was also a big IP drama, and the two of them agreed to meet at Newton Coffee at 2 p.m. Sun Ming was waiting at Newton Cafe early. As soon as they arrived, they took out the contract and said, "Manager Wang, please take a look. This is our Tanxing contract. If you have no objection, let's sign it." The two people have already communicated on the phone, and now only this last step is left. "Okay, Mr. Sun," Manager Wang said and started looking at the contract. "Manager Wang, if there is no problem, we can sign the contract and the money will be deposited immediately." Sun Ming was really anxious. This is his first battle in Tanxing. Who wouldn't want to become famous in one battle and establish prestige in the company? He is a new vice president with no achievements. Who can truly respect him? As long as this drama exists, it will attract a certain number of audiences, and the traffic and membership will rise to a new level in a period of time. "No problem," Manager Wang said and took out a pen. Seeing that she was about to sign, Sun Mingxin's heart rose to his throat. Just as she was about to start writing, Manager Wang's phone suddenly rang. The person who called was her boss, Mr. Wu, the CEO of Shenghua Entertainment. "Hello, Mr. Wu. Don't sign a contract with Tanxing. I have already agreed to sell the broadcast rights of this drama to Yaochen." Manager Wang was a little embarrassed. "This is not good. We had already agreed on this yesterday." Mr. Wu was a little angry after hearing her words. "What's good or bad? Are you the leader or am I the leader?" Seeing that his leader was angry, Manager Wang didn't dare to say anything. After hanging up the phone, he looked at Sun Ming with an embarrassed look. "Mr. Sun, I'm sorry. The broadcasting rights of this drama can no longer be sold to Tanxing." Sun Ming looked at her. "Why?" "Alas, our CEO Wu said that he signed the contract with Yaochen. After all, I am just an employee and don't have much say." "Yaochen, it's Yaochen again, once yesterday and once again today. He wants to completely eliminate his performance and make himself lose his prestige in Tanxing." Needless to say, it was Chen Shaolun's old trick. He must have planted a spy in Tengsing again, and this time he placed him directly next to him. Chapter 139, Counterattack. Without an IP drama right now, it would be difficult to improve my performance. This was a task that Yi Qingjiu specifically assigned me. There are only 2 dramas released this month. If you miss them, you will have to wait until next month, and there is no guarantee that they will be available next month. Chen Xiaolun was deliberately staring at me and making things difficult for me. He was such a mean person. How come I didn't realize that he was such a person? The more Sun Ming thought about it, the angrier he became, and he couldn't help but call Chen Xiaolun. Chen Xiaolun knew Sun Ming very well and had long expected that he would call him. Seeing his arrival, a smile flashed across his eyes. He picked up the phone. "Hey, Mr. Sun." Sun Ming said in a bad tone, "Why do you do this? What good will this do for you?" "Of course there are benefits. We at Yaochen now have the broadcasting rights for 2 popular dramas, so the sales of the video website will definitely be good." Chen Xiaolun deliberately stabbed Sun Ming in the heart, knowing that he cared about these 2 dramas, so he deliberately said it to him. "You are clearly targeting me and are trying to embarrass me on purpose." "Yes, so what? You and Jiang Cheng, one is the instigator and the other is the follower. Just wait and see, the fun has just begun." "You..." Chen Xiaolun hung up the phone before Sun Ming finished speaking. He took a deep breath, tried to adjust his mentality, returned to the car and called Jiang Cheng. "Where are you? I have something to report." He felt that this matter must be told to Jiang Cheng. Chen Xiaolun was really shameless. Jiang Cheng was originally planning to go pick it up early, but seeing Sun Ming's serious tone, he thought something might be wrong, so he decided to stay in the company and wait for him. "I'm at the company, let's meet on the balcony." "Okay." After hanging up the phone, Sun Ming went straight to Tengsing and headed towards the balcony on the 14th floor. Seeing him panting, Jiang Cheng asked curiously, "What's wrong? What's the hurry?" "Mr. Jiang, Chen Xiaolun is too shameless. He has taken away the broadcasting rights of the 2 most popular IP dramas at the moment." When Jiang Cheng heard Chen Xiaolun, he frowned. It was him again. It seemed that the lesson from last time was not enough. Right now, the website traffic is low, and it needs big dramas to boost it. Although I have held meetings with the sales and marketing departments, without big dramas, no matter how well they do, the effect will not be very obvious. Sun Ming was a veteran and knew a lot about this. He told Jiang Cheng the whole story. Jiang Cheng frowned. It seemed that Chen Xiaolun had planted spies in the company again. He had let him go at first, thinking that he would be more restrained, but he didn't expect that he was so shameless. Not only did he not restrain himself, he also tried to take the opportunity to retaliate. What a villain. Seeing that Jiang Cheng didn't say anything, Sun Ming became anxious. "What should we do now?" Jiang Cheng's eyes darkened. "Beat the dog." However, this time the fight will not be as simple as last time. Jiang Cheng plans to solve the problem once and for all and make sure that he will never be able to turn things around. However, this still requires careful planning. After all, this is a society ruled by law, and no one dares to act rashly when the law is in place. Sun Ming's face sank. "How do we fight?" Seeing his serious expression, Jiang Cheng took out a cigarette box from his pocket and asked, "Would you like one?" After saying that, he took out one and handed it to Sun Ming, then took another one and put it in his mouth. As the flame flickered, a light smoke began to rise. Jiang Cheng exhaled a puff of cigarette. "Right now, we have to find the traitor, and I need your help. Chen Xiaolun has hurt me so much. There is no relationship between me and him anymore. As long as it is not against the law, just tell me what you want." Jiang Cheng nodded. Yaochen has a real estate company under its umbrella, right? He remembered seeing in Chen Xiaolun's internal fan profile that he used to be in the construction business, but later changed his career, but still kept a real estate company. Yes, the real estate company under Yaochen is very profitable. Half of the company's net profit comes from Nijia construction every year. In fact, if Yaochen relied solely on the internet, it would not make so much money. Yaochen is quite diversified. It is not only engaged in real estate, but also has an advertising company. In short, it has many projects and they are diverse. Jiang Cheng nodded. "That's great." 2 days ago, he saw a project book on Yi Qingjiu's desk, which was about land. There is a piece of land south of Hueyuan Road that is being transferred. The land is very large, and it would require at least 500 million in cash to purchase it. But quickly, there was a problem. His position was actually very good, quite good, the kind that would make anyone fall in love with him. But it happens that it is under government control. That is to say, after buying the land, You only have the right to use it, but not the right to own it. Normal land purchases require a purchase contract, but the inner land only has a lease contract. This is the particularity of GJ control. In short, it is a pitfall. At that time, Yi Qingju just took a look and had no intention of purchasing the land, so the matter was left unresolved. But now he decided to give this hard-earned good deal to Mr. Chen. Isn't he fond of asking questions? Just let him find out about this place. After finishing his cigarette, Jiang Cheng looked at Sun Ming and said, Mr. Sun, let's put it this way. Starting tomorrow, you will go after the inner fast land on Hueyuan Road. Sun Ming frowned. Is it the land that has been vacant for a long time? Yes. Chen Shaolun has always wanted this piece of land, but the government has been unwilling to sell it in the past few years. Who would have thought that they would sell it now? It's selling, but it's not selling. Anyway, there are many tricks here, and it's hard to explain in a few words. You haven't figured it out yet, why bother with the land? You have to make sure everything is clear before you do anything. What if it's a scam? Jiang Cheng laughed at Sun Ming's nervous expression. It's a trap, so you only chase it, don't buy it, understand? Isn't Chen Shaolun keeping a close eye on Sun Ming's movements? As long as Sun Ming goes to buy land, he will definitely grab it. There is no doubt about that. Once he grabs the inner land, then there will be fun. Just chasing but not buying. Sun Ming was a little confused. Yes, we will only chase after them, but not buy them. Not only will we not buy them, but we will also have to tell everyone where we are going to build a shopping mall and a brand new commercial building. Hueyuan has a very good geographical location, with developed transportation, and it is lively and surrounded by complete facilities, including parks and several high-end residential areas. Once you see the shopping mall there, you will definitely find the value objective. Jiang Cheng dares to guarantee that Chen Shaolun will be tempted. Okay, I understand. Just say Tengxing wants to buy land and build a building. That's right, Jiang Cheng nodded. Then what about our website? Sun Ming was still a little upset when thinking about the website. As for the website, Duluo Dalu is about to start filming. I believe no popular drama can beat it. As long as we have Duluo Dalu in our hands, we will have the traffic. But is Duluo just being filmed? Other dramas have already been filmed. Sun Ming was a little anxious. Chapter 140, Sheng Xinyan joins the group. The casting for Duluo can be broadcast live, and we can choose from the general public. Anyone who is interested can sign up. What do you think of turning the audition into a variety show? Sun Ming widened his eyes and looked at him in disbelief. The audition was changed into a variety show. With the original fans of Duluo Dalu, it will definitely be popular before it is aired. Moreover, everyone can participate, and it has been made into a variety show. No company has ever experimented with this form of selecting roles. This is so original, it's bound to be a hit. Mr. Jiang, you are really amazing. You can even come up with such an idea. Jiang Cheng smiled and said, I just came up with this idea at the last minute. I need to communicate with Bai Meng first. Anyway, you go to check out the land tomorrow. Make sure to let the spy know your movements and the purpose of our company building the building. Sun Ming nodded, no problem. After saying everything that needed to be said, Jiang Cheng looked at his watch. It was getting late, so he patted Sun Ming's arm and said, Let's go pick up the baby. After saying that, he found the balcony door and walked over. Sun Ming looked at his back and felt a little moved. To be honest, Sun Ming was a little worried at first, as Jiang Cheng thought he was the traitor. After all, Chen Shaolun was his old leader, so he was a suspect anyway. But after they met, Jiang Chengduo didn't ask him a single question and told him all the solutions to the problem. There was no doubt about myself at all. This made Sun Ming feel inexplicably moved. Seeing that he hadn't caught up, Jiang Cheng turned back and urged him. Let's go. School will be over if we don't leave now. Mr. Jiang, thank you for trusting me. Sun Ming looked at him with gratitude, which made Jiang Cheng feel a little embarrassed. Hey, don't employ people you doubt and don't doubt people you employ. I've said it before. This is nothing. Let's go. If you don't leave now, the children will be out of school. When he heard about picking up the baby, Xiao Tangtang's smiling face immediately appeared in front of Sun Ming, and he became gentle. He smiled and said, Okay. The two men drove out of the underground garage, each in their own car, and headed towards the kindergarten. Jiang Cheng took over two babies and was thinking about the casting issue all the way. After going home and formulating his ideas, he called Bai Meng. Tell her that we plan to make the casting for Duluo Dalu a nationwide event. As for the one-star actors, they will audition together with everyone else. After all, the actors are all from our own company, so we'll promote as many as we can. After hearing this, Bai Meng was completely excited. She has been a producer for many years, and this was the most creative idea she had ever heard. Make the audition open to the whole nation, so that not only can the most suitable actors be selected, it can also attract a large number of fans to watch, so there is definitely traffic to be earned. She went to the company early the next morning, found a temporary site, and sent someone to clean it up to make it into an audition venue. We also contacted all the shooting needs, including lighting, stage control, costumes, and makeup, and of course they joined the crew in the afternoon. However, once the venue is found, other things become difficult, especially how to spread the word. From Bai Meng's perspective, if they want to attract traffic, the author must do it. Duluo Dalu is hers, and only with her popularity can all book fans know about it quickly. Moreover, it would be best if she could participate as well, which would definitely create a new high in popularity. Bai Meng thought about it and called Jiang Cheng. Brother Cheng, can you let this author come? I think if he comes, the show will get a better response. And now we need her to post a Weibo to increase the effect of our show. Thinking of Sheng Xinyan's foodie face, Jiang Cheng wanted to laugh. Okay, I got it, I'll contact her. After hanging up the phone, Jiang Cheng called Sheng Xinyan. Sheng Xinyan was walking her dog in the neighborhood when she saw Jiang Cheng's phone call. She smiled and said, "Hey, handsome guy, why did you think of calling me? Aren't we waiting for Miss Sheng to contribute to the Duluo crew?" Sheng Xinyan had just finished writing the book these 2 days, and she was feeling empty and lonely. She couldn't bear to part with this story, but there was no other way. She had to finish it. When I heard that I could add bricks and tiles, I was immediately excited. No problem, how do you say it? We have prepared an audition, a national audition. Anyone interested can come. We provide free makeup and props. Jiang Cheng introduced. Sheng Xinyan was excited when she heard about the national audition. This is the first time I've heard of such an audition. There must be a lot of people. 100 Zio Woos, wow. Jiang Cheng teased. You're just waiting for Miss Sheng's Weibo post. You're the author and you've become a huge hit. Hurry up and post on Weibo to inform your fans that you can come for the audition. Sheng Xinyan smiled and said, okay, no problem. By the way, I'll go to the crew in a bit. I'll send you the location. You'd better come with me. After all, it will be much better if the great author is in charge in person. Sheng Xinyan laughed when she heard this. What about my food? It's no problem for me to help. But as for the food, I haven't eaten Jiang Cheng's cooking for a long time, and I'm a little craving for it. No problem, the food is absolutely top-notch, Jiang Cheng said straightforwardly. Then you have to come pick me up. After all, you're a great author, Sheng Xinyan teased. Post on Weibo to promote it first. I'll pick you up at 2 p.m. No problem. What? At 2 o'clock, Jiang Cheng drove to the Wellington community, and Sheng Xinyan was waiting on the roadside on time. With long hair hanging down, big eyes, and a layer of air bangs, she looks very soft and cute. Jiang Cheng parked the car next to her and said, "Come on in, beautiful lady." Sheng Xinyan quickly got into the car and looked at Jiang Cheng with a smile. Tell me, who is more beautiful, me or Qingjiu? Of course it's my wife. Look, I give you my deepest love. The two chatted and laughed all the way, and when they arrived at the temporary crew, Jiang Cheng took Sheng Xinyan to meet Bai Meng. Bai Meng always thought that the author was a man, but he never expected that it was actually a woman, and a beautiful one at that. His jaw dropped. Brother Cheng, is this really the author? Sheng Xinyan nodded politely. It's genuine. The author is here, let's get started. Jiang Cheng looked at the temporary crew. After all, it was just a casting call, and this place was completely sufficient. He checked around and felt that there was no problem. Then he looked at Bai Meng with a smile and said, "The author brought it to you. If you have anything to say, tell her. I have something else to do, so I'll leave first." Seeing him leaving, Sheng Xinyan hurriedly shouted, "Don't forget what you promised me." Jiang Cheng looked at her helplessly. What a foodie. He nodded and said, "Just come over in the evening." After saying that, he drove towards the supermarket. Chapter 141, Unlucky Chen Shaolan. Sun Ming called a meeting with the sales department and the operation department early in the morning. Since he didn't know who had leaked the news that he was going to buy a big IP, he had to cast a wide net. But he was still very smart. He specifically emphasized during the meeting that because the 2 dramas were snatched away by Yaochen, the website matter had to be put on hold for now. He decided to take over Hueyuan's Niqui land first. During the meeting, Sun Ming was also paying attention to the expressions on everyone's faces. When everyone found out they didn't get the role, they were all pretty dejected. Why is this happening? Yaochen is so shameless. Yeah, how could this person be so bad? Some people couldn't help but start cursing Yaochen. Only Lin Wei was there, with a complicated expression on his face, although he was cursing along with everyone else. But his words were not sincere, and his nervousness showed that something was wrong. Sun Ming immediately realized that this person was most likely the traitor. But in order not to alert the enemy, he chose not to say anything. Lin Wei is from the sales department, and Sun Ming has been in charge of sales recently, so the two of them naturally got closer. In order to make the play more effective, after the meeting, I specially brought Lin Wei and another colleague Xiao Wang to see the land. On the way, Xiao Wang asked him, "Mr. Sun, our company's main business is the internet. Why do we suddenly want to acquire land this time?" Sun Ming smiled and said, "You don't know how popular this piece of land is. The company decided to buy this land to build shopping malls just like WD and CE. Just think about the traffic, and there are high-end residential areas around it. If it succeeds, it will be a big hit." Lin Wei nodded. "Yeah, this place is really nice. In short, 50% of this year's performance depends on it. As long as we take over this building, our company will be able to achieve greater success." Sun Ming spoke seriously, as if he was determined to win. The three men ran around for a whole day for this piece of land, and Sun Ming always pretended that he was determined to take this piece of land. This made Lin Wei unconsciously realize that this place was very important, extremely important. After work, Lin Wei found a deserted place and called Chen Shaolun's secretary. "Hey, Secretary Li, our CEO Yi has given CEO Sun a new order, asking him to get the inner plot of land of Hueyuan at all costs and prepare to build a shopping mall there." Secretary Li frowned. "Really? Really? I followed Mr. Sun all the way. He looked very anxious. Today he even told me that he would pay any amount of money, but the only condition was that the formalities be completed immediately." "So anxious?" "Yes, he is very anxious. He also said that the performance of the second half of the year depends entirely on this project." "Okay, I understand." After hanging up the phone, Secretary Li went into Chen Shaolun's office. "Mr. Chen, Yi Qingju wants to buy a piece of land in Hueyuan. Sun Ming has already started working on it today. It is said that he has been following him for a whole day." Chen Shaolun frowned upon hearing this. "The inner land is good, but it is under government control. It can change at any time. The risk is so great. Why does Yi Qingju want to take the inner land?" Secretary Li conveyed Lin Wei's words truthfully. "In short, they in Tengsing are particularly anxious about this piece of land." Chen Shaolun frowned. Could it be that he had to take risks to achieve wealth and fame? He had been eyeing the inner piece of land for a long time, but due to government control, he had not dared to take action. Now that Yi Qingju wants to buy it, it means there must be some inside story that he doesn't know. No, he must not let Yi Qingju succeed so easily. But this piece of land costs at least 500 million yuan. Such a huge amount of money is indeed a bit painful, so Chen Shaolun is still a little hesitant. The next day, Sun Ming went to Niqui Dai's partner early as usual. It was already past 3 in the afternoon when I came back, and I looked exhausted. When Lin Wei saw him coming back, he hurried to ask, "Boss Sun, how is it going?" "What else can I do? Those leaders are so hard to meet, but at least I've met them, and the discussion is almost over. I'll go discuss it with Mr. Yi right now and transfer the money quickly so that we can buy the land back as soon as possible." After saying that, he turned and left. When Lin Wei heard this, he hurried to the bathroom and called Secretary Li. "Secretary Li, Teng Exing may give the money tomorrow." Secretary Li frowned. "So fast?" "Yeah, anyway, I told you about this. I'll buy it later. Don't blame me for not telling you earlier." Secretary Li became anxious when he heard this and rushed to Chen Shaolun's office. "Boss Chen, they have made the contact and may pay tomorrow." "So fast?" Chen Shaolun's interest was piqued again. He was in such a hurry to buy it and was going to pay tomorrow. It seemed that he had underestimated the benefits of this piece of land before. Moreover, Yi Qingju wanted to build a shopping mall, and he also wanted to build a shopping mall. After all, the geographical location here is really great. As long as the shopping mall is built, it will definitely be a huge profit. Thinking that Chen Shaolun made a bold decision, that is to buy land. "You go now, take Mr. Lu with you, and in any case, you must get this piece of land for me. Do you understand?" Secretary Li nodded. "Okay, Mr. Chen." Secretary Li left Mr. Chen's office and went to find Lu Yuan. Lu Yuan felt something was wrong after listening to it, but he couldn't put his finger on it. "After all, the leader asked us to buy land, so just buy it." On Tengsing's side, Jiang was sitting in Sun Ming's office, and the two were chatting. Tell me, can Chen Shaolun be fooled? I acted so genuinely in front of Lin Wei that I almost felt like an actor. Jiang Cheng smiled and said, I think he can. He had already made plans. The inner piece of land was originally under government control and was subject to great changes. After he bought the land and started construction, he would raise funds in the name of a charity ambassador, set up schools and support education. Education has been a major issue since ancient times, and it is understandable in any country. After all, he is a charity ambassador, and building a school is an educational cause, so it is impossible for GJ not to support it. Judging from the idle land in Sichuan City, only this piece of land is most suitable for building a school. At that time, Chen Shaolun will definitely have to go to the relevant department to return the money. This kind of money is always easy to get but difficult to get back. Even if the formalities are approved, the funds will not be returned to Yaochen for several months. As long as his funding chain is broken, Chen Shaolun will become anxious. Duluo's casting variety show is squeezing out the popularity of Yaochen's video, making him lose money. After all, Yaochen's stock has been sluggish for some time now. As long as this round of flag dropping is successfully completed, what awaits Chen Shaolun is bankruptcy. Since Shang Xinyan posted on Weibo, many fans have come from other places to sign up. To be honest, it is a male-oriented novel after all, and Shang Xinyan feels that there will be more people who come to try Tang San. But I didn't expect that there were so many girls who came to try out Xiao, and they were all very beautiful. Everyone was shocked when they saw that the author of Duluo was actually a girl. She's actually a young lady, and she's so pretty. Don't pull me, I want to go get a phone. I'm going to ask WX for help. What kind of dream are you having? Can anyone give it to you? On that day, many people secretly took photos of Shang Xinyan and posted them online. It's revealed that the author of Duluo Dalu is actually a girl. As a result, there was an uproar on the internet. Because the author is a girl, many people who have not read the book went back to read the original out of curiosity. This resulted in a new wave of Duluo fans. This cycle led to the internal account post with Shang Xinyan's photo becoming a hot topic. As a result, more people came to audition. And 2 days later, Duluo's audition began to be broadcast live on Xingyi's website. The number of people who signed up was unprecedented. Shang Xinyan was sitting under a tree drinking water when a little girl came running over. Sister, hello, my name is Chen Mengting. I love your book so much. Can you sign it for me? The person who spoke was a girl of about 16 or 17 years old. She was very pretty, had a sweet smile, and was very polite. Shang Xinyan looked at her with a smile, of course. After saying that, he took out her notebook and wrote his name. The girl took her autograph and bowed excitedly. Thank you, sister. I want to be like you and write such a good story in the future. Shang Xinyan looked at her with a smile. Are you here for an audition too? The girl nodded. Yes, I like Xiao Wu very much. I dream that I am her every day. Shang Xinyan looked at her. To be honest, the girl had a great temperament and looked a lot like Xiao Wu. She looked pitiful and had a sweet smile. Go ahead, good luck in the audition, Tilda, Shang Xinyan encouraged. The girl nodded, sister, I will. Chen Shaolun sat in the office, tumbling Buddhist beads with great interest. Unexpectedly, when Sun Ming went to Tencent Star, he first got 2 big IP dramas. A piece of land was taken away later. I guess Jiang Cheng and Yi Qingjiu must have been furious. He couldn't help but feel happy when he thought of this. This way, he could finally boost Yaochen's depressed stock price. And he was just waiting for his building to be put on the market, which would be violent. Just as he was immersed in endless joy, Secretary Li walked in a panic. He raised his eyes. What's wrong? Secretary Li was a little nervous. Mr. Chen Xingyi, Com has launched a variety show that is specifically for casting for Duluo continent. It is very popular right now. Popular? He holds the broadcasting rights of 2 dramas. How popular can he be? Equals the same EP line DZ is prohibited from U7 transfer. 1 this 9JJ file 1M8 at QV3JB3VB5F0 US6. NFR at E tilde 84 plus 0. 5 AE98 WRCQC. JB6KLD and 50. A. PUA3 IT 128 R09 LD 24 W4 R5X6 W cell tilde 9. Chen Shaolun sneered. The grasshopper in autumn won't be able to jump for much longer. But the internal program has seriously affected the sales of our 2 dramas on Yaochen. Today's playback volume, according to the back-end statistics, is only 5,000. Secretary Li had no idea why this happened, and fearing that things would be delayed, He hurried to report to Chen Shaolun. What? Chen Shaolun's pupils suddenly widened. How is that possible? He never dreamed that such a thing would happen. 5,000? Those are big IPs. They are the two most popular dramas this year. Are you mistaken? Chen Shaolun couldn't believe that a mere live variety show with role selection could actually pose a threat to two big IPs. What does 5,000 data mean? It's just the traffic of a small web drama. This is simply a fantasy. He turned on the computer in front of him and quickly opened the live broadcast on the Xingyi website. Chen Shaolun's face became increasingly ugly. The girl who had just spoken to Sheng Xinyan appeared on the screen. She was wearing bunny ears on her head and ancient costume and was smiling sweetly at the camera. Hello everyone, my name is Chen Mengting, and I am 16 years old. Secretary Li always felt that this voice was very familiar. He hurried over to take a look, and his face instantly turned ugly. Mr. Chen, this is Mengting. Chen Mengting is the daughter of Chen Shaolun. She hasn't even graduated from high school yet, but she didn't study hard and went to participate in the Duoluo talent show behind his back. This is simply outrageous. Chen Shaolun almost died of anger when he saw Chen Mengting, who was wearing an ancient tube top and rabbit ears and performing a rabbit act for everyone. He gritted his teeth and punched the computer. What a bastard, what a bastard. Chen Shaolun felt the blood rushing up all over his body. His head went blank, and he staggered and almost fell. Secretary Li hurried over to help him up. Mr. Chen, are you okay? Chen Shaolun held onto the table and squeezed out a sentence from between his teeth. I'm fine. Go and bring this rebellious son back to me. This is not good. Mengting is still a child. She was worried that if she rushed over like this, Mengting would be unhappy. Chen Shaolun was so angry that his legs went limp. He sat on a chair and said, Go, hurry up and get there. Seeing Chen Shaolun was so determined, Secretary Li didn't dare to say anything more. She nodded and said, Okay, Mr. Chen, I'll go right away. Chen Mengting performed well in the audition. Sheng Xinyan liked the girl as she watched her jumping around. After the audition, before Chen Mengting had time to change her clothes, she saw her father Chen Shaolun's car, a black soldier parked in front of the crew. Then a middle-aged woman got off the door. She was Secretary Li. As soon as Secretary Li got out of the car, he saw Chen Mengting standing in the open space opposite. The two people looked at each other, and after a moment, Chen Mengting ran away. Secretary Li shouted anxiously from behind, Mengting, don't run. Your father asked me to pick you up. When Chen Shaolun asked her to come, Chen Mengting wanted to fly. He ran even faster, shouting as he ran, Don't chase me, I won't go back with you. Tell Chen Shaolun that it's useless to catch me. This is my dream, he can't stop me. After saying that, Chen Mengting ran around like a rabbit. Seeing her running, Secretary Li had no choice but to chase after her. Mengting, stop making trouble, Mr. Chen is getting so anxious. Two people were chasing each other and running around in front of the screen. The photographer shouted anxiously, You two get out of the way, this is a live broadcast. Hearing the live broadcast, Secretary Li hurriedly avoided the screen. Mengting, stop making trouble and come back with me. Sheng Xinyan heard the photographer shouting and knew the situation was not good, so she hurriedly called Chen Mengting. Chen Mengting, come here, don't run around. Hearing Sheng Xinyan calling her, Chen Mengting stopped and walked towards Sheng Xinyan's chair, looking aggrieved. Sister Xinyan, I don't want to go back. Sheng Xinyan looked at Chen Mengting. What's going on? Don't be impatient, tell me slowly. Sister Xinyan, this is my dad's secretary. She's here to arrest me and stop me from auditioning. Secretary Li saw that the situation was getting more and more serious, so he pulled Chen Mengting out. I'm telling you, if you don't go back, you'll see how your dad will deal with you. Chapter 142. 4 consecutive collisions on the Yangtze River Bridge. Sheng Xinyan looked in surprise as Chen Mengting was dragged halfway out by Secretary Li. She couldn't help but yell, Hey, if you have something to say, just say it nicely, don't arrest anyone. To be honest, she felt a little sorry for the girl. Secretary Li turned around and glared at her. It's best not to meddle in other people's affairs. After saying that, he stuffed Chen Mengting into the car. Sheng Xinyan looked at this scene that only appeared in novels and couldn't help but sigh. Art is indeed derived from reality. Bai Meng took off his headphones and looked at Sheng Xinyan excitedly. Miss Sheng, come and have a look. Within a minute of Chen Mengting being caught by his secretary, the traffic skyrocketed, and now there is a lot of discussion below. Just now, the live broadcast room actually welcomed a new high in ratings, which really surprised her. She pulled Sheng Xinyan and sat down. He pushed the notebook in front of her and said, Ms. Sheng, take a look. Sheng Xinyan looked at the notebook and sure enough, the comments inside were about to explode, so fast that she couldn't even read them clearly. She had no choice but to click pause. Only then did I see the comments above clearly. I love Duluo. Oh my god, is this girl here to act in a TV series? So willful. Support Duluo. She is obviously a minor. How can her parents not arrest her if she doesn't study hard at such a young age? Su Seul, what's going on? Didn't you see that this girl's car is a Bentley Continental with a starting price of 4 million? What the hell, what does this father do? Chibai Maruko-chan. +1, this is to attract attention. Bentley Luo, with such a rich family background, can't you sell a script for your daughter? What kind of drama can't you act in? Why do you have to come to Kiang Duluo? I know clearly what I am thinking. I am drunk. It turns out that children from rich families are all good-looking. Crying Lolita, I think this girl is a bit willful. Running around like this is disturbing others, okay? She is too selfish. Even if she is pretty, she can't be like this. What? Sheng Xinyan frowned. Isn't this just idle chat? She thought everyone had some opinions about the casting. By Meng's side, Miss Sheng, I am now a little famous. Look at our live broadcast room. There are 40 million people watching it now. Anyway, I don't think this girl can be the protagonist. Why? Sheng Yangxin looked curious. Bai Meng frowned. Ms. Sheng, this girl is too young and she's not steady. Didn't you see how she ran around like crazy just now? Fortunately, this is just an audition. If we start filming, do you believe she will ruin it? Hearing this, Sheng Xinyan smiled and said, there are so many people, just take your time to choose. What? In the car, Chen Mengting was very angry. Aunt Li, what are you doing? Secretary Li looked helpless. What am I doing? Why are you here? Let me tell you, this is Tengxing's script. Everyone knows that Yaochen and Tengxing are sworn enemies. Where can you put your father's face? What does my dad's face have to do with me? Although the girl looks pitiful, she has a very unforgiving mouth. She doesn't care about Tengxing or Yaochen. She just knows that she likes Xiao and wants to give it a try, so why is this not possible? He's always making trouble. Just because he's my dad, I can't just listen to him. Besides, I'm just here to audition for a role, so what's the big deal? The girl couldn't help but roll her eyes. Secretary Li glanced at her and said, Auntie, please don't be angry with me. If you have anything to say, go back and talk to your father. I'm just being sent by someone. Chen Mengting said awkwardly, if you don't want to tell me, then don't tell me. Anyway, you are just bullying me because I am not an adult. 20 minutes later, the car arrived at the Yaochen parking lot. Secretary Li took Chen Mengting and went straight to Chen Xiaolun's office. Seeing Chen Mengting's unhappy face, Chen Xiaolun tried his best to control his anger and said, you should be in school today. Chen Mengting rolled her eyes at him. You saw where I was, didn't you? If you want to scold me, just do it. Why do you have to start with an interrogation every time? Hearing this, Chen Xiaolun was very angry. This is his daughter. This must be his enemy. Is this how you talk to your dad? I provide you with good food and drink, and you treat me like this. Look at your peers. How many of them can afford to go to aristocratic schools that cost $1 million a year? Look at your clothes and shoes. Which of them did I treat you badly? Although Chen Xiaolun is not a good person, he really gives his daughter whatever she wants. Unexpectedly, the child became more and more unruly. Chen Mengting sneered, don't keep talking about money, it's annoying. Are you my dad or is money my dad? Giving me money is a gift, right? Chen Xiaolun looked at her with disdain and was almost pissed off by her. How can you talk to your father like that? I'm your father. Chen Mengting sneered. I am so sad to have a father like you who killed his wife. At that time, Chen Xiaolun had just made his fortune. As the money came, beautiful women came too. He was not the kind of man who could resist temptation, so he found a mistress behind his wife and children's backs. As time went by, the mistress began to become restless and tried to make him divorce her in both open and covert ways. Chen Xiaolun refused, so the mistress went directly to find Chen Mengting's mother. Chen Mengting's mother never dreamed that her husband was such a person. She accompanied him through the poorest times and finally lived a good life, but he actually did such a thing to himself. She couldn't figure it out, and finally jumped off the Yangtze River Bridge in anger. Although Chen Xiaolun did not remarry later, he started having mistresses again a year later, and he never stopped having mistresses. Chen Mengting knew something about these things, more or less. That's enough. Chen Xiaolun became angry, as if someone had stepped on his tail and slapped his daughter in the face. Snap, the sound is not crisp. Chen Mengting covered her face and sneered. Are you angry out of shame? Just as she was about to leave, Chen Xiaolun grabbed her and said, come home with me. After saying that, He pulled his daughter into the parking garage and stuffed her into the car, driving all the way towards home. Her mouth is getting worse and worse. She must go home and give herself a good lesson. Chen Mengting was sitting in the back, looking furious. "Stop the car, I want to get off." She didn't want to stay with him for a moment longer. Chen Shaolun was also furious. Instead of slowing down, he sped up even faster. "Why get off the bus? Come home with me." "Chen Shaolun, I'm disgusted by you," Chen Mengting screamed. "You're the one who killed my mother, and now you're interfering in my life. You just want us, mother and daughter, to die in your hands." Chen Mengting's words were like knives, piercing Chen Shaolun's heart. "For you, I have never remarried all these years. For you, I have worked hard to make money, and in the end, all you get is a sentence saying you disgust me. You didn't remarry, so you have fewer women. Let me ask you, who is this Xiao Zhao in the company? And who is this Kayan in your cell phone?" Chen Mengting argued. "These things will always reveal clues over time, and Chen Mengting is not a fool. She just didn't want to say it. After all, he was an insider. She just wanted to grow up quickly, and when she was strong enough one day, she would make him regret it." "Stop talking," Chen Shaolun roared. "A father is scolded by his daughter. He is really a failure. This feeling of failure is almost driving him crazy." Before we knew it, the car had crossed the Yangtze River Bridge, which was the only way for Chen Shaolun to go to and from get off work. Chen Mengting glanced outside and suddenly thought of her mother. She pointed out the window and said, "Look outside. My mother, your wife, is in this river. You pass by here every day on your way to and from get off work. Do you feel at ease? Doesn't your conscience hurt?" In fact, he felt extremely guilty about the previous death. He did not expect why things would develop to this point, and he did not expect Chen Mengting's mother to react so strongly. "Shut up!" Chen Shaolun slammed on the brakes and the car stopped abruptly. He was so distraught that he was ready to explode. Chen Mengting looked at his painful expression and sneered. "Stop pretending. The dead rest in peace. You are just acting for yourself." After saying that, he opened the car door and got out. "Chen Mengting, stop right there." When Chen Shaolun saw his daughter get off the car, he hurriedly chased after her. A Volkswagen was in good condition on the Yangtze River Bridge when it was frightened by the sudden appearance of Chen Mengting and Chen Shaolun behind her. The driver slammed on the brakes. A sharp brake sound pierced the eardrums. He braked too suddenly, and by the time the car behind him could react, it was too late and had already hit the back of the car in front. Then the second car, the third car, and 4 cars collided. Vehicles passing by couldn't help but stop and took out their mobile phones to take pictures. One of the drivers even took a photo of both Chen Shaolun and Chen Mengting. In the camera, Chen Shaolun grabbed Chen Mengting's arm and asked, "Where are you going?" Chen Mengting pushed Chen Shaolun away and said, "Don't bother me. People like you are not fit to be a father." After saying that, Chen Mengting ran away. Chen Shaolun wanted to chase after him, but the Volkswagen driver blocked his way. "Are you sick? This is the Yangtze River Bridge. Why are you walking in the middle of the road? You built the bridge. Do you know how dangerous it is?" Chen Shaolun looked at his daughters departing back and wanted to chase her. The driver of the Volkswagen saw him trying to leave and grabbed him. "Don't run. It was you who suddenly appeared on the road that caused my car to be rear-ended. Your behavior is too bad. You must go to the traffic police brigade with us." After the Volkswagen driver said this, the other drivers understood that it was this guy who crossed the road that caused their cars to be rear-ended. As a driver, everyone hates this. When citizens don't obey traffic laws, it's always the private cars that get fined. Why can't you just walk properly? Why suddenly appear in front of the car? Isn't that seeking death? Who the hell has such a quick reaction speed? So it was you who was jaywalking. You looked so dignified. How could you do such an uncivilized thing? Chen Shaolun looked helpless. All right, it's just money. I'll pay for it, okay? I hit 4 vehicles. Is 40,000 enough?" When Volkswagen heard this, he laughed and said, "So you're showing off your wealth by running on the Yangtze River Bridge? Have you even said sorry in all this time?" "Yeah, so what's so great about being rich? You chased me like this, and you didn't even say an apology." 80,000 is 80,000 enough." Chen Shaolun's face was pale. God knows how helpless he felt at this moment. "My daughter ran away and I wanted to chase her, but I was stopped by someone. Even when I gave her money, she accused me of showing off my wealth." When they heard the price of 80,000, several car owners were shaken. After all, it was not serious and their cars were not good ones. At the back was still a taxi. Each car would cost about 5,000 yuan to repair, and he gave 20,000 yuan for this car, so it's not impossible. After a few people discussed it, they all agreed to settle the matter privately for 20,000 yuan. and only then did Chen Shaolun pay the money and leave. Yi Qingjiu was playing a short video app in the office. I happened to see a video of 4 cars collided on the Yangtze River Bridge with the caption, "It's good to be rich." When I clicked on it, it was Chen Shaolun, and the little girl next to him should be his daughter. The comments below are overwhelming. Safe and happy, we strongly urge the traffic department to rectify this situation. How can we drive our cars in the future if people don't obey traffic rules? Zayamada, oh my God, isn't this the girl who was taken away by the rich dad's secretary during the live broadcast of Duluo Dalu's casting? This is her dad. His quality is too poor. Kekexili, it's great to be rich. If a poor person encounters such a problem, he would have gone to the JJ Brigade for class and looked at the rich people who solved the problem with money. Zayadong, rubbish. This kind of person is a scumbag, a typical destroyer of public order. I suggest that relevant departments conduct a strict investigation. LENKA, the man is Chen Shaolun, the chairman of Yaochen, and the woman is his daughter. They were caught at the casting site of Duluo today and taken home. The identification is complete. Lonely little potato. Such a scumbag can be the chairman of the board. It seems that true love must stay away from Yaochen. Yi Qingjiu's eyelashes trembled. This comment section was too lively. After all, it was related to the casting of Duluo. She hurriedly called Jiang Cheng, worried that this matter would have any impact on Duluo. As soon as the call was connected, Jiang Cheng's carefree voice came from inside. "Wife, do you miss me so soon? This person is really unruly." Yi Qingjiu said indifferently. How could Chen Shaolun's daughter appear in Duluo's live casting? Jiang Cheng's first reaction was that Chen Shaolun was up to no good again to mess with Tang Exing. This grandson is really looking for death. How do you know? Jiang Cheng was a little surprised. I'll send you a video for you to watch. After Yi Qingjiu hung up the phone, he forwarded the video to Jiang Cheng. Jiang Cheng took the phone and looked at it carefully. When Yi Qingjiu checked just now, there were more than 800 comments, and now there are more than 2,000. This matter is still continuing to ferment, and is becoming increasingly out of control. When Jiang Cheng clicked on the comments, many netizens had already started to reveal information about Chen Shaolun. What he did before, what school he went to, what his parents did, where his daughter went to school, and so on. It's even more exaggerated. Someone has reported Yaochen and asked the GJ to conduct a strict investigation into Yaochen's tax issues. Jiang Cheng looked at the comments and a smile appeared on the corners of his lips. This is what they call evil will be punished by evil. However, this is not enough. He has to make him know what it means not to touch other people's things. Chapter 143, Preparing for Acquisition. Warnings may be useful for some people, but for some people, they only know what pain is after being beaten. Chen Shaolun had just returned home when he received a call from Secretary Li. What's the matter? He had a bad tone. Mr. Chen, the video of the 4-car collision on the Yangtze River Bridge has become explosive news, Secretary Li said in a panic. This video has been viewed by tens of millions of people, and its popularity is still rising. Videos about such public security issues have always had a special magic. Just clicking on one of them will get millions of likes. So Chen Shaolun was pushed to the center of attention this time. Chen Shaolun frowned. His daughter ran away in anger and her whereabouts are still unknown. He himself became a hot topic for no apparent reason. I've already lost money. What else is there to say about this? Why can't you just let yourself go? His voice was low and weak. What do the comments say? The comments section is in chaos. Now some people are actually calling for a strict investigation into our tax issues. Hearing this, Chen Shaolun's eyes were red with anger. Taxes, once they checked the taxes, he would be finished. Buy this trending search. Buy it for me no matter how much it costs. He was going crazy, and they actually wanted to check his tax problems. Yaochen is a big taxpayer, paying millions or even 5 million in taxes every year. Considering such a huge amount, how could Chen Shaolun just watch it being taken away by others? Naturally, we found a way to do it, and many companies do this. Now that someone actually brought this up, an internet giant suddenly felt the profound terror of the internet. Buy it no matter how much it costs and ask the author to delete it. Delete it immediately. Okay, got it, Mr. Chen. After hanging up the phone, Secretary Li started to buy the video. She found the publisher's phone number and called without hesitation. Hello, please give me a price for the inside video. Secretary Li speaks directly. Video, do you mean you want to buy the inner video? The other party was a woman and her voice sounded thin. I just recorded a video on the road and posted it on the short video website. I didn't expect it to become so popular, and I didn't expect it to be able to sell for money. She looked nervously at her husband, who was eating noodles, moved her phone away, and whispered, "This person said she wants to buy the video for 500,000. When my husband heard this, his pupils dilated instantly. 500,000. I only spent 200,000 or 500,000 to buy a car. Wouldn't there be some left after paying off the loan?" "Really?" the man asked in a low voice. The woman nodded desperately. 500,000, how about 500,000? If possible, we will transfer the money to you immediately. Seeing that the other party didn't speak, Secretary Lee became a little anxious. The woman was not paying attention and was staring at her husband, waiting for him to speak. The man hasn't recovered from his shock yet and looks at a loss. Seeing her husband didn't say anything, the woman hesitated. 500,000. Secretary Lee wanted to buy the video right away. Seeing that she didn't say anything, he raised the price directly, 600,000. The price has been raised before I even said anything. It seems that this video can sell even higher. The woman hesitated for a moment and said uncertainly, "Only 600,000. Secretary Lee gritted his teeth and said, 700,000. "Oh my God, it's already 700,000. This is like pie falling from the sky." The woman was so surprised that her jaw dropped. 800,000. 800,000 can't be more. If possible, I will transfer the money immediately. Okay, 800,000. I will delete the video when I receive the money. Is that okay? The woman asked. Send me the account number. It's this phone number. Good. After saying that, Secretary Lee hung up the phone. 3 minutes later, he received a text message with a bank account number. Secretary Lee immediately took it to the finance department and ordered them to transfer the money immediately. 10 minutes later, the woman received the money. She was shocked when she saw the text message on her phone, "Honey, 6 zeros." After saying that, he handed the phone over. The man took the phone and counted carefully. 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's right, 6 zeros. It's really 800,000. Both of them were sure that the amount was indeed 800,000, and only then did they delete the video. Si Kinking was sitting at home reading the comments and laughing, when suddenly her phone screen turned gray and showed that the video had been deleted. She looked puzzled. How could this be deleted? She hurriedly called Yi Kingju. "Hello, Mr. Yi, the video has been deleted by the publisher." Yi Kingju was sitting on the sofa playing with the Rubik's Cube with his 2 children. When he heard that the video had been deleted, he couldn't help but frowned. Deleted. Well, I was reading the comments, and suddenly it went gray and nothing was there. Yi Kingju said calmly, "Okay, I understand. After all, buying videos and trending searches is not a strange thing in their circle. This boss doesn't appear on the hot searches many times, but everyone buys his products and it's nothing strange." However, it was a pity for Yi Kingju that the black hot search that Chen Shaolun bought was gone. After hanging up the phone, Jiang Cheng looked at her curiously. "What's wrong?" Chen Shaolun deleted the video from the trending search. Yi Kingju's eyelashes trembled, and her red lips looked particularly beautiful. Deleted? No way. Jiang Cheng hadn't seen enough of the show, so he thought about it and went back to the house. After turning on the computer, he directly looked up the publisher's information. Then she hacked the travel record posted by the person who posted it and found the video she had deleted in the recycle bin. Save it on the computer. He then registered a new account and posted the video again. Cool down, not happening. Since you like to create negative news about Tencent Star so much, then let you stay on the negative search list for a few more days and have a good taste of what it feels like to be negatively criticized. Secretary Lee breathed a sigh of relief. As soon as he got home and opened the short video app, he saw another one copied by Jiang Cheng. Damn it! Who did this? She quickly took out her phone and called the publisher. Did you sell the video to someone else? The woman looked puzzled. No, since I bought it for you, why would I sell it to someone else? Then why did it appear on the website again? Secretary Lee said in a bad tone. After all, she spent 800,000 yuan to solve the problem. Now the problem has not been solved and the money is gone. How should she explain to Chen Shaolun? That's how I know. I did delete it. The woman thought Secretary Lee regretted his decision and wanted to take the opportunity to get the money back, so her tone became bad. I spend money to solve problems, not to. Before she could finish her words, the man's husband snatched the phone away. Have you ever played the video? I posted it and others can save my video. Who can stop them from saving it and posting it? You should go find the person who posted the video. It's no use looking for us. After saying that, the man hung up the phone. Wife, ignore her. This kind of person is just trying to trick you into deleting the video and then asking for your money back. Just block her. The 800,000 yuan will never be returned to you no matter what you say. The woman nodded, yes. Secretary Li was almost going crazy. After he deleted the first one, a second one appeared. After he deleted the second one, a third one appeared. Could it be possible that all of them had to give 800,000 yuan? This is simply robbery. She called Chen Shaolun and said, Mr. Chen, there is another insider video on the internet. This time it was not posted by the same person. Chen Shaolun was sitting on the sofa in a cold sweat. Why would this matter never end? Why couldn't he be let off? Go buy it, Chen Shaolun frowned. Chairman, this is not a problem that can be solved by just buying videos. As long as someone has saved the video, they can continue to upload it. If this is the case, we will never be able to buy all the videos. Secretary Li was completely at a loss now. She couldn't think of any better ideas. What should I do, Chairman? Since you can't buy it, just hack it. Oh my God, how did things develop to this point? Secretary Li's heart ached when he heard what Chen Shaolun said. This is illegal, Mr. Chen. If the other party files a lawsuit and Party J opens a case for investigation, it will be discovered and you will go to jail. Then tell me, what else can we do? Let Zhao Zhao go and hack the software directly. Oh my God, this is too risky. Secretary Li's heart tightened. No, Mr. Chen, that's too risky. Once they find out, Zhao Zhao will go to jail. Chen Shaolun said in a desperate tone. Then tell me what to do. If someone really reports me for tax problems, I will go to jail. From Chen Shaolun's tone, it can be heard that he is completely panicked. Secretary Li calmed himself down and said, Mr. Chen, please don't worry. I will think of a way to check how many people have posted this video. After hanging up the phone, Chen Shaolun was in a very bad state. He sat on the sofa with his head bowed. All of this was caused by my daughter's participation in Tencent Star's live broadcast program. Damn Jiang Cheng, he always seems to be making things difficult for me. The phone rang. It's the finance department calling. Chen Shaolun answered the phone. Hello. Mr. Chen, the stock market has completely collapsed. The voice on the phone sounded almost frantic. The only solution right now is to inject capital. How many? 500 million. To leverage, we need at least 500 million. Finance Zhao Wang reported. 500 million. 500 million today, 500 million tomorrow. Am I a bank owner? We just spent 500 million to buy the land, and this is the last cash flow of Yaochen. If we want to use the money, we can only ask the bank for a loan. Which bank could lend him so much? Given the current situation, let alone 500 million, even 5 million would be difficult. Chen Shaolun was completely desperate. Then let him collapse, let him collapse. After saying that, Chen Shaolun hung up the phone. Go to hell, all of you go to hell. 3 days later, the local financial channel broadcast a news story. The female host said in a gentle voice, according to investigations by relevant departments, Chen Shaolun, a well-known entrepreneur in our city, was sentenced to 8 years in prison for tax evasion by his company, Chenyu Group, so he jumped off the Yangtze River Bridge. Once again, I call on the people of the country that everyone has the responsibility to pay taxes and strive to be an honorable taxpayer. Yi Qingjiu finished watching the live broadcast on the computer and couldn't tell whether he was happy or unhappy. She looked at Jiang Cheng. Well, Chen Shaolun actually died like this. I don't know what Yaochen should do. Ding tilde. Congratulations to the host for completing the task of relieving his wife's worries, and he will be rewarded with 50% of the shares of Yaochen Group. Jiang Cheng, do you want to do this? Why didn't you give it to me earlier? System, the host did not complete the task ahead of schedule. Jiang Cheng, where are the remaining 50% of shares? System, in Chen Mengting's hands, the host can acquire it. After all, Yaochen is about to go bankrupt. Jiang Cheng was speechless. I'm almost bankrupt. What are you doing for me? I'm not a rag collector. The equity agreement is in the space, and the host can check it at any time. Hiss. What on earth is this system supposed to do? Thinking about it, Jiang Cheng stood up and looked at Yi Qingjiu with a smile. Wife, I'm going to the bathroom. Yi Qingjiu gave him a helpless look and said, You don't have to tell me about this. Why are you like a little kid, reporting everything? Jiang Cheng went to the bathroom, closed the door, and then entered the space. Sure enough, there was a shareholding agreement somewhere. Jiang Cheng raised his eyebrows while holding the equity agreement and said, Why not buy half of the equity? It's not easy to do it with a half and half share. So I took all the shares and gave them to my wife as a gift. Thinking of this, Jiang Cheng returned to the president's office with a smile. Wife, I want to acquire the shares of Yaochen. Yi Qingjiu frowned. To be honest, although Yaochen was investigated once, he paid tens of millions in back taxes. But a lean camel is bigger than a horse. Even if it is praised, there are still many areas where it can make profits. Just based on Yaochen's customer information, if it is acquired, it can continue to develop, and there is still a lot of room for growth. Yi Qingjiu frowned. Then you are going to talk to Chen Mengting. The child's father just died, isn't this a bad idea? And what if she plans to become the chairman herself? Her own father died early, and she knew the pain of being without a father. Although Chen Mengting is Chen Shaolun's daughter, the child is innocent. She had never done anything bad to Tang Exing or Yi Qingjiu. Seeing Yi Qingjiu's sympathetic look, Jiang Cheng patted her head and said, "You have to know that not everyone is born with leadership talent like you. Chen Mengting is only 16 or 17 years old. She is not even an adult yet. She has no way of dealing with the intrigues in the business world." Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu's eyes sparkled, her red lips pouted high, and her voice was soft and cute. "I can't deal with the intrigues in the business world either." Cling. Damn it. His wife actually knows how to act like a spoiled child. Jiang Chengxin was about to melt. You still have me right?" Jiang Cheng swallowed and loosened his collar unconsciously. "This girl is so damn sexy." He really wanted to. Yi Qingjiu raised the corners of his lips, and his pair of auspicious phoenix eyes were full of smiles. "Just kidding, I'm Yi Qingjiu. There's nothing I can't handle. I'll leave the acquisition of Yaochen, too." She is acting like a spoiled brat again. Jiang Cheng was so itchy because of her teasing that he stared at her with his eyes. When Yi Qingjiu saw his burning gaze, her heart instantly became a little restless. She knew what his aggressive look meant. Every time he looked at himself like this. "Well, I'm going to the bathroom first." After saying that, he stood up hurriedly. Chapter 144, Let's Go Shopping Together, Tilda. After saying that, Yi Qingjiu turned around and tried to slip away. Just flirt and run away. How is that possible? She wants him to know that teasing others comes at a price. Jiang Cheng grabbed her, the desire in his eyes ignited. When doing things, you have to finish from beginning to end. His voice was very pleasant, low and soft. Yi Qingjiu was held in his arms, and her heart unconsciously tightened. God, this is an office. What is he going to do? Jiang Cheng has never had any method in doing things. He just does it based on his mood. He doesn't really want to be here. Just thinking about Yi Qingjiu made her face turn red, and her heart beat fast. Her beautiful eyebrows were dyed with a layer of bright red. This is not good. There have been a lot of things going on recently, and Jiang Cheng hasn't teased his wife for a long time. Seeing her like this, his blood instantly boiled. He raised an eyebrow with a wicked look in his eyes. "Why is it bad? I think it's great." The heat of his voice filled my ears. In an instant, Yi Qingjiu's body tensed up, and he had an indescribable feeling in his heart. Nervous, excited, and a little eager. But her mind told her no. Absolutely not. This is a company where she works. If someone sees her, she will really be dead. "You let me go." There was absolutely no confidence in her voice. Jiang Cheng knew where Yi Qingjiu's boundaries were. He understood very well that although his wife dressed very avant-garde and fashionably, she was always a conservative person at heart. "Well, call me brother, and I'll let you go after you do that." "What is this requirement?" Yi Qingjiu is the only child, and she is the oldest among the younger generations in the Yi family. "I have never called anyone brother." She blinked, her long eyelashes trembled, and she bit her tempting red lips unconsciously, looking extremely hesitant. Her beauty gradually pushed back Jiang Cheng's forbearance. His throat rolled. "If you don't call me, you will regret it." He was breathing heavily. "Brother," Yi Qingjiu's voice was very soft and gentle. It sounded soft and cute and a little seductive. "It's so terrible. I can't stand it anymore." Jiang Cheng felt a little regretful. Why did he make himself suffer? Yi Qingjiu looked up at him. "Is it okay now?" The blood vessels on Jiang Cheng's face seemed to be about to burst. "I'm going to the bathroom." Jiang Cheng let go of his hand, opened the door, and walked out quickly. Click, the door was locked. Yi Qingjiu stared blankly at the deep red wooden door. Did he just go to the bathroom? Why did you go there again? What? Zhang Bin and Liu Jing have been in love since the bonfire party. After a busy day, the two of them finally went to the balcony to chat for a while. The balcony door was suddenly opened. Liu Jing quickly jumped out of Zhang Bin's arms, her face full of reluctance. Jiang Cheng didn't pay any attention and took out a cigarette from his pocket, hoping to calm down. The two of them lost all mood because of Jiang Cheng's sudden action. The key point is that no one knows when he will leave. After hesitating for a while, Zhang Bin took Liu Jing's hand and walked out from behind the exhaust fan. Brother Cheng smoke. Jiang Cheng turned around and saw Zhang Bin and Liu Jing, who looked unhappy, and immediately understood what was going on. I must have interrupted these two people's intimacy. He smiled awkwardly. What a coincidence. Liu Jing nodded and went back to the office. Zhang Bin smiled and said, "So you still smoke?" Jiang Cheng passed a cigarette to Zhang Bin and said, "Take one too." Zhang Bin took the cigarette from his hand with a smile, put it in his mouth and lit it. With the addition of cigarettes, the topic seemed to be opened up immediately. "Brother Cheng, Ms. Yi is a good woman, you must cherish her." Zhang Bin's serious expression made Jiang Cheng laugh. He took a puff of his cigarette and asked, "What do you mean? How can I put it? Anyway, although Ms. Yi always looks sullen and often scolds people, she actually has a good heart." Zhang Bin also took a puff of his cigarette, and the air was filled with smoke. "Take me for example. My family is not well off and I come from the countryside. When I came to Tengsing to apply for a job, my younger brother was just going to college. Although I am not a good student, my younger brother is really promising and was admitted to a B university. My family was in a very difficult situation, and to be honest, I didn't have a high level of education, so when I came here, I was worried that Tengsing wouldn't want me. Later, I didn't expect that I would be admitted as an exception." Jiang Cheng nodded. "Then you must be capable." "Well, actually, speaking of ability, the people with me are all about the same as me. I'm not the best either. Maybe Mr. Yi thought that since everyone is about the same, he should choose the one who needs help the most, so he chose me. Moreover, Ms. Yi directly gave me 50,000 yuan so that my brother could go to college. Anyway, I am very grateful to her. My parents are from the countryside. They really work hard to make money by farming. They have worked hard to support me and my brother. I feel really bad about it." Jiang Cheng patted his shoulder and said, "It's okay, it's all over. Aren't you doing fine now?" Zhang Bin smiled and said, "Yes, it's fine now. I bought a car and will take out a loan to buy a house next month. Liu Jing and I will pay it back together." "Pay it back together?" Jiang Cheng smiled. "You are good boy. Has the girl agreed to marry you?" Zhang Bin also laughed. "We can't pay the mortgage together without your consent." The two chatted for a while, and Jiang Cheng realized that it was not only Zhang Bin, but also manager Luo. When Yi Qingjiu had just taken office, people's hearts were extremely unstable for a period of time. It was during this period of time that manager Luo's father owed a huge debt, and people came to his house every day to collect the debt. Mr. Luo had no choice but to buy a car and a house. But it was still not enough. Manager Luo's father was old, and people knew they couldn't get money from him. They came to block manager Luo every day. During this period of time, he didn't dare to walk on the main road. In short, it was quite miserable. Later, it was only after Yi Qingjiu gave 2 million that the matter was resolved. So every time Yi Qingjiu got angry at manager Luo, he never said a word against Mr. Yi. The two chatted until almost 5 o'clock. Then they said goodbye and Jiang Cheng went to the kindergarten to pick up the two babies. He was wondering all the way what Yi Qingjiu had experienced when he first took office. "The more I think about it, the more I feel sad. I don't know how she managed to get through this, alone, pregnant, and facing the turmoil in the company. When we arrived at the kindergarten, the time was just right. All the children came out and snuggled into their parents' arms. Nunu Yanyan was tiptoeing around looking for Jiang Cheng. Seeing him walking towards the door, the expressions on the two babies' faces changed from anxiety to joy in an instant. They rushed over with their calves stretched out, and Jiang Cheng quickly squatted down to hug them. The internal force caused Jiang Cheng to be thrown backwards. He quickly reached for the ground and managed to hold on. Teacher Zhou came over with a smile. "You two little rascals, Tilda." Nunu didn't care and hugged Jiang Cheng's face and kissed him. The two babies kissed him on the face, and then they calmed down. Jiang Cheng picked up the two children and said, "Please forgive me, Teacher Zhou." Teacher Zhou looked at him with a smile and said, "Mr. Jiang, tomorrow is Saturday. Don't forget the school performance on Sunday." "Okay," Jiang Cheng nodded. The next day at noon, Sheng Xinyan called Yi Qingjiu right after lunch. "Hey, Jiujiu, today is the weekend. The casting is on hold for a day. Do you want to go shopping, Tilda?" Yi Qingjiu was sitting on the sofa watching the children practicing the piano. When she heard Sheng Xinyan asked her out shopping, she felt a little excited. "I've been feeling a little nervous lately and really want to go out for a walk." But when he heard the piano music, he became a little hesitant. After all, the two babies were going to participate in the school performance tomorrow, and this would be their first time to perform on stage. Jiang Cheng looked at her hesitant expression and touched her head. "Go ahead, I'm at home." Can you do this? Yi Qingjiu looked at him uncertainly. What's wrong with that? Go ahead. After receiving Jiang Cheng's affirmation, Yi Qingjiu's eyes jumped with joy. Then I'll go for a while and come back soon. Jiang Cheng nodded. Baji. Yi Qingjiu pressed his thin lips against his face. Jiang Cheng's mind went blank. The blood is rushing. After a moment, Yi Qingjiu moved her soft lips away and looked at Jiang Cheng shyly. Thank you. What is she doing? This girl is so proactive. Do you know the consequences of kissing yourself? Yi Qingjiu herself couldn't explain why she kissed him. She only knew that she wanted to do so at that moment, and then she did it. Now looking at Jiang Cheng's fiery gaze, he felt a little embarrassed. Why are you looking at me like that? She tried hard to control her nervousness. I silently said to myself, Yi Qingjiu, don't be shy anymore. He is your husband. There is nothing to be afraid of, just a kiss. Jiang Cheng swallowed and fixed his eyes on her delicate lips. The next second, he kissed her desperately. He is a man, a normal man, and he also has desires. Bang, the phone fell to the ground. Sheng Xinyan's voice came from the other end of the phone. Jiu, talk. What? After a while, Yi Qingjiu pushed Jiang Cheng away and looked at him angrily. You bite me. Jiang Cheng looked at her angry little face and smiled helplessly. Is he biting? Sheng Xinyan on the other end of the phone listened for a long time and finally understood. They can show their affection even on the phone. Don't they have any scruples at all? She hung up the phone and called again. Yi Qingjiu, I really can't stand you anymore. Hurry out and see you at the old place. After saying that, he hung up the phone. Jiang Cheng laughed out loud when he heard Sheng Xinyan's voice. Okay, go ahead. Well, then you keep an eye on them. After saying that, Yi Qingjiu simply packed up and drove towards the pedestrian street. At the entrance of C Shopping Mall, Sheng Xinyan wore this black suspender dress, and her long legs were particularly eye-catching. Yi Qingjiu saw her and walked over slowly. As soon as the two met, Sheng Xinyan began to complain. People with husbands are different. They can find time to do something else even when they are on the phone. Nonsense, I clearly didn't do anything, Yi Qingjiu said with a sullen face. Chapter 145, Sheng Xinyan. You really hurt people. She doesn't want to admit that she is an interracial person. Yi Qingjiu has a problem. The more guilty she feels, the calmer she appears to be, even a little fierce. This is what Sheng Xinyan learned from experience. The more she frowned, the more she knew she was guilty. Jiu, tell me honestly, how does it feel to have a husband? Is it sweet and happy? Sheng Xinyan teased. Go away. If you say anything more, I'll leave, Yi Qingjiu said as he was about to leave. Sheng Xinyan pulled her back and said, Okay, can't you even be envious? Let's go in and take a look. Seeing that she had given in, Yi Qingjiu followed her into the mall. There were not many people in the mall, which made Yi Qingjiu feel fortunate. The two of them wandered around aimlessly, looking in this store and that store. Seeing that there were sneakers for sale, she couldn't help but wonder what it would look like if Jiang Cheng wore them. When I see nice clothes, I can't help but imagine how he would look in them. In short, my mind was full of Jiang Cheng's face, that slightly evil smile, and his unique carefree aura. Sheng Xinyan saw that she was absent-minded and couldn't help but teasing her. It's a rare opportunity for you to come out. Why do you miss your husband so soon? How does she know everything? Is it so obvious? Yi Qingjiu stared at Sheng Xinyan with eyes wide open. How did you know that? Sheng Xinyan held her chin up and pretended to think. Anyone who is not a fool can see that. She is laughing at herself. You're annoying. Ha. Sheng Xinyan laughed so hard that she fell backwards. You look so absent-minded, it's hard not to know Tilda. Yi Qingjiu glanced at her and said, I'm not going to pay attention to you. Then he walked forward. Sheng Xinyan chased after him with a helpless look on her face. Her best friend was good in every way except that she was too shy. We are all adults now. We have children. Please stop being so girly. To be honest, I think Jiang Cheng is pretty good. He cooks really well and is very good to you and the children. Yi Qingjiu turned around and looked at her. So what do you want to say? What I want to talk about is the issue of your quality of life. Sheng Xinyan looked at her seriously. Yi Qingjiu's eyes were full of curiosity. Was Sheng Xinyan drunk? How could there be any problem with the quality of life of the Yi family? Yi Qingjiu raised his eyes and said disdainfully, What are you talking about? How could there be a problem with the quality of life in my family? I'm talking about the internal aspects, right, Tilda? Sheng Xinyan raised her eyebrows, looking like she understood everything. What is she talking about? Internal aspect. Isn't this person ashamed? Yi Qingjiu stared at her, his eyes blazing and bright. Sheng Xinyan, what are you talking about? Sheng Xinyan took her arm and continued to walk forward. Okay, I'm doing this for your own good. Why should you be shy with me? I'm telling you, you're different from us. When you get married, you must pay attention to the quality of your life. Otherwise, your marriage will not be stable. Yi Qingjiu blushed. Don't talk nonsense, we only did it twice. Ah, Yi Qingjiu, are you teasing me? Sheng Xinyan opened her eyes wide and looked at her in disbelief. Let me tell you, I'm a writer, you know that, right? I pay close attention to the news every day, you also know that, right? Yi Qingjiu has heard these words no less than 100 times since the day Sheng Xinyan started writing the novel. Stop, what do you want to say? Yi Qingjiu was a little impatient. A woman should take the initiative when appropriate, understand. Most of those who are cheated on are rich women like you, who are both arrogant and cold. Yi Qingjiu was obviously panicked after hearing her words. Really? Yes, if you hold it back every day, how can you not cheat? When other people's husbands come home, they have a warm bed with their wives and children. But in yours, you have to cook and take care of the children, and cook over time. Can there be no problem? Don't look at any of Sheng Xinyan's boyfriends. When they talk about the relationship between husband and wife, they are all stunned, and Yi Qingjiu is completely confused. Yi Qingjiu lowered his head and recalled the scene in the office yesterday. It seemed as if his blood vessels were faintly visible. If this continues, will it really be like what Sheng Xinyan said? Cheating. Yi Qingjiu was a little panicked. What should I do then? Sheng Xinyan took Yi Qingjiu's hand and said with a look of understanding, Sister, I'll help you buy 2 sets of underwear, and it would be better if you also have a pair of black stockings. Black stockings are always killer. After saying that, he pulled Yi Qingjiu towards the lingerie store. Sheng Xinyan personally picked 2 sets for Yi Qingjiu. One is a black lace dress with a bow. The other is a white lace dress with a bow, which is sexy and cute. All in all, she was very satisfied with her vision. Yi Qingjiu looked at the bow, hesitant. This is too long-winded, and there is too little fabric. Sheng Xinyan pulled over and said, My Republic of China girl, don't be so reserved. After saying that, he took it to the counter, and the waiter quickly issued a ticket and put the 2 sets of underwear in a bag. Sheng Xinyan paid the bill and stuffed the bag into Yi Qingjiu's hand. Just listen to me. Others can hurt you, but can I? Yi Qingjiu hesitated and finally nodded. The two of them went shopping for some other things before going home satisfied. Before parting, Sheng Xinyan reminded her to remember her words. Yi Qingjiu drove to the door of his house and glanced at the bag in the passenger seat. In short, he was extremely nervous. Wearing this is too embarrassing. Just thinking about it makes me feel embarrassed. But throwing it on the car is not a big deal. After all, she was driving a Phantom today. After thinking it over, I decided to take it home and hide it first. The villa area is very quiet, and the sound of reversing the car to the door is particularly clear. The two darlings have been practicing the piano for the whole afternoon, and are now having fun playing with Jiang Cheng in the living room. Hearing the sound of the engine, Yanyan's eyes immediately lit up. It's Mommy. After saying that, he ran to the door. Niu was following closely behind him, with her 2 little braids swinging back and forth. As soon as Yi Qingjiu opened the door, the 2 babies rushed over. It has become a habit for the 2 babies to hug each other every day. Yi Qingjiu naturally bent down to hug them, but was almost knocked to the ground by the 2 babies, and naturally dropped the bag in his hand. Jiang Cheng was standing behind the 2 babies. Seeing that Yi Qingjiu's things had fallen, he took 2 steps forward and bent down to help her pick them up. Yi Qingjiu had just calmed himself down. When he saw Jiang Cheng picking up the bag, his eyelids twitched and his heart rose to his throat. If this was seen, she would be so ashamed that she would never be able to live like a human being again. She let go of the 2 treasures and went to grab them. Don't move. Jiang Cheng was startled by her. What's wrong? Give it back to me. Yi Qingjiu had a tense face and looked extremely nervous. This made Jiang Cheng curious. It's just a piece of clothing. Why are you so nervous? That is not an ordinary piece of clothing. When Yi Qingjiu thought about the appearance of the underwear, her face turned red all the way to her earlobes. It almost makes me bleed. She hasn't been this popular in a long time. Seeing her nervous expression, Jiang Cheng became even more curious about what was in the bag. He pulled the bag and looked inside. Yi Qingjiu grabbed the bag and quickly went into the house. Jiang Cheng was frightened. What happened today? When the 2 babies saw their mother leave, they returned to the sofa and started playing by themselves. Jiang Cheng thought of the expression on Yi Qingjiu's face just now, and was really curious about what kind of clothes could make his wife so embarrassed. So I followed him in. Yi Qingjiu was still recovering from the nervousness when Jiang Cheng opened the door and walked in. Wife, why did he follow me again? Yi Qingjiu quickly hid the bag behind him and said firmly, "Get out." Jiang Cheng took 2 steps towards her and raised the corner of his lips. "What if I don't? Damn it! Why is this person coming towards me?" Yi Qingjiu stepped back again and again. This time he couldn't give it to him no matter what. "Wife, there isn't any sexy lingerie in this bag, is there?" Jiang Cheng teased. He really couldn't imagine what could have made her so embarrassed. When Yi Qingjiu heard the word inside, he felt his heart stop beating. How did he know again? Seeing her face flushed like fire, Jiang Chenggren was stunned. Oh my God, it's true. He was just joking. He doesn't have X-ray vision, so how could he know what his wife bought? You. Yi Qingjiu was a little incoherent. My wife bought sexy lingerie. It can't be. Did you buy this for me to wear? Jiang Cheng grinned. How can this girl be so silly and cute? No, Yi Qingjiu said without even thinking. Jiang Cheng blinked. Then why did you buy it? Why are you asking? Aren't you ashamed? Shame, didn't you say it? We are already an old married couple, why should we be shy? Yi Qingjiu quickly stuffed the bag into the cabinet and tried to escape under Jiang Cheng's gaze. This is so terrible. I shouldn't have listened to Sheng Xinyan and bought this kind of thing. I can't do it in the first place, so why should I force myself? If Jiang Cheng finds out, who knows what he will think of me? Yi Qingjiu sat on the sofa, her face becoming increasingly rosy. Niu and Yanyan were playing with the Rubik's Cube. Seeing Mommy coming, they all came over and said, "Mommy, Niu was very well behaved today. Yanyan is also very good. Look, Mommy, Yanyan has spelled it out again, tilde." Yanyan held up the Rubik's Cube in her hand and showed it to Yi Qingjiu, as if waiting for her praise. Yi Qingjiu patted the 2 babies' heads and said, "So good. Did Mommy buy a gift for Niu?" Niu lay on her lap, looking up at her with double eyelids, which looked very much like Jiang Cheng's eyes full of desire. Yanyan also wants a gift. Mom, have you bought it for me? Yanyan put her little hands around and looked at Yi Qingjiu seriously. Buying gifts? What gift to buy? Oops. Yi Qingjiu suddenly remembered that when he went shopping in the past, he would bring small gifts for his 2 babies. Small toys or desserts, in short. I will never come back empty-handed. But this time, her mind was so full of Jiang Cheng that she actually forgot about her 2 treasures. The more Yi Qingjiu thought about it, the more guilty she felt. She said softly, "Mom forgot to buy you gifts. Can I make it up to you next time?" Hearing that their mom didn't buy them any gifts, the 2 kids felt very aggrieved. They pouted and looked disappointed. Niu was so aggrieved that she almost cried. There was already a puddle of water under her long eyelashes, which was about to fall off. "Mom, but I really want a gift, tilde." "Damn it." Niu's soft voice sounded extremely aggrieved. Yi Qingjiu's heart was broken. "Then, Mommy, can you go buy it now?" Having said that, Yi Qingjiu stood up and went out to buy a gift. Jiang Cheng just came out of the house and heard Niu's aggrieved voice and hurried over. What happened? Niu blinked her long eyelashes and a round drop of water fell down. "Daddy, Mommy didn't buy us any gifts, tilde." "Daddy, tilde," Niu said as she plucked up her hands and asked Jiang Cheng to hold her. The expression on her face was simply amazing. Yi Qingjiu looked at her daughter and felt very upset. "You stay at home to take care of the child. I will go buy a gift right away." As he said this, he was about to go out. "Oh, so that's what it is." Jiang Cheng took out 2 lollipops from his pocket and looked at Niu with a smile. "Who said Mommy didn't buy you gifts? These are the lollipops Mommy bought for you." Wow, tilde, the moment Niu saw the candy, her eyes lit up, and she looked smiling even though tears were still on her face. Mom never gives them candy, but today she bought them candy. It's really exciting. When Yanyan saw there was candy, she also ran over. They quickly took the candy from Jiang Cheng's hand, then ran towards Yi Qingjiu, and each gave their mother a sweet kiss. "Thank you, Mom, tilde." Yi Qingjiu let out a long sigh, finally behaving well. All right, Mommy will peel it for you." After saying that, he unwrapped the 2 candy wrappers and returned the lollipops to them. The 2 babies licked their lollipops and went to play with the Rubik's Cube happily. Yi Qingjiu looked at Jiang Cheng with a hint of gratitude in his eyes. "Thank you." Jiang Cheng smiled and said, "Not angry anymore." She wasn't angry, just shy and embarrassed. Yi Qingjiu lowered his head. "I'm not angry, I. Forget it, she couldn't find an adjective, so she gave up explaining. Jiang Cheng sat down next to her and put his arm around her shoulders. "It's okay. There's still a long time to go. Let's take it slow, tilde." After all, his wife had come back from selling sexy lingerie for him, right? This was already a big change. Yi Qingjiu lowered his eyebrows, looking annoyed. "Are you angry with me? She bought it herself and brought it home, but didn't want him to see it. The more Yi Qingjiu thought about it, the more he felt that the problem was all hers. Hearing this, Jiang Cheng suddenly laughed. What do you think about in your little head all day? You are already great, stop thinking so much, okay? After he finished speaking, he looked at the time. The huge clock in the living room showed that it was already 5 o'clock in the afternoon. Are you hungry? What do you want to eat tonight? When she heard the word eat, Yi Qingjiu swallowed her saliva. To be honest, she was indeed hungry. And I also want to eat the dongpo pork made by Jiang Cheng. The taste is really soft, glutinous, and chewy. Just a light bite and your taste buds will explode instantly. She couldn't help swallowing. Can you make dongpo pork? Huh huh. What a greedy little cat. Jiang Cheng raised his eyebrows and said, watch me. Chapter 146, Where did this shrew come from? He turned into the kitchen and took out a piece of pork belly from the refrigerator. Cut it into even sizes and prepare the onion and ginger ingredients. Then pour oil into the pan. Wait until the oil is hot and add some sugar to stir fry until the sugar color turns. Sizzle, the sound of meat being put into the pot. Spray a little soy sauce, then cover the pot. Perfect tilde. The whole house was filled with the unique aroma of the inner dongpo pork. It seems to want to challenge everyone's taste buds. Yanyan was the first one who couldn't stand it anymore. He licked his lips and blinked his eyes. Mom, it smells so good. Niu suddenly felt that the lollipop was not sweet anymore. She looked at Yi Qingjiu eagerly. Mom, Niu's stomach is rumbling. Yi Qingjiu wanted to eat it anyway. And now she smelled the fragrance filling the room, especially after hearing the two darlings say it. Even more greedy. She swallowed. Hold on a little longer, Daddy should be done soon. Yanyan couldn't wait any longer. Her mouth was full of saliva. He snorted and suddenly had a good idea. Mom, let's go and have some secret food, okay? Cheating. She is so old now, how can she do childish things? What if Jiang Cheng laughs at her for being childish? Don't you have any face to save? I have already been laughed at once today, and I must not damage my image again. Yi Qingjiu blinked and tried to hold back his saliva. You and your sister go, Dad will give it to you. Mom, don't you want to eat it? Niu was already overwhelmed by the aroma, and she was curious why Mom wasn't greedy. Yi Qingjiu nodded firmly. Go ahead, Mommy is an adult now, you can't eat secretly. Oh, the two babies nodded, not quite understanding. Niu took Yanyan's chubby hand and said, let's go and eat some meat. Yanyan was almost dying of greed, and the two babies hit it off immediately and ran towards the kitchen. Daddy Tilda, Daddy Tilda. Jiang Cheng was busy steaming eggs when he saw the two darlings with wet mouths and eyes full of desire. He understood immediately. This is greedy. He smiled helplessly, walked to the stove and took a look. Seeing that the meat in the pot was almost cooked, he took out the bowl and cut it into 2 pieces. He turned around and gently nudged their noses. What a greedy little cat. No is not a greedy cat. Neither is Yanyan. Jiang Cheng was happy. Then who is the greedy cat? Yes, Mommy Tilda. Niu pouted, and his serious look was so adorable. Yanyan was unhappy. He was a man and would not allow anyone to slander his mother or his sister. You're talking nonsense. Mommy clearly said that she's an adult and doesn't cheat. I'm not talking nonsense. Mommy's saliva is about to drip. Niu's eyes widened, and she put her little hands on her waist with a face full of pride. Jiang Cheng understood instantly. It turned out that his wife was also greedy and seemed to really want to eat dongpo pork. He handed the bowl to the two babies. Be good, eat quickly, 1 piece each and don't eat more. After saying that, he turned around and scooped out another piece. The two darlings just stood there, blew on the meat in the bowl, then grabbed a piece each and stuffed it into their mouths. Jiang Cheng turned around and saw the two babies eating with big and small mouthfuls, their little mouths covered with oil. Niu saw that his father had scooped out another piece of meat, and he was very excited. Daddy, Niu wants to eat more Tilda. What a greedy little cat. Jiang Cheng patted her head and said, hold on a little longer, it will be ready soon. After saying that, he walked out holding the bowl. Ever since the two babies entered the kitchen, Yi Qingjiu has become even greedier. The only reason she has been able to hold on until now is because of her innate pride. Jiang Cheng walked up to her and looked at her with a smile. I heard that my wife is hungry. Come on, have a bite first. Just thinking about Yi Qingjiu made me drool. Now the meat is in front of you. A piece of meat the size of a lychee, black and red in color, with a little soup on it. Yi Qingjiu swallowed involuntarily. She was an adult, how could she be like children? I'm not hungry, put it back, Yi Qingjiu said hypocritically. Jiang Cheng looked at her twisted expression, poked the food with chopsticks, and stuffed it directly into her mouth. He smiled carelessly. I understand, it's not you who wanted to eat it, I forced you to. Yi Qingjiu widened his eyes. Why is he becoming more and more casual, actually stuffing things into his mouth? But it's really delicious, soft, chewy, and chewy. Jiang Cheng patted her head and said, "Be good, just hold on for a while, it will be ready soon." What? 10 minutes later, the dongpo pork was out of the pot, along with a steamed egg and a portion of green vegetables. Jiang Cheng prepared meals for the two babies and placed them in child seats as usual. The two babies ate the food with such relish. Jiang Cheng felt very happy seeing that they were eating well and growing up healthily. This was the greatest affirmation for Jiang Cheng. To be honest, he doesn't have any grand ambitions to achieve great things. I just miss my wife, kids, and 3 meals a day for our family of 4. He ate a piece of meat and said, "After dinner, there's nothing to do. I'll take you to buy clothes." Yi Qingjiu had just come out of the embarrassment of wearing sexy lingerie, and her heart tightened when she heard the words, "buy clothes." What does he mean? Is he laughing at himself? As I was thinking about it, the meat on the chopsticks fell into the bowl. Jiang Cheng looked at her nervous expression and said with a smile, "Tomorrow they will be performing on stage, so of course they need nice clothes. As for you, you will be watching their performance tomorrow, so why don't you buy yourself some new clothes?" Jiang Cheng originally thought that Yi Qingjiu would come back with clothes in the afternoon, but who knew that this girl didn't buy anything she should buy. Hearing this, Yi Qingjiu finally calmed down. "Oh, okay." She lowered her head and ate the rice in the bowl. After dinner, the family of 3 drove off. This time they did not go to the CE Mall, but chose the larger LM Mall. After all, it was the first time for the kids to go on stage. Although Jiang Cheng now had a system, he was actually quite frugal in his daily life and was not the kind of person who would spend money recklessly. But this time it's different. His babies are going to perform on stage. It's the first time in their lives, and he has to make them look beautiful. It has to be a princess or a prince. After entering the mall, the family of 4, holding hands, walked towards the children's clothing area. In front of them is a high-end custom children's clothing store. Because the price is very high, it is a bit deserted. The little model in the window is wearing a white princess dress with layers of soft white gauze scattered on the corners of the dress. The stitching of the dress is neat, and the workmanship is exquisite. Niu fell in love with it at first sight. She let go of Jiang Cheng's hand, ran towards the inner skirt, entered the store, looked at the salesperson next to her, and said seriously, "Auntie, I want this." Seeing how cute she was, the salesperson squatted down and looked at her with a smile. "Baby, you can try it after your parents come over. After all, one dose is not cheap, and she has to make sure whether the child's parents can afford it." As he was talking, a young woman came into the store. She looked very fashionable, and her demeanor revealed an indescribable sense of superiority. She was holding a child who was about the same age as Niu. The girl also liked the white dress and pointed at it. "Auntie Feng, I want that one." This woman's name is Feng Jingyuan. She is the girlfriend of Su Nan, the boss of Lingdong Group. The child she is holding in her arms is Su Nan's ex-wife's child. Feng Jingyuan was originally a small-time actress outside the 18th tier, who was determined to turn herself into a successful actress. Therefore, he attached great importance to this child of Su Nan and obeyed him in everything. She must conquer this little darling so that she can get to the top smoothly. Seeing the child asking for clothes, she said to the waiter, "We want these clothes." When Niu heard that someone wanted her clothes, she was not happy about it. "I was here first, this is mine." Feng Jingyuan glanced at Niu lying on the ground and said, "Hey, whose kid is so good at talking?" As they were talking, Yi Qingjiu walked in, followed by Jiang Cheng and Yan. "What's wrong?" Yi Qingjiu walked over. Niu took Yi Qingjiu's hand and said, "Mom, I want this skirt." She thought it was a big deal, but it turned out that her daughter just liked the dress. Yi Qingjiu looked at the waiter and said, "We want this dress." Hearing Yi Qingjiu asking for clothes, Feng Jingyuan was unhappy. "I want these clothes." All of her clothes are handmade and custom-made, and the prices are relatively high, so she only has one of each piece. If you want it, you have to make it custom. The waiter was in a dilemma, as both people wanted the same piece of clothing. To be honest, she prefers Yi Qingjiu, even though they had only met once. Although Yi Qingjiu looked a little cold, his demeanor and behavior revealed the demeanor of a great man. It was obvious at first glance that she was not an ordinary person, but Feng Jingyuan looked like someone who could not be provoked, which gave her a headache. "Look, ladies, we only have one of this dress in our store. Auntie Feng, please sell it to me quickly." The little girl in Feng Jingyuan's arms looked at her arrogantly. Feng Jingyuan smiled flatteringly. Okay, Auntie will buy it for you right away." She looked at the waiter with disdain. Then I'll take it, you can pay more. Although Yu is young, she is not afraid at all. I wanted it first, so it should be mine. If Yu hadn't asked for it first, she would never have asked for it. But since Yu asked for it first, it should be Yu's. First come, first served is not just talk. It is a social rule that everyone should abide by. Yi Qingjiu wants the children to know that order is order. Her voice was calm, but it contained an unquestionable sense of oppression. 3 times. You should know that these clothes are not cheap. A piece of children's clothing that costs less than 10,000 yuan will be marked up to 30,000 yuan. Feng Jingyuan glared at her. Is this woman crazy? Seeing how beautiful she is most likely a mistress, raising someone else's child just like me. She smiled sarcastically. Hey, where did this nouveau rich come from? You're here to be so generous. Ma'am, weren't you the one who raised the price first? Why are you now criticizing others? Seeing the two people arguing, Jiang Cheng walked over and pulled Yi Qingjiu behind him. It was obvious at first glance that this woman was not a good person. He knew that his wife could never win against him in an argument. What does it have to do with you? Who the hell are you? Feng Jingyuan glared at Jiang Cheng. Auntie Feng, hurry up, I want it now. The girl looked impatient and obviously couldn't wait any longer. Okay, don't worry, Auntie will buy it right away. After saying that, she looked at the waiter 4 times. The waiter looked embarrassed and said, Ma'am, we don't need to increase the price, and it was indeed the child who asked for it first. Feng Jingyuan widened her eyes. Why not make money when you have the chance? What kind of bullshit rule is this? Is this what your store manager set? Call him out. The waiter looked embarrassed and said, Sorry, our store manager is off work. Jiang Cheng looked at Feng Jingyuan's shrewish face and sneered. First come, first served, this is the rule, it will not change anywhere. After saying that, he took out his inner clothes. Seeing Jiang Chengdu taking action, Feng Jingyuan got anxious and slapped his hand away. Where are the rules? Do you know who I am? Have you ever heard of Lingdong Group? My husband is a friend of the owner of this mall. I tell you, if you want to take it away today, it's impossible. Yi Qingjiu's eyes darkened. She actually dared to hit Jiang Cheng. It was obvious that she was angry. Just talk, don't touch me. Feng Jingyuan glanced at her and said, What if I move? Not only do I move, but the clothes still belong to me. Do you understand? Yi Qingjiu had just crawled out from behind Jiang Cheng when Jiang Cheng pulled her back. What kind of person is your wife? It's not worth it if she gets angry with you again. Lingdong Group, if I remember correctly, the owner of this shopping mall discussed advertising cooperation with Sun Ming some time ago. Because it was not an important project, Yi Qingjiu knew nothing about it. Although she is the boss, it is impossible for her to report every little thing like this, as it would be too tiring for her. Jiang Cheng picked up the phone and called Sun Ming. Hey, I'm buying clothes at LM Mall and was stopped by the lady boss of Lingdong International. Please give me Mr. Duan's phone number. Do you really need to call me for such a small matter? I'll just tell him and it's over. Don't worry, Sun Ming said and hung up the phone. When the waiter heard Mr. Duan, his pupils trembled. It seems that this person is truly the boss friend, far from being a store manager. Feng Jingyuan was not afraid at all. Look, these 2 men were in their early 20s. How could they possibly know any boss? She sneered, Okay, stop pretending. I've seen this kind of trick many times. What era is this? Do you think you can scare people just by making a phone call? Jiang Cheng was too lazy to pay attention to him. Anyway, the clothes today must belong to Yu. He glanced at the waiter. Pack the clothes first. My daughter has a performance tomorrow and she doesn't want to be hidden by dirty paws. Feng Jingyuan was almost angry to death. Who was he calling dirty claws? Don't pack it, leave it there. It's just a phone call, right? Just wait for me, I'll make you pay for it today. What? Mr. Duan from LM Shopping Mall was sitting in his office at this time, drinking tea with Su Nan from Lingdong Group, discussing the expansion of LM Shopping Mall in other areas of Sichuan City. Su Nan looked at Mr. Duan with a flattering look. Mr. Duan, as long as you are willing to give me this project, I will definitely not let you down. Zyro Su look. As Mr. Duan was speaking, he received a call from Sun Ming. Then his face changed. Okay, Mr. Sun, I got it. I'll call the sales department right away. Chapter 147 Wife, you actually have difficulty making choices. After hanging up the phone, Mr. Duan glared at Su Nan and said, Did you know that your wife had a fight with Mr. Yi and his wife over a piece of clothing in the mall? Su Nan was stunned for a moment. Mr. Yi from Tengsing. What else? Mr. Duan sighed. I didn't even have the nerve to tell you that you're right next to me. Hurry up and ask your wife to stop pinching you. Hearing this, Su Nan's face couldn't be any darker. Didn't he tell her not to call her his wife all day long? Why doesn't this woman learn her lesson? Now look what happened. He is even snatching clothes from others, which is really embarrassing. Just as I was thinking about it, the cell phone rang. It was Feng Jingyuan calling. He picked up the phone and heard Feng Jingyuan's voice. Hello, I'm buying clothes at LM Mall. Are you sick? Do you know who you are fighting for the clothes with? That's Mr. Yi from Tengsing. What Yi? Feng Jingyuan's pretty face changed color instantly. I'm telling you, Feng Jingyuan, you better restrain yourself. Don't tell everyone I'm your husband every day. We haven't even gotten married yet, so how will others see you? You can afford to lose face, but I can't. Go home right now, you hear me? Feng Jingyuan was completely dumbfounded. No, I'm buying clothes for Tianqian, not for myself. I don't care who you buy clothes for, just go home right now. Can we afford to offend Mr. Yi? I think you are really crazy. After saying that, Sunan hung up the phone. Feng Jingyuan was completely stunned when she heard the beeping sound on the phone. Is this woman the president of Tengsing? Seeing that she looked unhappy, Jiang Cheng curled his lips, turned around and said to the waiter, pack up this skirt. The waiter looked at Feng Jingyuan and said, Miss, I will pack it for this gentleman. At this moment, Feng Jingyuan's face looked uglier than a ghost, and the little girl watched her skirt being bought by someone else. He hurriedly pulled her clothes off, shouting, my skirt, my skirt. Feng Jingyuan glared at the little girl. Wasn't it her fault that she got scolded? She said angrily, what skirt? Your dad told us to go home right away. I don't want it, I just want a skirt. If you don't buy it for me, I will tell my grandma that you bully me, the little girl cried. Hurry up and go home. Feng Jingyuan was overwhelmed by her fuss. I don't want it, the little girl cried louder and louder. Feng Jingyuan glanced at Jiang Cheng and Yi Qingjiu behind him and urged them impatiently. Hurry up. I really don't know what bad luck I have. I go out shopping for clothes and encounter such a cliché TV plot. Tengsing is a chaebol and is not at the same level as small companies like them. To offend a chaebol is simply to seek death. The little girl clenched her fists and hit Feng Jingyuan, crying as she did so. I'm going to tell my grandma. Feng Jingyuan was annoyed by her noise and picked up the little girl and walked out dejectedly. Your clothes, sir. The waiter handed the clothes to Jiang Cheng. Before Jiang Cheng could hold them firmly, Niu grabbed his trouser legs with an eager look on his face. Daddy, can I hold it myself? Niu's eyes were filled with love for money. Jiang Cheng looked at her with a doting smile. He bent down and handed the paper bag to Niu. Here, Tilda, take it. Niu was so happy holding the bag. Daddy is so great. Jiang Cheng patted her head and said, Nano is great too. You weren't scared at all just now. Niu looked at Jiang Cheng, raised the corner of her mouth, and smiled very happily. That's because my dad and mom are with Niu. When Yanyan heard it and found that she was not there, she hurried to Niu and said, Sister, I am here, I will protect you too. The waiter couldn't help but smile when he saw how friendly the family of four was. Just now, Jiang Cheng kept pulling Yi Qingjiu behind him, fearing that she would suffer a loss. The waiters saw it all and couldn't help but feel envious. They wished they could have a husband who protected them like this. They would be so happy. Yanyan looked at the small suit in the window and said, Daddy, I want this. Jiang Cheng smiled and picked up Yanyan. Okay, Daddy will buy it for you. After saying that, he pointed to the window and said, Beauty, do you have any blazers ready? The waiter nodded, yes. After saying that, he turned around and went to the warehouse to get clothes. After buying Yanyan's, Jiang Cheng looked at Yi Qingjiu contentedly. Wife, we have all the little ones, it's time for the big one. Yi Qingjiu raised her beautiful eyebrows and glanced at him with a warm look. No one has ever hidden her behind their backs. Since childhood, she has been taught to be brave. She must face everything bravely and solve it. Only Jiang Cheng was willing to hide her behind him. Jiang Cheng lowered his eyes and said, Wife, I'm buying clothes for you. Why are you looking at me? There seemed to be a handful of crushed stars hidden in his eyes, so sparkling. The key point is, why do I feel a little aggrieved? Oh my God! Yi Qingjiu was a little at a loss. She blinked, her eyelashes trembling, looking very innocent. No, I didn't, I just looked at you. Jiang Cheng took her hand and said, Shall we go shopping for clothes? Yi Qingjiu nodded unconsciously and said without even thinking, Okay. When she said this word, she was shocked. Why so straightforward? Why is this happening? Seeing that she agreed, Jiang Cheng laughed, turned around and picked up the two babies. Let's go shopping for clothes with Mom. Yi Qingjiu looked at the backs of the three of them, feeling an indescribable feeling in his heart. Seeing that she didn't catch up, Jiang Cheng turned to look at her. Wife, why aren't you leaving yet? Are you distracted again? This girl, why is she always distracted? Oh, Yi Qingju agreed and followed. We arrived at the women's clothing section and entered the largest store. Yi Qingju looked at the colorful clothes and began to hesitate. She has difficulty making choices. This is something no one knows. I'm fine doing other things, but when it comes to buying clothes, I can never pick out my favorite. I always feel that this one and that one seem both good. So she buys a lot of clothes every time, because she is really conflicted and finds it difficult to make a choice. Every time I buy a lot and keep them at home. After all, they are limited edition or high-end custom-made, and they are very unique in themselves. In addition, Yi Qingju has an outstanding temperament, so she looks good in anything she wears. So no one knew she had this problem. Seeing that she couldn't pick out anything after looking for a long time, Jiang Cheng asked with concern, "What's wrong? Don't you like it? Why don't we try another one?" Yi Qingju shook her head in embarrassment. It wasn't that she didn't like it, but it was because she liked them all. But it doesn't matter on normal days. It doesn't matter if you buy a bunch or two. When Jiang Cheng went out today, he agreed to buy clothes for the mother and son. She felt sorry for Jiang Cheng's money, so she definitely couldn't buy a bunch of them back. Seeing her like this, Jiang Cheng had no choice but to wait patiently by the side. The more anxious Yi Qingju became, the harder it was for him to make a choice. The harder it was for him to make a choice, the more anxious he became. It was a vicious cycle. Jiang Cheng saw that her forehead was covered with a dense layer of sweat. "I couldn't help but wonder, wife, what's wrong with you?" "Nothing," Yi Qingju said calmly. "Are you getting impatient?" She knew she had been choosing for a long time and was afraid that they would get impatient. Jiang Cheng shook his head. "Not really. I'm happy to spend as much time shopping with my wife as possible." Yi Qingju was a little nervous. "That's good, that's good." After saying that, his eyes fell on the inner row of clothes again. "Looks like he's trying hard to choose." Jiang Cheng looked at her, and his brows twitched unconsciously. Why would I sweat if there was nothing going on? And she has really been watching it for a long time. "Yes, do you like them all?" Jiang Cheng asked. "No," Yi Qingju said it almost as a conditioned reflex. Seeing her so serious, Jiang Cheng understood that she liked both of them. If everyone likes it, the problem can be solved. He glanced at the waiter and said, "Press my wife's number, one of each in this row." Upon hearing this, the waiter's eyes widened. Oh my God, they are here to film a TV series. The expensive clothes here range from 50,000 to 60,000 yuan, while the cheap ones range from 10,000 to 20,000 yuan. If you line them up together, they would cost hundreds of thousands. Yi Qingju felt bad that he spent money, so she forced herself to choose just one. She heard him say he wanted a whole row. With a determined look on his face, he said, "No, I'll take another look." Oh my God, how can I see this? She really couldn't choose. This is even more sad than the plan. Seeing her like this, Jiang Cheng suddenly realized what was going on. He grabbed her hand and said, "Wife, can't you choose?" Oh my God, I was discovered. Yi Qingju casually pulled off a piece of clothing and said, "This one is good." What's good about it? The clothes are obviously for people around 40 years old. Even Jiang Cheng knows that they are not suitable for her. He looked at Yi Qingju seriously. "You can't choose, right? Now that it has been discovered, this problem is obviously unavoidable." Yi Qingju lowered his eyes slightly, with a look of panic and grievance on his face. "I really tried my best." She didn't know what was going on or why it happened. The more you try to pick it out, the harder it is to pick it out. Jiang Cheng felt very distressed when he saw her guilty look. "If you can't choose, then don't choose." He turned his head and glanced at the waiter. "Let's go for the whole package." The waiter nodded excitedly. "Yes, sir." After saying that, "Come over and get the clothes." "No, really, it's such a waste." Yi Qingju was almost crying. She was reluctant to waste his money. Seeing that she was about to tense up with nervousness, Jiang Cheng held her in his arms and coaxed her. "It's okay. It's only natural for the husband to earn money and the wife to spend it." He knew that she was worried about his money. She had always been like this and had never changed. But her eyelashes trembled, and the tiny beads of sweat on the tip of her nose were crystal clear, making her look extremely adorable. "It's nothing. You usually do this, always buying a lot of things. Why can't you take me with you?" Jiang Cheng comforted her with a smile. The more he comforted her, the worse Yi Qingju felt. She pursed her lips, looking self-blaming. "It's all my fault, it's my problem. What nonsense is this girl saying? How can I blame her?" Jiang Cheng held her in his arms, trying to coax Niu and patted her back gently. "It's okay, this is not a problem." But Yi Qingju wanted to explain. "It's nothing to worry about. It's normal to have difficulty making choices." Is there anyone else like this besides me? Yi Qingjiu looked at him in surprise. Really? Jiang Cheng nodded and looked at her with a smile. Really? Haven't you heard that only poor people have difficulty making choices? Rich people can just buy them all. You are a rich woman, so this is not a problem. What's the reason for this? Why does this logic sound a bit pleasing to the ear? What? Because there were a lot of clothes, more than 20 sets. It took some time to pack. The waiter packed the clothes and came over with a smile. Sir, this is what I mean. We can help you take them home. It's not easy for you to carry so many clothes. Jiang Cheng nodded. That's troublesome. His wife was in a bad mood, and he had to accompany her, keep an eye on the two children, and carry the clothes. He was a little overwhelmed. Then I'll trouble you. Lakeside Garden, Building 10. After saying that, he pulled Yi Qingjiu and said, let's go back. What? After arriving home, the family of 4 washed up and went to bed early. After all, Niu and Yanyan had a performance the next day. The next morning, Jiang Cheng got up early and made breakfast, then prepared to wake Niu up, as girls need a little more time. He woke Niu up, helped her wash her face and brush her teeth, then started to comb her hair. Niu's hair was very soft, so Jiang Cheng combed it carefully for fear of hurting her. If it hurts, just call Daddy, okay? Niu nodded, yeah. Jiang Cheng combed his hair and tied it into 2 small braids. He tied a bow on each braid with long ribbons floating down. Like a little fairy. Although Jiang Cheng really wanted to help her return the clothes. After all, his daughter was in school now, so he had to help her establish gender awareness. He thought about it and decided to wake up his wife. Although he was a little reluctant, there were some things he really couldn't do. Jiang Cheng rubbed his eyebrows and walked into the bedroom. Yanyan had just woken up and was lying on the bed, relaxing. Seeing Jiang Cheng coming in, he sat up and said, Daddy Tilda. Jiang Cheng touched his little head and said, Yanyan is awake. Daddy, hug me, Tilda. The sound of the 2 people talking woke Yi Qingjiu up. She rubbed her eyes and looked at the watch. Well, it's already 8 o'clock. Yeah, Niu is still waiting for you to put on a skirt. Yi Qingjiu slapped his head and said, Oh no, I haven't combed Niu's hair yet. I looked to the side and was shocked to find the bed was empty. Where's Niu? Why is he gone? Jiang Cheng chuckled and said, Nano has already combed her hair and is waiting for you to change her skirt. Yi Qingjiu looked at him nervously. Did you brush your teeth? Did you wash your face? Did you apply oil? Jiang Cheng looked at her lovingly. Look how anxious you are. Niu was almost wearing a skirt. Yi Qingjiu was startled. When Yanyan heard her sister get up, she quickly got up and said, Daddy, I want to get up. Okay, get up. Jiang Cheng picked up Yanyan. Boys are simple. Just wash your face and brush your teeth, done. Chapter 148, 6-handed playing. The family of 4 had breakfast and went to Monley's kindergarten. When we arrived at school, Teacher Joe was already waiting outside to greet us. Niu was wearing a white gauze dress, like a little princess, and Yanyan was wearing a small suit and a small bow tie, like a little gentleman. The 2 kids ran over when they saw Teacher Joe. Teacher Joe saw the 2 babies were laughing so hard that they couldn't close their mouths. She touched Niu's chin and said, They are so pretty, like little princesses in the ice and snow kingdom. Yanyan held Teacher Joe's hand and shook it. Teacher Joe, what about me? Teacher Joe looked at him with a smile. Of course you are the little prince. After getting the teacher's affirmation, the 2 darlings turned around and looked at Jiang Cheng and Yi Qingjiu behind him. Daddy, Mommy, hurry up. There are many musical instruments on the 1st floor of the art building, which is where children usually study. The 2nd floor is an art hall. This is where they are going today. The art hall is like a small theater, with lighting and stage, everything you need. Below are a few seats. The seats in the front were already full, so Jiang Cheng and Yi Qingjiu could only sit in the back. This place is a bit far from the stage. Niu held Jiang Cheng's hand and said, Dad, can we sit in the front? In this seat, she was afraid that she wouldn't be able to see her parents, so Niu was a little nervous. That's right, Mom. Can you guys sit a little further up the front? Jiang Cheng looked around and felt a little embarrassed. It was not that he didn't want to sit in the front, but there was really no seat left. Yi Qingjiu said, Look, there are people in the front. They came earlier than us, so Dad and Mom can't sit in the front. Hearing this, Niu pouted and said, No. Seeing that Niu was unhappy, Jiang Cheng said gently, When we were buying clothes yesterday, that auntie was very annoying. Niu nodded. She really didn't like that aunt. Jiang Cheng touched her head and said, If Mom and Dad go to the front now, will they be the same as that aunt? Yesterday, they were still teaching the children to follow the principle of first come, first served. But today, they cannot go back on their word. Jiang Cheng is well aware of the importance of teaching by example. Yi Qingjiu pulled Niu over and kissed her on the forehead. Be good, baby. Yanyan is a boy after all, so he should be stronger in character. Seeing Niu pursed her lips, she took her hand and said, Sister, I am here with you. Yanyan will protect you. Niu pouted and looked reluctant. Okay then. The two babies then held hands and went backstage. Yi Qingjiu was a little nervous. It was the children's first performance, and she was always a little worried. I don't know if anything unexpected will happen to them. The buckles of Yanyan's princess shoes are a bit loose. Will they fall off suddenly? Yanyan's bow tie is loose, and no one will help him tie it. In short, she had all kinds of worries in her mind. Seeing her worried face, Jiang Cheng took her hand and held it in his own. Don't worry, Yanyan can take care of herself. You don't understand. Yi Qingjiu looked helpless. But she is the mother of these children. Okay, I don't understand. Do you want some pop?